Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Salute.
Salute.
Welcome, Freddie.
Sure.
Brian Moses. Good to see you, gentlemen. Thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
How's Texas treating you?
Back in this thing. Shit. We went to a BYOB strip club last night.
Oh, boy. That's always rough.
I'm the BYOB king. Bring your own bitches. Goodness. Bring your own bud. Bring your own
bullets.
Bullets for sure. Bring your own motherfucking bullets.
Yeah. The only thing it was not bring your own blacks. They had plenty of that there last night. And then we showed up.
Can you go to racist shit? Jumping it off.
Right yeah. Up. It's the last day of White Guilt Month. We gotta, we're going out with the bang. They're trying to get my man Rogan, We can't be racist no more.
You can try.
All right. Can we say nigga?
You can.
Okay.
You can. Well, if I want to say, I'll just pause and then you just fill in the blanks.
Right.
Just
so anytime there's a
just
video.
Send it off to me, man. Just send it off to me, Joe. You can't say that shit, Joe, because you pissed niggas off when you did that compilation. It was funny as fuck, though. I can't even lie, but,
I didn't mean it as a compilation.
But they made a compilation.
Oh, I am aware.
And that shit was crazy.
Yeah, not good.
But hey, man, look, I don't think you're a racist, my nigga. You my nigga. I'll fuck with you.
I appreciate it.
I never thought you was a racist. I just
I'm
think you was
definitely
just saying some shit you should have said, and a lot of us niggas say some stuff that we shouldn't say sometimes. It is what it is.
Well, that's the only word that, you can't say no matter what.
Nah, you got to get that to us. That's the thing I want to tell white people right now. Y'all just got to let us have that. Like, quit trying to, just let us have nigga. We got it. You know what I mean? Like, there's one thing, you know what I mean? Y'all already human trafficked us over here. Let us have that.
It's the most powerful It's the most powerful word in the not the English language.
Yes.
Just every one of them. Right?
Well, it's the most versatile too.
Right.
As far as it could either be hateful coming out of a white person's mouth or ignorant, or it could be for a black person. It could be a punchline. It could be a term of endearment. Yeah. It could be many things.
Yeah. It's like what Bernie Mac said
question.
About motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfucker is versatile.
See,
yes.
Niggas with niggas. For niggas.
It's niggas a noun. The person, place, a thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's a verb, too.
It's also pound for pound the greatest slur in history,
Yeah. Well, the problem is there's no real slur that's stuck with white people. Alonzo had a bit about it.
Lonzo Bowden?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't forget how it worked. It's
no slur that stuck with white people?
Honky never really stuck.
Honky ain't really, honky don't sound good coming
Cracker.
out.
No.
Nothing.
Cracker.
Nope. They got another compilation coming now. Joe's being racist about white people.
Yeah.
I'll try.
I mean, cracker just.
Whitey, honky.
It don't sound fresh. You know what I mean? You could say it, but it just sounds like some shit of old niggas.
There's just a lot attached to nigger, though.
Yeah.
You said, there you go. You transformed the word. You put the R on it. Then
I stuck the landing, bro.
That changes shit. Yeah. That changes shit when you say that. Even when black people say it with the hard R, it sounds funny.
What is that word that South Africans have? They have a word. It was in Lethal Weapon. Remember that movie?
Yeah, which one?
One of the ones where the evil people were the South African people. They were the apartheid people.
What they call black people?
They have a different word.
A kata or something
like
that?
Something like
something
that.
Like that.
Something like that.
Like a cotton picking nigga. That's what they call American niggas.
Bro, Spotify's not airing this episode. Not with all these niggas.
They have to.
They got to.
They have to.
Hey, fuck Neil Young, man. Let me say something about Neil Young.
Outrageous.
Hey, Neil Young, man. I know you want to get Joe off this motherfucker, right? But look, dog, my nigga. You pull your shit off, but would you have pulled it if it was only the nigga shit? If you thought Joe was a racist, would have stood up for niggas? I think not.
No, Neil didn't say anything when the N-word drop came out.
He didn't say
nothing.
He
was all about that vaccine
in
misinformation.
His defense, that was before. He did his thing before.
Well, he should have doubled back for niggas. Fuck that. Only thing I was mad at you, Joe, man, you fucked up with India.Re, man. You had a lot of bitches that couldn't put their shea butter on. She pulled that motherfucking shit off Spotify. You fucked up shea butter for niggas with India.Re, man. Shout out to India.Re. Please put your music back up. We love you, baby girl.
I love her, too. I love her voice.
Joe didn't mean this shit.
And you know what? I also support what she's saying. One of the things that she's saying is that why doesn't she get paid well?
Right.
For streams. It's a predatory business, man.
It is. I mean,
the music business, the way the record companies own the artists, and you could speak to this.
Yeah, I'm out of this shit. I'm about to do a podcast, nigga.
Are you?
Yeah, fuck this rap shit, nigga. This podcast shit make way more motherfucking money than the motherfucking price of the motherfucking stream of some rap shit.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Let's go back to NDRE.
But no, so the thing
she
is,
jumped
like,
on your scandal so she could push her own
no,
agenda.
I mean, I think she was genuinely upset.
She was. She had
a
a right to be upset.
Yes, but
Yeah.
I also think that she used it as an opportunity to express her plight.
Right.
You know, express herself about her plight, because artists that don't own their music, someone else got your music before, and a lot of them it was before streaming even existed, right? So they had these contracts where they thought they were selling records, and you'd sell records for a certain amount of time, and then someone else would own the right to the music, but that's fine. You already sold the records, you got your piece or whatever.
Man, it's a predatory business, man. Artists
is.
don't, you know, if you don't know the equation, you know, you ain't gonna, you know, you're not gonna succeed. You know, most artists don't know that your rate of debt versus your, you know, rate of recoupment.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
in terms of like how much money they spend
Yeah,
promoting
I mean,
you.
you know, if a label give you $1 million, you know what I'm saying, you're only gonna recoup that at, like, you know, say if your percentage per se is like 20%, you're only gonna recoup that at the 20% rate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you gonna,
This shit sounds like musical slavery.
And then once you recoup that at that 20% rate, so how long would it take you to recoup $1 million at a 20% rate?
Yeah.
And then if you recoup that, you know what I'm saying, you start gaining at a 20% rate. So it's all, you know.
Courtney Love broke it down in an article once. She wrote an article explaining how they do their mathematics, like how they do their accounting.
The math of music is fucked up.
The crazy thing is that they kept it going even after streaming came along, because the record sales were gone.
Right.
And now the way they do it, they have a piece, they make these deals with an artist where they have the piece of your merchandise, they have a piece of your live. Like the live,
what?
yes. The
Yeah.
live used to be all the artists.
360.
Yeah, but now they get a piece of everything because they had to, because they don't sell records anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have the streaming, they have a little piece of this, a little piece of that. They got a piece of everything.
Most artists,
yeah.
not Freddie Gibbs.
Well, you're popular enough that you can escape. There's like a thing called
This
escape
motherfucker's-
velocity.
But I don't know. This motherfucker's more popular than me. That's fucked. You know
Yeah,
what
but they
I'm
got
saying?
stuck
So,
in a contract though,
Yeah,
right?
it is what it is. You know what I mean? It just depends on what level of this game you want to be. You know what I mean? If you know, I really didn't give a fuck about being super famous as a motherfucking rapper, man. I wanted to turn a profit. You know what I mean? And you know, use this to, you know, put me in positions to do other things as well. You know, because I'm, you know, definitely more versatile than just a rapper. You know. So,
Well, you have the most important thing for podcasts. You got authenticity.
definitely,
He's a real nigga.
real nigga.
We count the niggas Spotify.
That's like 99
It doesn't
niggas.
count if you guys say it. It's clean.
It's clean.
We're at 0.
Clean bill of health for this motherfucker, man. We done brought Joe back, man.
We done brought Joe back. Joe, yeah. The last couple of days of Black History Month, Joe was like,
Yeah,
fuck
man.
it.
Joe, we done brought Joe back.
Yeah.
Not a good month for it.
Not a good month for it. Well, you know, this is my favorite 2 weeks of
I
the
know
year.
something you
Black
could do
History
that. I
Month.
know something you could do. You could donate some shit, Joe,
What are I going to donate to?
to the hood. Like I got some little shit you could donate to, some little hood shit and gear. You could rebuild a park. That ain't shit. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I'd be
For some
happy
nigga.
to.
See, there we go. See,
Yeah.
that's how we make progress, niggas.
See?
Nigga, you feel
People think drug dealers don't give back to the community.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But look though, we
Freddie
had
tore it down
conversations.
with crack, and then Joe's gonna build it back up with money.
Hey, that's hey,
Well, I've been talking about that
it's full
forever.
circle, motherfucker.
I've been talking about that forever. It's about time I put my money where my mouth
Let's
is.
do it. I mean, I got some programs you could, you know, get into, man, and niggas will really love that, man. You know what I'm saying? And then what can a motherfucker
How come when
say,
people
man?
are talking about pulling their stuff off Spotify, they didn't say go put your music on a black platform, streaming platform?
We
Do they
only-
have music streaming platforms for black
nigga,
people?
Yeah, nigga, Tidal. Jay-Z on one.
No, they sold that to Twitter, right? Or
Oh,
Jack
I
Dorsey.
don't know the business or some shit.
Did
so I
they?
guess. I thought that Jay would, you know, shout out to Jay-Z. He was the first motherfucker to do that. You know what I mean? So,
What did Kanye do? He did some crazy thing where he you have to buy a player
oh,
to listen to his music.
Genius.
The
He
nigga-
did-
Genius.
He did,
sold-
he did the Louis C.K. thing, basically.
He
Like, you got to
sold
go to
you-
my website and buy this shit.
you got to go buy a Walkman
Right.
to listen to Kanye new shit.
It really is. Like, what is this?
stem-
Okay,
Oh.
a stem player.
Oh shit!
So it looks
brought
like
mine today,
I
but
thought that
didn't.
was a vibrator.
it looks like one of them containers where a girl keeps
Easy
the
tech.
pill.
Right.
Yeah,
Right? Doesn't it look
yeah.
like the pill?
Yeah.
So okay, look at this little.
Or like one of those Simon Says.
Whoa! Look at this shit. Did he probably designed this thing?
I think he
That's the only way
bought
you
it.
can hear it on that.
He bought it, but it looks
Or,
like something
yeah,
that he would
licensed it or
design.
bought it, but yeah,
Wouldn't it look like something Kanye?
for
would
sure.
design?
Yeah, I mean,
Kanye's in the future, bro. That's crazy.
He's in another realm for sure.
Nigga, where do you plug in the aux?
There is an aux port
Oh,
right
so
by the
I'll
speaker.
put over there.
So is there a headphones port? You have to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
separate headphones?
No, so there's a little port for
Got
that.
Bluetooth?
What you can do here, he's remixing the stems. Like there's a vocal stem, bass stem, sample stem, and drums, and you can sort of loop it.
What? So you can change like
you can
the
remix it live.
a synthesizer?
He's doing it
Like-
right there.
So you could remix his shit.
What?
You can also remix your own shit there too,
That's
using the same
really-
plugin.
Really?
Well,
Oh, it's not just a player. This
I'm gonna
is
tell
brilliant.
you. I'm gonna tell you niggas this. You niggas, I'm not letting you niggas remix my shit. The way it come out is the way it come out. Ain't no stems, none of that, motherfucker.
You're like
You-
one of them chefs. No, you can't change the order.
Nah, remix
Yeah.
your own. Remix that shit yourself, man.
Listen,
ain't
You can't modify this
I
shit.
feel you entirely, but I do love a remix. Like, you know what I loved?
I
Have
love
you ever
all-
heard when they put Biggie in with the White Album?
yeah.
Right.
It's amazing.
Jay-Z and the
they put
Beatles, the Grey album.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
There's
not
that.
that's the mashup shit.
But
I
a
love
bunch
it.
of people
right,
have done
that.
these,
R.
just
Kelly is the king
individual
of the remix.
songs. You know,
Right.
but the Jay-Z and the White Album, 99 Problems. Well, they did 99 Problems with Hendrix, too. Did you ever hear
Right.
that?
Nah.
It's amazing.
Yo,
it's
send that to
Voodoo
me.
Child mixed with 99 Problems. It's outstanding.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We can't talk about remixes without R. Kelly, man. He put the R at R&B, man.
I thought Puffy created the remix.
R. Kelly do some fire remixes too, man.
He do some fire remixes. Yeah,
Did he
he's a-
remix? Did he remix nigga too?
R. Kelly is a very talented pedophile.
Damn, man.
Probably the most talented pedophile outside of Woody Allen.
It's hard to tell.
Are we ranking him?
I bet some of them have died,
Woody Allen's
Right.
a piece
and
of
they
shit.
didn't get caught.
Woody Allen a piece of shit because he's still out.
He's still out. He's
That's
still out there.
bullshit. Somebody need to Hannibal Buress that nigga like they did Cosby.
They've been trying, bro, but you know.
That nigga fucked his stepdaughter.
So didn't Jerry Lee Lewis do that too?
I'm so glad I'm not the one talking about this.
That's some sick
Jerry,
shit.
no, Jerry Lee Lewis married like a cousin, I think.
Damn.
Is that what it
well,
was?
Yeah, I think it was his
A cousin. Well, damn.
I saw it
That's
on,
the least of his problem. There's some other stuff that he did.
That's the least of his problems.
Yeah,
Fucking his
Jerry Lee
cousin.
Lewis. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
want to speak out of turn because I don't know exactly what's real and what's
According
not.
to
Yeah,
the
there's
internet.
too many there's
According
too
to the
many
internet,
His
what's it say?
remix.
compilations
13-year-old
for
cousin.
Joe out of
He had a
context.
13-year-old cousin. He
Okay.
married her. Yo.
All right, so are
A
we
tabloid
canceling?
sensation at the time, tarnished Lewis's reputation and did some damage to his career. So in
Some
1958, in some parts of the country, you could still marry a 13-year-old. That's what we're learning. Like, that's how crazy the world has changed in the short amount of time.
Damn.
Yeah,
That
that's
since 1958, in 1958, he thought it was totally normal to marry a 13-year-old while he was famous.
I think in some of these states, like the legal age of consent, still like teen shit.
Oh,
There's-
yeah.
there's some country monkey redneck shit going on in this motherfucker.
Let's take a guess. Let's take a guess. What do you think the youngest age of consent in this country is? Let's just take a guess.
16.
16?
14, I think, in some states.
You
I
a
bet it's different
sick
for I
fuck.
bet it's different for boys.
What?
I bet there's an age consent for boys that's younger than that.
Oh, no.
I think there is. Look up the
Interesting. Why
age
is
of
that?
consent for boys in New Mexico.
Oh, shit.
For having sex, you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay, to have sex. Okay, to have consensual sex.
I think there was some wacky laws that they made back in the day, and it could have been something to do with famous, important people that had something to do with fucking kids.
Why is that a thing? You know,
Yes,
I mean,
you-
it is a thing.
Well, it is a thing. Like
It is.
it's a terrible taboo that everyone's scared is real. I don't
Right.
know what's real. It says it's legal for an adult, someone
Illegal.
18. Oh, it's illegal for someone 18 or older to have sex with a minor, someone younger than 16.
So
Okay.
16.
Okay, so 16 is the age. It
I
wasn't
hit it on the
13.
head. I do it.
Did it used to be younger?
That's sick.
There's something
It says
here
in-
where it says like 13 to 16, but depending on
Ugh.
how much older the other person was.
Anyone between the age of 13 and 16 can consent with sex with a person who is no more than 4 years their senior. Well, that's kind of normal. I mean,
It's like high school.
yeah. Well, 16 to 20 is a little weird, but like 13 to 7, that's a little weird.
I mean, basically,
too.
we're talking about like Euphoria, right? Because that's like
Yeah.
high schoolers having sex.
I didn't watch that. Is
I
that
was
good?
watching that shit last night. I was like, damn. this
Is it
nasty
good?
motherfucker.
Is it
Yeah,
crazy?
Some good shit.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Just some high school shit. Motherfucker doing dope, fucking, and
Yeah.
shit like that. That's
Remember that
cool.
movie Kids?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
that.
feel like
Yeah.
I've heard it's like that.
It's in that realm. I like it. It's dope.
Kids the
Everybody
musical.
like
Yeah.
it. It's amazing.
It's a weird choice for a show to make.
What? High schoolers fucking
Yeah.
and doing drugs?
I mean,
I mean, what were you doing in high school? You know?
I mean, they do it. You know,
There's grown motherfuckers playing the roles, but you know, they
I mean,
act
it's
like
weird,
they in
too.
high school.
I remember being in junior high. I saw a girl. She did she's like snorted crystal meth at like the playground. You know, so I mean, like,
oh my God,
drugs,
in high school?
drugs are a thing. Yeah, but I'm from like the high desert, so you know.
dude, I've been
California.
watching this
That's
YouTube
like what-
series.
That's like white high school shit, man.
Yeah, it was Mexican and
Like
white
we was
and
just
black,
smoking
yeah.
some weed and drinking some drink in the bathroom at Gary. We wasn't. When niggas in my high school wasn't snorting no goddamn.
I didn't.
Crystal
I really have a lot
meth
of
is-
niggas
that's-
in my high school.
That's like heavy pill community when you start smoking crystal meth at school.
yeah.
That's you got
a
no
desolate area,
guidance. You
yeah.
got no guidance. I've been watching this YouTube series. It's called Soft White Underbelly. Have you heard of it?
No.
The fuck?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's fucking crazy. It's a great YouTube channel, and one of the things it has on it is this inbred family from the Appalachian Mountains. Dude, it's the craziest shit. This one guy barks like a dog.
What?
Yeah, this was a guy who's a mountain man. They had him up there, but
Fuck.
he also he interviews gambling addicts. He interviews people that are hooked on crystal meth. He interviewed a few meth heads, a skinhead. He interviewed a con man. I've watched like 10 of them over the last week. It's a great. The
Lord.
guy's
Yo,
great.
They
he
out
just,
there.
He just lets these people
Where the fuck is the dental plan?
express themselves. Where's the dental plan? In the Appalachians, they don't have a dental plan.
What the
They don't
fuck?
even have toothbrushes. With that guys, when that guy was growing up, I bet they had no toothbrushes.
Aren't they
He
like-
has 3
Oh,
teeth.
shoot. Yeah.
Ain't they like coal miners and shit out there?
In some areas, yeah. I mean, in some areas, there's parts of Appalachia that are like gentrified now, or they have like regular houses and normal people, and it's like a
That's
you
America.
know, like a
baby.
normal city. But there's
Yeah.
parts of Appalachia that don't have any electricity. You know, they live, you know, very far away from a lot of society, and there's a history of drug abuse up there, unfortunately, and deep poverty. And this guy interviewed quite a few of these people, and he interviewed this one family that was inbred, and he interviewed this one guy who basically was just talking about like we weren't poor because we had everything we needed. We could live off the land. We hunted for our food. We fished. But it's like he's living a subsistence lifestyle. That was the guy with the mountain man with 3 teeth. It's interesting shit, man.
I
but
think he lost the teeth from the drugs. I don't know if it's necessarily just doing the.
It might have been,
the
but I don't
teeth
think
brushing.
so. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking
my
at him.
God.
It's hard to tell, though, man. It's hard to tell like who's doing meth. But
Yeah.
there's. Have you ever seen the Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Wild
yeah,
and
something like
Wonderful
that.
Whites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those people, that part of the country is just obsessed with pill or just infested with pills.
I don't
It's
even-
horrible.
I don't even like driving through there on tour. I'd be like, fuck this shit. I'm catching a plane. You driving?
Scary.
Yeah,
shit, man.
because they still might lynch you.
Those people just got a shitty roll of the dice, man. That's where you grew up. You just got a bum roll of the dice. Until we realize that, like as Americans, that not everybody started in the same spot, we're never gonna fix anything.
Yeah.
We gotta realize all this pull you up by your bootstrap shit. Where the fuck were your bootstraps? Where were they? Were your bootstraps in a gang-infested neighborhood? Were your bootstraps in a
Right.
trailer park in Appalachia? Where the
Right.
fuck were your bootstraps?
What if you ain't got no goddamn boots?
You might have been in Connecticut, bitch. You might have grew up.
Oh, shit.
You might have
Right.
grew up in New Haven, Connecticut.
My
that's
baby
why it's
mama.
all about
New
parenting
Haven's a
and
little sketchy.
education. I mean, that's the first time I came on here talking about that. It's all about education. Just feed them a book. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also about the culture you're growing up in, you know, and how safe you are to even explore ideas. You might just be trying to survive. You're living in the Appalachia and your fucking parents are on pills and they punch you every time you try to eat food. I mean,
Right.
what the fuck? That's a little
Yeah.
kid out there that's probably having that experience right now.
It could be a cultural thing if we're really getting into it, though, right? Because not every faction of people are like that, right? Like we're
Right.
talking about people in the inner city, like gang culture, right? That's a culture of gang violence. So like they're growing up in that, right? But if you look at, let's say, maybe a Jewish neighborhood, right? They're not punching their kids, you know what I mean?
Right.
Losing the teeth, doing the drugs, kind of a thing. They don't have a bunch of gangs running around, kind of a thing. Italian neighborhoods, right? You don't really see all that kind of stuff. So I'm saying it really does take a village,
What
but
you mean they ain't got no gang, nigga? They got the mafia. The mafia.
yeah, but are they running around killing?
They used to be. The FBI kind of obliterated them.
So that helped the community more. I mean, why isn't it helping us?
It's a good point. That's a good point.
Right.
You know, one of the things that I always say is like, if you want to make America great again, or you want to make America better, you got to have less losers. What's the way to have less losers? Give people a chance to succeed. So you look at the people who have the worst chances of succeeding. It's people that grow up in crime-infested, drug-infested, gang-infested neighborhoods.
Right.
Because everywhere around you is terrible examples, and mostly what people do is we imitate our atmosphere.
Right.
And when your atmosphere is filled with terrible examples of crime, drugs, gang violence, all kinds of violence, it's casual murder. You know, that's people in parts of this country.
But that comes from lack of opportunity, though.
It does. It also comes from lack of attention. Like if you looked at the United States as an organism, right, and you said, oh, well, the organism has these spots that are sick. Very, very obvious spots, you know, South Side of Chicago, Detroit. Look at these spots that are, you know, some of them you understand. How did this happen? Oh, Detroit, they took the fucking car manufacturing business and they moved it to another place, and these people didn't have jobs and they were fucked and they were stuck there and they didn't have enough money to leave. They just shut everything down. So you get rampant You could buy a house in Detroit for like $1,000. It's crazy.
That isn't Gary.
I'm not bullshitting.
Right.
It's like
Same thing in Gary with the steel industry.
Exactly.
And then I just looked at some stuff the other day. It was like, it's like the steel industry shrunk.
Yeah.
And like now, and it's shrinking even more now. It's like 43% of the steel, you know, last year was imported. So it's
isn't
just
the
like,
water in
it.
Flint, Michigan still fucked up?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
think
that
parts,
shit's still
yeah.
fucked
Is
up.
that real?
Motherfucker water look like this goddamn
What's
scotch.
going on with the water in Flint, Michigan? Is it still fucked up? Let's look.
that Flint water.
Yeah.
We drinking Flint water right
Remember
now.
when Obama
Flint
drank it
water,
on the
baby.
air? I'm going to drink this water. It's not a stunt. He had a little, like the most baby sip of this water.
It was
Right,
it was
because he
a
didn't want to die.
Nah, he didn't want to die. It was a nigga a black nigga that came with a truck and was making clean water out there, motherfucker, and they shut his shit down.
He was making clean water and they shut it
Making
down?
clean water.
Said
You can
like
Google-
a filter system.
You can Google that shit, man. Then they shut
Oh,
his
he
shit
probably
down.
didn't have a permit.
Why did Obama
Yeah.
drink like that? So if you're going to have a glass of some bullshit water, take a fucking sip.
Well,
Are you
wasn't
telling
it
me
the same thing with Bush when he ate the in China and he threw up because it was poisoned or something like that?
Who?
H.W.
what
Bush?
happened with him?
Yeah, didn't he have
he threw up.
Yeah.
He threw up I threw up in someone's lap or some shit, right?
Right. And he didn't eat much. I don't even know the story.
He might have just been old and tired.
At
and
that
just
point?
ate
No, but
some
that-
food
it-
and threw up.
Yeah, the joy. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the fucking. Oh my God, he fainted after vomiting in the guy's
Okay.
lap.
Gastroenteritis.
And that,
Yeah, gastro. Okay, so he had.
So it wasn't poison.
yeah, right.
He had. Well, that's what gastro.
There was a president who was poisoned though. It wasn't
Is that
ours. I think that might
what
have
does
been a Russian president.
gastroenteritis mean? Is that food
I
poisoning?
got stomach ache.
Stomach ache.
Oh, stomach ache. Oh, he had the shits. He had nothing but the bubble
Bubble
guts.
guts.
But he fell asleep. He blacked out.
What did he eat? Some sushi?
I mean, it's just the most disrespectful
Oh,
shit.
I knew it, man. Sushi.
You know, if he wasn't a World War II veteran, I'd be like, listen, you can't be president anymore if you keep fainting.
He said,
But I thought people
Look
said,
at him.
okay, so this is what I was talking about.
He
They-
just blacked out and threw up in
Yeah.
the dude's lap. That's crazy.
They thought they did it. Yeah.
Damn.
So
Look at
I
this.
remember at the time they said they thought they did this on purpose, the Chinese delegation or whatever.
Oh man.
Right?
Well, you know what,
Wow.
man? I think that
I
job.
never see that. I got to post that on the gram.
I think that job wrecks people, man. I think that job wrecks people.
Yeah,
I
the
think
President
the
of the United
amount,
States.
the amount of attention that you get when you're working that job is probably off the charts. You probably can't sleep.
Yeah.
Like everyone, look at Obama. His hair went gray almost immediately.
Yeah,
you look
Trump,
at him,
Trump will
looked
never
better.
be the same.
Trump looked better.
dude. Trump skated through it.
I'm
he
saying,
skated
Trump-
through it,
yeah,
taking
Trump didn't age
cold
at all.
medicine. It was just taking Adderall and riding the wave. I think
wasn't
Trump
living
is,
in the White House. Yeah.
if I had to guess, I think Trump's one of those dudes where he doesn't do drugs unless the doctor prescribes it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a part of our parents' era where, like, I don't do drugs. Meanwhile, they're on Xanax.
Right,
Like, hey,
oh, yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck are you talking
Xanax,
about? You're on a
Vicodin,
crazy
yeah.
drug.
Right.
That's a crazy drug.
Right.
And you're
Prescribing
drinking.
their kids Adderall. Yeah.
Yeah, you're drinking and you do Xanax. You tell me you don't do drugs? How convenient.
Popping perks.
And you're
right?
mad. That's what drives me crazy is when they're mad at weed smokers. Like,
Yeah.
we are the only ones that when
Yeah.
we're high, we're nicer.
Right.
Right.
We're the only ones.
Right.
When I'm high, I'm so friendly. I want to hug everybody. I'm never angry when
You
I'm
never.
high.
Yeah. Exactly.
Never.
You don't care about that shit.
I just want camaraderie and friendship and love. And that's an illegal drug?
Right.
And the fucking people that are drinking and popping Xanax, they're upset at you?
yeah.
Weed brings us together.
Definitely does.
Yeah. But
It-
there's a lot of things that weed also highlights that make you super uncomfortable. You know, people get high and they get paranoid as fuck. But I think it's because you should be. There's a fucking war going on right now.
Hell
There's
yeah.
a crazy war going on right now in Russia. And in Ukraine. I spent the last day and a half watching videos on it, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And it's complicated. It's really complicated. But what it seems is that Russia is worried that Ukraine has massive reserves of oil and of gas. And so Russia took over Crimea, and Crimea, it denies them access to a lot of their coastline when Russia did that. And then Ukraine was apparently, they were trying to, or at least in talks to join NATO. I'm sorry if I fuck any of this up, because I'm just remembering what I read and what I watched in
coming
videos.
out.
But what they're essentially saying is that Crimea and Ukraine, like they want that for the natural resources, and also because if that was NATO owned, if they were a part of NATO rather, then they could park missiles in Ukraine and point them towards Russia. It's wild shit.
That's what I was reading, basically.
They used to all be in the same country. Not that long ago.
Well, yeah,
they were
NATO
all part
and
of the
Russia
Soviet
obviously
Union.
don't get along. So it's like, if there's a sovereign nation being like, hey, like flirting with NATO, they're like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want your military bases here.
It's
like,
well, it's obviously horrific.
That's going to create World War III.
It's obviously horrific. I'm not in any way saying that I'm on the side of the Russians in any way. I'm definitely not. But what I'm saying is like this is what's going on. It's like I'm just trying to relay the information as I know it, as what the conflict is, without a judgment. I'm not making any judgment. I see all these people making these judgments on whether or not this is a good war, a bad war, and I'm like, man, how much do we know? How much time has anybody spent studying Ukraine, Russian?
No such thing as good war.
No such thing.
You know what I mean? Like that's
right.
an oxymoron. That's crazy.
When you got missiles, they're firing into apartment buildings. Like, there's no way those are the good guys.
No.
When you shoot a missile into a fucking apartment building, like what the fuck is
If you're not
happening?
valuing life, you can't be a
right.
good person.
Shit, the U.S. do it all the time.
And this is what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
point.
But Joe,
this is what I was going to get to. Somebody put a chart up, which is wild, of all of the airstrikes that happened over the last like 48 hours.
Obama.
Dude,
Dog.
they're constantly going on. These
Well, yeah.
airstrikes, and the wild thing is the drone move. The drone move is like you can be in war and you're not even really there.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to have a reason to enter a country, and you could launch missiles from robots, and you could be in Nevada, bro, with an Xbox controller.
Controlling it.
Just murdering people.
Well, if you're smart, you've played video games against someone who really knows how to use one of those fucking controllers. If you had a guy and he really knew his shit, wouldn't you recruit him to work for the fucking army?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also been saying this about like peeping toms. Get you a drone, bro. Stay in your mom's basement. You know what I mean? Don't go in the trees and the bushes.
Don't go giving him any ideas.
My bad.
But for real, if they can make a drone that would respond the same way an Xbox controller would respond, who is gonna beat Americans?
Nobody.
We just have robot
We have
wars.
the best. Yeah, exactly.
But actually,
Shit.
who's the best at like Xbox? Is there one country, Jamie? You would know this. Is there one country that dominates at like
I think it's
Call of Duty?
Isn't it Korea?
Oh, they dominate
One of the
a lot
sides,
of video games. Korea dominates it a lot.
But like it's like those E-leagues, right? I think those kids
They
kill
fill
it.
stadiums over there.
They do.
Stadiums.
That's crazy.
With people playing video games. Like they did it with StarCraft and what country kicks the most ass at video games? Let's go
Hard
with,
to say the game. Yeah, I mean, Call of
okay,
Duty.
let's go Call of Duty because that's the most.
It's mostly an American-based game, but like they're playing it in every country, and there's people that cheat in every country, so you couldn't cheat when you're doing drone strikes and stuff. So
Of course you could. That's the thing.
Well,
that would be
you told me
perfect.
you
You would
could.
want to
You
cheat.
I
drone
mean,
strikes,
you could, but
that's-
you
that's
would do a
not
drone
cheating.
strike
That's
in that
just
shit?
drone striking. That's not cheating. That's just
Man,
using
just
all
tell
advantages.
them do the war in the metaverse. You know what I mean?
The thing is, if you can get a person to do it, there are dudes that are so goddamn good with those controllers. They play so many video games. All they would have to do is make a video game sort of interface where the guy is watching the drone. The drone looks like it's in a video game, and he would never miss.
Never.
Hell no.
It'd just be lighting people up.
They already got that shit.
What?
That
I'm sure
shit,
they
the
do.
shit he talking about.
Yeah,
I'm sure
no,
they
they're already
do,
doing
right?
it. Yeah, I mean, we have propaganda for it. Don't we have like ads about like, join the army, you can do this kind of a thing.
The more
Play
I
video
pay
games and kill
attention,
people.
the more I think these UFO sightings, a lot of these UFO sightings are military aircraft they're developing. The more I think about it, the more I think about how willing they are to talk about it. They're willing to talk about the fact that, that there are these ships that they can't track and they're moving at insane rates of speed. They're willing to talk about it. It's like one of two things. Either it's aliens or they've developed some kind of crazy technology, some anti-gravitational technology.
I think it's aliens.
It could be, but it might not be. That's the thing. It's
Why
like
is
we
there so much
can develop a
defense?
lot of shit. We can develop nuclear power. We can develop nuclear missiles, hypersonic jets that go faster than the speed of sound, spaceships. We could develop a lot of shit.
Right.
If they could just figure out a way to develop something that distorts gravity. Because this has always been the thought of it. Like a thing that can distort gravity can act instead of like Bob Lazar talked about this when he talked about back engineering UFOs. Instead of like blowing fire out of the back of a rocket, there's something that just distorts gravity. It can go to a place almost instantaneously.
Yo, we need that.
They're gonna figure that out, man.
Because airplanes and air travel is weak right now. Give me that shit.
It'll be instantaneous.
What's up with all the defense of humans versus humans, though? I mean, like, I know it's human nature, but maybe it's an earthling thing even, but we spend so much money and so much brain power on just, like, defending each other from each other. I mean,
well,
what's
not,
the point?
but very rarely individually. The thing is, it's almost all in groups. We're fucked because our heritage, all of our ancestors, came from these small groups of people that huddled up together to stay alive, and everybody outside of our group was the enemy.
Yep.
So we all have this programming that sucks, and this programming is based on ancient history. It based on a time where there was no internet, there was no international travel, there was no everywhere you went. If a boat showed up on your shore, those were murderers. Those like eight times out of 10. They would let you know they had a flag
Especially
with a
West
skull
Africa,
on
yeah.
it, bro.
Yeah.
They had a flag with a fucking skull on it.
Right,
All over
pirates.
North America. There's Captain Cooks. All that shit. Those bad motherfuckers. They would show up. If someone showed up, if it was like Christopher Columbus, if he showed up, if you knew what the fuck was going to happen, you would have grabbed everybody and ran for the hills. You would have never stayed near those crazy fucks. First of all, the diseases. Second of all, the brutality. I was reading this thing about Columbus where they were talking about Columbus hacked off people's arms, like not him himself, but his people. There was a preacher that came with them, and they would tell these people, because the people brought them gold as gifts, and they said, you got to bring back your weight in gold. And when they didn't, they would just hack off one of their arms and send them back out there to get gold. It's crazy. See if you can find it. That there's a priest wrote about it in his journal.
That's our American hero, Christopher Columbus.
The whole team of them
he
were
did-
sociopaths and murderers.
He did that to the Native Americans?
Yes.
You piece of shit, Chris.
And then, but
So he
that's
like a cartel, basically.
That's the most brutal, but not even the worst of it. The worst of it was the diseases. Now they think that's what killed off the Mayans. That's what killed off 90% of the Native Americans.
That's that COVID.
It was their COVID. Yeah. It was smallpox and all kinds of diseases they brought with them from Europe. They killed everybody in the Amazon. Dude, they're finding civilizations in the Amazon that housed millions of people. And they're finding them through this thing called LIDAR, where they fly over in jets, because the jungle's overtaken all these cities. So there used to be cities of millions of people in the Amazon.
Really?
And the Europeans showed up, and they just got them sick, and everybody died. And then when people came back to look for these cities, like 50 years later, they were gone. Just like Detroit's almost gone. Detroit's got houses where trees are growing in the middle of it.
Yeah, real shit.
But this is even crazier because it's in the middle of the jungle, so it's happening quicker.
Right.
Yo, okay. Europeans just came over and just murked everybody?
Murked everybody with their cooties.
Yeah.
Europeans came over here with their cooties,
They was
and the
putting
biggest.
smallpox on blankets.
No, that's a myth, man.
That's a myth?
Yeah, most likely.
They used to tell us that
most
in school.
likely. I heard about that too, and I looked into it. They don't think they isolated smallpox that way. They don't think they understood it that way.
I was gonna say that'd be pretty fucking genius.
Well, they made,
It would be,
but
but
they
the-
made COVID for sure.
The thing is, they probably did that.
Because it's airborne, so yeah, they were just
air-
getting the shit.
Everybody was getting it, and it killed 90% of the Native Americans. 90% of them, man. I mean, you think about a disease that kills 9 out of 10 people, and it just swept through the entire continent. And all the Mayans, they were trying to figure out where the fuck did these people go? They made Chichen Itza, which is. Have you ever been down there?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I went down there. It's wild. You walk amongst this place, you're like, what is this? How did they do this? They did this like 1,000+ years ago? Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? It's all aligned to the different constellations. They have a room that they have set up just to do psychedelic drugs in.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a guy who was a guide, who was a professor, this really interesting guy. We hired this Mexican gentleman who knew everything about the Mayans, and he spoke fluent English and Spanish. So we'd explain it to you in Spanish and explain it to you in English. And he said this was a whole area where they take these leaves that contained lysergic acid, which is like LSD. And he was explaining this to me, and he didn't even know that I like to do drugs.
Right.
He was just telling me like I'm like a civilian.
And you're
like,
just drooling, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, keep talking. I'm like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. They had to be doing something.
Right.
They were so
to
much
think
more
about,
advanced.
Yeah, all the ingenuity and all that. I mean, I'll say this about that. You're saying Europeans came over and did this.
Yeah.
We weren't alive for World War II, but this conflict is the first time I've seen white people fight white people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this is kind of. I feel like this may change some things in the history books and for.
What are you talking about with the Russia shit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Russia and the Ukraine. Like I've never seen this. You know, it's always us and the Middle East or something like that.
Exactly.
Right.
But now this is like
It is a new kind of
I've
thing.
never this in the history books we'll see that. So I think there's a progression in a way. I think people will see like, oh, it's not just these guys are evil. White people can be evil too.
It's
in the
a
modern
human,
era, not just Hitler, right?
It's a human thing where people can get to a certain place where they have a certain amount of power and they want to hold on to it and they do evil shit. It's a human thing.
Yeah.
Ukraine is hard though. And they
They're
got the
hard-ass
boxers in there.
people.
I mean,
Bro,
like,
they got
Lomachenko's out there.
Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, and Lomachenko, and Usyk.
And Usyk
is there
saying.
too.
Yeah.
They're all armed to the teeth.
They
I mean,
strapped
And all the
up.
ladies out there, all the volunteers, hard,
isn't
bro.
Miss Ukraine in there? Like Miss Universe? Wasn't she like a Miss Universe
I
contestant?
saw a picture that they said that was an airsoft gun.
Oh, they lied.
These
This is the
bi-
problem. There's so
these-
much lies.
Yeah, there's
They,
we don't know
got
what's
a
happening over there.
politician bitch I seen with the motherfucking
AK?
AK-47. Hey, Nancy Pelosi would never have an AK-47 if he was going to motherfucking.
Not-
I mean,
not a chance.
would
Not a
Biden?
chance.
Would Biden? Would Trump? Would
Fuck
Obama?
no.
Bro, they got me with a parody. They showed Steven Seagal. It was like somebody made a parody of a CNN article that says Steven Seagal is in Ukraine.
saw that.
And I was like, oh my God, if this is real. And I lazily looked for like 5 minutes, and then I couldn't find if it was fake or real. And I just posted it and saying that we're about 14 hours from the aliens landing. And people were
Under
like, why
siege.
did you believe it's real? I'll tell you why. Steven Seagal was listed as a threat to the fucking nation of Ukraine in 2017.
Yeah.
They won't let him in the country.
Why not?
He's a
He's
threat?
banned. Yeah. Yeah, he's a
Wait,
threat
what?
to national security. Steven Seagal, Above the Law, the actor.
Under
Look at my
siege.
Instagram page. Look at my Instagram page. Washington Post story from fucking 2017. It's a legit news source. He was labeled a threat to national security. Above the law. That
Okay.
guy.
He is,
in
though.
Ukraine. So when I saw that he was in Ukraine, it was a parody. I was
Yeah.
like, I could believe that. I can't believe that. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the link.
Just
He has
right.
to fight for
Steven
his way to be able
Seagal
to be
banned
in the
from
country?
Ukraine
I
2017.
know the
Sounds
news
like a movie
story has
plot
taken
line.
over the searches. There we go.
Yeah, this is it. Ukraine banned Steven Seagal's threat to national security. Bro, what the fuck?
That nigga fat as fuck.
It's so crazy.
Can he
He's a
still?
threat.
Can he still fight like that?
What he does is a thing called Aikido, and it's a very unusual martial art in that it's really designed for samurais to fight someone with a sword. So if you lose your sword in combat, this is the origins of it.
Okay.
If you lose your sword and you come after a dude who knows Aikido, he tries to transfer the energy of your attack and counter
inertia?
you and throw you. Just like throws and trips and a lot of clothesline stuff. And Steven Seagal adopted it to movies.
Yeah.
And made it very fun.
Because it did seem like a lot of motherfuckers that was fighting him was like running into him and just getting
course.
fucked up.
Of
Like,
course, but that was a movie.
choreographed,
You know,
yeah.
it was a lot of their stuff is choreographed, unfortunately. But there is some legitimacy to some of their movements. There's some legitimacy to these wrist locks and controlling arms and throwing people. The problem is it won't work on someone who's like a really good wrestler. It's like one of those things where you get really good at and be an expert at it, but you still won't be as good as an expert in another martial art. This is Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal was a legit Aikido black belt. But like, look at this. Look at this guy's attacking him. He's just throwing him to the ground. Let me tell you something. If Daniel Cormier shot in on that dude and got a hold of his legs,
Crush him.
he would hoist him up in the air and drop him on his head 100% of the time.
Right.
The difference between what he's doing, and he's a master at Aikido.
I mean, he really is.
He's a master.
Damn.
But the difference is it's not as good or is not as effective a martial art as wrestling or as judo or as jiu-jitsu. It's an interesting martial art. But when it comes to like being able to take people down, nobody can fuck with judo. When it comes to like with the gi
Why ain't
grabbing
nobody throwing no
sleeves
motherfucking
and
punches?
throwing, and when it comes to like taking people down, you know, just double legs and single legs, no one can fuck with wrestlers. So you have no one can fuck with the throws of judo guys, no one can fuck with the takedowns of wrestlers versus this. It's not a bad thing to learn. It's interesting. It's good for your health. You get some
I
exercise.
mean, sure,
in.
but yeah, that looked crazy. Come on now.
Man,
It's not-
that shit,
yeah, it's
you
not
know what I mean?
realistic.
That shit didn't look like shit. I would have ran up on that nigga and fucked his
Oh,
ass up.
yeah. Now show some like, hey, somebody getting jumped into a gang. Like let's see somebody getting jumped.
Oh.
But let me tell you something. He does know how to strike a little bit. Like,
Okay, damn.
Aikido
Okay,
does
all right.
have. He does. Steven Seagal does. Like no bullshit. He knows how to close. He does. There's a lot of it is kind of
Okay, Steven
nonsensical.
Seagal. I'm talking shit. Don't fuck me up. I was talking shit, man.
Also, he's a big fucking dude.
He is.
He's
He's like
100 years
6'4"?
old. He's 100 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
But
shit.
he's a big dude.
Also, he know how to block all the punches and all that.
He knows how to do a lot. Like you just because someone's kind of funny, it's kind of funny. He's kind of a character, right?
Like karate's Phil Jackson.
He's kind of a karate. It's kind of like a traditional martial arts character, but he still is a legit martial artist. Even though he's kind of funny, he does a lot of wacky movies and shit. At the end, he runs weird.
He inspired a whole generation, bro.
Bro,
UFC is
loved
here because
him
of Steven Seagal.
Yeah. I
in
love
Above
Steven
the
Seagal.
Law. In Above the Law,
Above the
I
Law.
loved him in that movie.
Hard to kill.
Hard to
bloody
kill.
Oh
law.
my God! But Above the Law was the first time you saw what I thought was like realistic fight scenes. He was young. He could when he fucked people up in the bar with pool sticks and
Right.
pool balls. Like that was realistic.
What was
Dog,
the
we
one
all
he-
loved it.
What was the one he was fighting Jamaicans? Screwface.
Like he was this interesting,
What was that?
weird-looking guy.
Damn.
we got
That was
that
one
up.
of my favorite ones.
Look at the difference, man. He was so thin back then. But like this shit seemed at least partially believable. Like he seems like a guy who really does understand martial arts movements, and they're much more realistic than say like a dude doing a jumping sidekick to one dude's face or kicking two dudes at the same time doing the splits. Like we were used to that. We were seeing a lot of that in like Jackie Chan movies, and it was fun and everything, right?
Bro, brought a lot of father and sons together.
Yeah,
you know?
a lot of father and
Me
sons
my pops,
together.
we love this kind of shit.
Chuck Norris movies are the shit.
Oh, yeah.
I loved all those movies.
Right?
All the Bruce Lee movies,
Jackie
of
Chan
course.
came through, Bruce Lee, obviously.
But what he did was made shit where it was a little more believable that he was fucking these guys up. In my eye, as a lifelong martial artist, in my eyes, I was like, this is all real. This could go
Right.
down this way.
Okay.
The way he fucked these guys up, and also he looks like a mean bitch.
right,
He looks
no, you're
mean.
fucking
He
with
looked
him,
mean
yeah.
as fuck.
When he was young and thin, Steven Seagal looked mean as fuck.
He did.
And I believed it. When he was
believe it.
fucking guys up, it wasn't like Pierce Bronson head kicking people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was fake.
Yeah, I'm watching this guy. I'm like, this is a guy who knows how
Like
to fuck
real John
people
Wick
up.
shit.
I'm looking
Yeah.
in his eyes. Like you look in Bruce Lee's eyes, you look in Chuck Norris's
Right.
eyes. Those are people that really know how to fuck people up.
Really
you can
know how
see
to
it in
fuck
their
people up.
eyes.
Yeah.
And I can see it in his eyes. He knows how to fuck people up. I mean, it's
What about Jean-Claude Van Damme?
he knows how to fuck people up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Jean-Claude Van Damme was a legit martial artist.
I love
Absolute
Jean-Claude Van
legit
Damme.
martial artist.
So those four, basically, then.
There's quite a few of them, man. You know, Michael
else?
Jai White is
Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White.
absolutely legit. Michael Jai White broke the chain on the heavy bag at Legends Gym in Hollywood.
yeah.
He asked Eddie Bravo rather asked him to demonstrate the way he does a sidekick. This dude does a sidekick, a hopping sidekick, slams it into the bag. The bag goes ka-tink against the chain, and the chain
Damn.
snaps.
That's real?
100% real. We were laughing because me and Eddie were like, dude, if this was a movie and the guy came over, like the movie star is going to demonstrate that he really knows karate
Yeah.
and he does a kick and it breaks the bag, he'd be like, get the fuck out of here with this movie.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
And we were laughing our asses off. But he really did it. Michael Jai White, he has perfect technique. Perfect. There's a bunch of demonstrations of him kicking online, but I'm telling you something, the guy has perfect technique. There's guys that maybe their knee is down too much, or maybe when they throw a kick. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, perfect
Oh my God.
technique. Everything he does, 100% hip engagement. You know, like
Underrated,
when
underrated.
you watch him hit the bag. Well, remember when he played Tyson?
Dog, I was about to say, that's my favorite
Pretty
role he
fucking
ever
good,
did.
man.
Yeah.
Pretty
He did
fucking-
play good.
Or Spawn. Remember he
Spawn,
played
yeah.
Spawn?
Spawn, right,
He
right,
was
right.
amazing in Spawn.
But
He's a
Tyson,
beast.
They
that's my-
should
that's my
bring
favorite
back
Michael Jai White.
Spawn.
Oh, they're gonna bring that thing back.
They
sure.
should bring him back as Spawn. But
Word.
he has a bunch of videos of him demonstrating martial arts online. He even did like a thing with Kimbo. They were working on a movie together, and he was explaining something to Kimbo about telegraphing things. And you could tell Kimbo was like, oh shit. It wasn't just like an actor was fucking around.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this guy's legit. I've watched him, man. I'm telling you. I
wouldn't.
know legit martial arts.
What about
Michael
Wesley
Jai
Snipes?
White? Very legit.
Word.
Wesley Snipes, very legit. Very
go,
legit
Snipes.
stand-up. Very legit stand-up. 100% black belt level stand-up.
Let's go.
Like you watch him fuck people up in Blade.
Blade, yeah.
That's 100% Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, he went hard.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No, he's good.
Okay.
But Michael Jai White had a bunch of fights. Michael Jai White had a bunch of he had a bunch of Kyokushin fights. Michael Jai White is legit. And you watch him like move around. Is that him with Josh Barnett?
Cowboy. Him and
Oh,
Cowboy.
that's
I thought they
Cowboy?
were really going after him. They weren't really.
Dog, has he been on the podcast?
No, he hasn't. I definitely have him on though. I did a thing with him like back in the day. In like 1994, I was a guest host of Later. Remember Bob Costas had Later? And
No.
I got him on as a guest.
Okay.
Because I wanted to talk to him.
94.
Oh, dude, it was back in the Dizzy. Might have been 95. Maybe it might have been even 96. But it was in the 90s. Like, so it was like, I think he was right when he was doing the Tyson movie. And I was asking about, like, what, because, 96, Tyson was still young and terrifying.
Right.
That was a risky time to play him in a
Yeah.
movie. You know?
Dog, yeah. I said this on the
He
podcast
did.
before. I met Tyson once at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Didn't Jamie Foxx?
and he was
play
looking at my
Tyson?
mom's.
Jamie Foxx is going to play
Yeah,
Tyson
and he gonna play Tyson.
in another movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's apparently bulking up right now.
All right. I mean, he does do the best Tyson impersonation.
He does the best everybody impersonation.
Yeah.
Jamie
yeah.
Foxx can do some fucking impersonations.
He's
He's one of
king.
those dudes that just has too much talent.
Yeah.
He
He's
does
so
so
ill.
many
Yeah.
things.
A lot of things.
Yeah, legend.
That's what I'm saying, man. You can't just like confine yourself to just music. And I looked at guys like Jamie Foxx and see that. You know what I mean? I've been looking at him since in Living Color, and he was a versatile superstar.
Sketch
then.
actor,
He can do
stand up.
anything.
Yeah.
There's certain dudes that can do anything.
Right.
There's certain guys that like if they wanted to just play piano professionally.
Yo, I Might Need Security is like, it's the top 10 for me, like comedy special. You ever see it? Jamie Foxx?
No, I haven't seen that.
I
one.
Might Need Security, young Jamie.
What year was that?
Early 2000s, maybe?
Ooh,
Late 90s?
Maybe 2000?
Yeah.
Maybe then.
It's got an LL Cool J story in it. Oh, dog, he is. I mean, I Might Need Security, bro. That was a hood classic.
He was a fun guy to have on the podcast because Jamie Foxx is a giant movie star, but he
Yeah.
acts like a total normal person.
Yeah.
And he got classic albums too.
He can sing his ass
True.
off.
Yeah,
He
got
could
dope
sing his
albums.
ass off.
And an Oscar.
Oh my God.
Another
What the
comedian that
fuck?
make dope music, Lil Duval.
Duval. That's your man,
Oh
bro.
yeah, I love Lil Duval.
Lil Duval.
I love Lil Duval.
His new song I just heard, that shit hard as fuck, man.
Yeah,
I love Lil Duval.
That guy's a
Kill
legend.
he's hilarious. He has
Legend.
2 planes.
He has 2 planes.
He flies around his own planes. He flies his own fucking planes.
Dope shit. Fuck.
Yo,
Yeah.
Duval.
He's like, that's real freedom.
legend. Yeah.
He flies his own fucking planes.
That's crazy.
That's smart.
Fuck yeah,
You know what I mean? Not paying for flights no more.
Learning how to fly your own fucking plane.
Put it in, yeah, put it in your own hands. Isn't like Burr like he's like learning how to fly helicopters?
100%. I went up with him.
Yeah, exactly.
He took me up around downtown LA.
I'm
like,
straight
this
on.
is wild.
I'm straight on a helicopter.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they know how to like.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
They know how to get him down. The thing about that was that he should have never flown that Kobe Bryant crash. Apparently that guy, there was a Marine layer that was really low. Bill explained the whole thing to me because Bill Burr is a legit pilot.
Right.
He said you'd never take a helicopter out in that weather. You don't have any instrumentation. Like you can't do that. Like you
Arrogance.
can't see what's in front of you in
Right.
terms of like instrumentation. Like, you don't see where the fucking mountain is. Slammed right into the fucking mountain.
Right.
Right.
But it's also like, it's Kobe and he's like, I gotta get there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you
And the-
got
and the
to
arrogance
tell
of
a
that
guy
pilot,
like Kobe.
yeah.
You gotta that's got to be so hard.
I'd be like, hey man, we can't go up, man.
But this pilot was like one of the best he's
Yeah.
like one of the best helicopter pilots in the world, they were saying, right?
You know what, man? To have a guy like Kobe in your fucking helicopter is probably so weird. You want to do whatever he
Whatever,
wants.
yeah, you're like, you know what, I
Whatever
can
he
make it.
wants.
I've done this before. I've seen thick marine layer like this. There's an arrogance of the pilot being like, I can get this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you forget, like, oh, I can kill a lot of people here.
Yeah, there's kids involved, man. You should set your ass down, man. But it's all good though, man. Rest in peace, Kobe.
It's tragic shit, bro. Buddy
It's-
Holly shit.
The most tragic.
The most.
when someone dies like with their kid on the way to a game because you just want to support them, you think it'd be fun to take a helicopter together. But he loved helicopters, right? Didn't he travel from where he lived to where the Lakers played and everything by helicopter? He did a lot of that stuff.
He just had dough, yeah. It's the quickest way because there's traffic in LA. I mean, it's perfect.
Dennis Miller used to do that. Dennis
Really?
Miller, yeah, he did a show, and when he did his show, he would fly in a helicopter. And then one time the helicopter, I think, I'm not speaking out of turn here, I hope, but one time I think he had an issue. It was like, fuck helicopters. Because like all it takes is one
and we all forget that part.
I was just in Miami a couple weeks ago, and a helicopter crashed in the fucking on the beach.
Oh my God.
It's on YouTube. Some of it crashed on the fucking beach.
When I was in Hawaii, I took a helicopter over the volcanoes.
Oh no,
that's a terrifying feeling because like if this thing drops into the volcano,
you have no control.
You just melt.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You melt with the helicopter.
So it's just lava sitting in the volcano.
Lava. Spilling out into the ocean, creating more of Hawaii. You could watch Hawaii being built in real time.
Also, when it erupts, when it erupts, all the land, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, well, it erupted just a couple of years ago on the Big Island. Remember, there was a video of a car getting destroyed by lava. Someone had parked their Mustang, and the lava, it at least comes slow. That's the only good thing.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about it. It's slow as fuck. But
it's slow as fuck.
What just happened to Tonga?
Look at this shit.
What is this?
The helicopter in Miami.
Oh my God, it's gonna crash right there in the water.
Bro, I was out there. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, look at the splash. Oh my God, it almost hit that dude.
They live though.
Did they? Okay, well, that's why. Yeah, that's why you're trying to get in the water.
Well, that's the help. The water.
Yeah, they live though. But
wait, didn't that volcano shit just happen in like Tonga? It's like it like blew like part of the island off.
Yeah. Tonga's a scary spot, man.
It blew part of the island off.
Blew part of that island off. It was like a like how many ton megaton explosion?
Huge. You could see it from space in the ocean.
Right.
It's a new enormous explosion. Did you see that?
I mean,
oh yeah.
We could see it in space.
Yeah, they
no,
huh?
I don't think people died in that one.
No,
the ocean one. I don't think they died in the ocean one because it happened in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, it's underwater. Yeah, it's like it was close enough to.
Are we talking about the same one?
Yeah, it's an underwater volcano, right?
Yeah, the underwater volcano that you can see from space.
And it blew off part of the island.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can see it from space. Look at this. Yeah. That's from space. Just a random explosion.
Dog, that's underwater.
So here's the crazy
thing.
From
underwater.
There was a thing, I think it's called the Toba volcano. Is that what it is, Jamie, in Indonesia?
Like the same spot. It's almost the same
spot,
just
right?
a little bit.
So that area is responsible for an eruption, a volcanic eruption that occurred somewhere around 70,000 years ago that almost wiped out the entire human race.
What?
It brought the entire human race down to about 7,000 people.
What year was this?
This was about 70,000 years ago.
Okay.
So 70,000 years ago, everyone you know, everyone on this fucking planet came from these few thousand people that survived. They don't know exactly how many, but they estimate it could be as low as 7,000 people. But mostly decimated the population of Earth. From a giant volcano that spewed ash into the sky, killed all the vegetation, killed all the sunlight.
Only 7,000 people?
Only 7,000 people.
So how does race even exist then? Because that's your human race right there, right?
Because it's all bullshit. It's all where we live. If you live in Africa, you're going to get darker skin slowly over time.
Right.
If you live in Europe, you're going to need more vitamin D. You can only get it from the sun. There's no fucking sun. So you get paler and paler and paler after generation after generation.
So there's more of an ethnicity and a regional or a cultural thing. So it's not even, whatever the social construct race is.
We just look different. That's all it is. We just look different. We're the same exact 100% thing. It's not like a wolf that's trying to have sex with a cat. We are, you know what I'm saying? There's one race. We just look different because we have different genetics because we came from different parts of the world. Yeah. That's all it is.
But
my nigga said that shit louder. Tell him, hey, where's that compilation at?
So confusing to people.
Look at Joe Rogan out here saying there's only, human race.
The human
race. But that is
though.
all but this is like 100% accurate. You know, I'm a mutt. I'm a mix of a bunch of shit, but it's mostly Italians. And then I've got like some Irish people in there and some African, and I got some Asia, a little bit of Asia in there. Okay. But it's like we're all some weird cross of all these people that started out in some spot and had to survive massive cataclysmic disasters.
True. I'm 98% Nigerian.
Whoa.
That's what the 23andMe niggas told me. I don't know, nigga. I could be some other shit. Who does?
Yeah, they say.
I think niggas was
Jamaican
here.
and Native American.
I think some niggas was here in America before slavery. I think we was here.
That's what
already.
Hotep Jesus believes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
believe
Hotep Jesus was telling me that on my podcast, and I was like, well, why not? People traveled from everywhere.
Well, the first shipbuilders, they said they were Africans.
Were they really?
Yeah, you look that one up. Yeah,
Well,
first
that
shipbuilders
makes
were
sense because
Africans.
Egypt's in Africa. Man.
Right. They used to
it's
build
not
ships for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then.
So if a nigga had a ship, a nigga could go any fucking way he
So
wanted,
if you
right?
look at some of the old Olmecs, they had
Exactly,
huge noses.
exactly.
I mean,
No, let's pull that up. Pull up an image of the Olmec. The Olmecs look absolutely African in their features. Absolutely. And the Olmecs, they don't even know who the fuck they were.
Exactly.
And this,
So
the Olmecs were like 6,000 years ago or something crazy like that. They don't even know who they were. Look at that.
see
Come
what I
on,
mean?
look
Those
at
are
those
black
pictures.
people.
Them is niggas.
I know that nigga right there.
I know
actually.
that nigga.
I
You know what it
Olmec.
could be though? Polynesian, Samoan,
Right.
Like Samoan folks.
Right.
There's a lot of Samoan guys that look
Oh,
like that.
that-
They
yeah.
be that. Them
You know?
niggas too.
There was a lot of like warrior people.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you want to look at like
that looks like Biggie Smalls. Come on, now.
warrior genetics,
bro.
you know?
Look at that's me right there.
that guy looks like a warrior. Whoever that, I mean, look at those faces.
I mean,
Those
that's what I
sculpted,
mean.
those are
That's- yeah.
warrior faces. So whoever those folks were, whatever they represented, they don't even know what the culture was. They don't know anything
Yeah.
about them.
There's like, you're right about the Samoan thing because there's a lot of there's
Yeah,
there's features of that, a
Polynesian.
lot of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's a lot of those guys were warriors. The guys who landed in Hawaii, think about this shit.
Yeah.
They got on regular boats and made it across the ocean and got lucky and found Hawaii. They didn't know where the fuck it was.
Dog.
Those people who landed in Hawaii, whatever thousands of years ago, whenever they arrived, they had no idea where they were going.
Right, they just ran into
They
it.
had little boats. They didn't have they knew how to navigate using the stars and stuff like that. But when I say they had no idea where they're going, like they didn't have maps.
Right.
Where did they come
Well, they
from?
were like
Well, because they're coming
detailed.
from the east, right? So
topographical.
they're going. It's not
Yeah.
it's not the Europeans coming from
Right.
the east.
Where did they
These
come
guys are
from?
coming from or the west.
Where they found the people that
I
found
think
Hawaii.
South Pacific, right?
Right, exactly.
That's what they. So when they arrived in Hawaii, there was no one there. So they found this island that was essentially, had some native life on it, a lot of fish on it, and they got there with no navigation systems, no YouTube videos to watch, and they set up shop in paradise thousands of years ago.
Yeah, and then Columbus came through and just raped, pillaged, and gave.
Did he go to Hawaii?
I don't
He didn't
think
go
he
to
went to
Hawaii.
No, I'm saying. Oh, okay, you're right. You're right.
No,
didn't
he
go
went.
to Hawaii.
He went to the Bahamas,
When
right?
did America take over Hawaii?
I don't think that was until the 1900s, if I'm
But
correct.
also, how old is Hawaii, right?
Let me
Because that comes
guess.
from
But
an
that's what-
underwater volcano
'cause
too.
we
You know what I
had-
mean?
we
Because it's
had
an
to-
island in the middle of the
Exactly.
ocean.
But we had to invade that motherfucker, right?
I don't know how it went down. I don't know the
You
history
didn't,
of
we
how.
didn't just go to Hawaii and be like, hey man, we want this.
Right.
What y'all want?
There's a treaty, right? Because obviously, Japan wanted to claim it.
Somebody died.
Somebody
Somebody got killed.
Well, look at Pearl Harbor.
That's what I'm
Remember?
saying,
what
right?
they
That
did.
was a
They
conflict
attacked-
because I think Japan. Did they own Hawaii at all?
I don't know
Did the
when-
East own Hawaii at all?
I think they were their own nation until people started figuring out they're there.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
And we was like, hey,
Don't
I
tell
mean,
nobody.
bro,
Oh,
when
they
you
found
go to
us.
Hawaii on
you know what?
vacation,
And Hawaii don't have a fucking army, so they was like, yo, we with y'all.
Exactly.
We with
Right.
y'all niggas.
I fucking love Hawaii. I go there on vacation. I love it there. The people, the nicest people, and they're some of the best fighters.
Hawaii
There's so
kicked
many
me out.
great
Right.
UFC
DJ Penn,
fighters.
yeah.
Max Holloway.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them that came from Hawaii.
Hawaii kicked me out. I went there with a bogus COVID test, and them motherfuckers kicked me out the motherfucker as soon as I got there. Fuck Hawaii.
1784 chart of the Sandwich Islands by Captain James Cook. William Bly. So he was like probably the guy who got there in the 1700s and found the Polynesian people. And they brought goats. They brought over pigs. They brought over all the animals that
All the
were
livestock,
other
yeah.
than the axis deer. The axis deer were actually given to King Kamehameha. Like their Hawaiian Islands have a shitload of deer.
Yeah.
Because they were given there by the King Kamehameha. So he brought them from India. But these guys like Captain
hundreds.
Cook, they would drop goats off on like an island.
How would they have known it was there in 1784?
Well, they probably had drifters, crazy fucks that got on a boat and figured out how to get there and could tell you what time of the year. Like they knew basically like which way, if you're following the stars, and they had sextants. You know what a sextant is? A sextant is this thing. It looks like a measuring device, and they would use it to track the stars. See if you can find what a sextant looks like. I think they had those
1700s. All right.
at the time. Find out when the sextant was made too. But the sextant was a primitive way to track the constellations, and they would travel across the ocean using them. Those guys were risk-taking motherfuckers, bro.
I mean, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's a sextant. So that's what it looked like. So what year was that invented? They figured it out a long time ago, and I don't know how they did it. I don't know much about sextants.
That's some crazy shit.
That Captain Hook shit.
Okay, look at that. 1731.
Mm.
The principle was implemented in 1731 by John Hadley and Thomas Godfrey. So what does it say there? It says unpublished writings of Isaac Newton from 1643 to 1727. So somewhere in Isaac Newton's life, he came up with the concept of it.
Okay.
Amazing. Of course he did.
I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, of course he did.
Isaac
Or
Newton.
he just like, yeah,
Or took
he
credit
strong
for
arm.
it.
Yeah, he strong armed somebody for it, right?
Isaac Newton didn't have sex.
What?
Yeah, I think he died a virgin. See if that's true. I might have made that up.
Damn.
Call me geek.
Bro, I spread a lot of misinformation.
You are. I was like,
Alright,
saying,
check-
this whole episode's misinformation.
I like to check myself. I like to check myself before I wreck myself.
How old is racism, by the way?
It's forever from the beginning.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's tribal.
Is it forever?
It's a tribal thing, man.
Tribal.
Okay, here it is. Newton was rigorously puritanical. When one of his few friends told him a loose story about a nun, he ended their friendship. He is known to have never had a romantic relationship of any kind and believed to have died a virgin.
AKA, he was gay.
Nigga, did a bully write this?
I think he was gay.
Did a bully write this?
Yeah, that sounds like
Eddie
someone got one
Donovan,
back.
you fucking geek.
I don't know. I think he was just gay. They just didn't want to say it.
Bro, the guy told him a fuck story, and he broke up with him. I'm not going to be your
He
friend
broke
anymore.
up with him. See, you said he was gay.
That's what I meant. He was probably asexual.
I don't know.
There's dudes that are asexual, man. There's guys that, listen,
Hey, for the
There's
betterment of
people
the
that are
world,
born-
thank you, Isaac Newton, for not fucking, for making all this shit. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
Thanks, nigga.
at least he thought he was. At the tender age of 19, the future mathematician was committed to paper a list of 48 sins of which he was guilty. Transgressions ranged from peevishness at his mother to having unclean thoughts, words, and actions, and dreams. What's that word?
They might not know how to spell it. out there.
Dreamesis. Dreamesis.
Dramamine.
That sounds like how Gollum would say dreams. I have dreams.
Right.
He also confessed to eating an apple at thy house, though he gave no word as to whether it was the apple. Okay, whatever.
I think it was fucking that apple.
He stuck a needle in his eye socket on
This
purpose.
is a lot.
Oh my God. In Newton's time, little was known about the properties of light. In fact, people weren't sure whether the eye created light or collected it. James Gleick, author of the 2003 biography of Newton, told HuffPost Science in a telephone interview, curious, Newton embarked on his own detailed study of optics, and he wasn't above acting as his own guinea pig, probing his eye with a blunt needle known as a bodkin.
That was on your mom's house video, I think.
Oh my God, yeah, I saw one of those.
Stupid motherfucker.
Guy
You a
did
smart
surgery.
motherfucker. He's a stupid motherfucker too.
No, yeah.
I think you can't be smart at everything. This is what I think. I think the more you don't have sex and relationships at all in your life, and you'll cut a friend off if he talks about fucking, like you've narrowed down your bandwidth of thinking, and you could push it all on whatever he was doing, like with science and gravity and all the crazy
Right.
shit. Like there's people like that like they have there's a spot in society that's perfect for them. Maybe it didn't even exist until they were born.
Right.
But they can figure out a thing. They got a lane.
Like intermittent fasting almost, right? It's like, you know, if your
Right, you
body's
have
not
more
think-
energy.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
your body's not eating food, so you can focus on other things.
So I need to do the intermittent fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, basically that's what they're saying. It's just like, yeah, Isaac Newton was a genius, but he ain't get no pussy.
Well, how many guys
Damn.
do you know that have a relationship with their wife or girlfriend? They break up and then they go on a rampage.
Right.
When they go on a rampage, they don't get nothing else done.
Right.
Right? They don't answer text messages. They're like, bro, I thought we were gonna go to dinner. Oh, fucking.
Because they stop getting pussy. You got to keep getting pussy no matter what.
No matter what.
I think it's
He's the Isaac Newton of getting pussy.
That should be in a quote. You got to keep getting pussy no
You
matter
got to
what.
keep getting pussy no matter
Freddie
what.
Gibbs.
I think Nike already did that.
Just do it.
Nike's talking shit. Just fuck.
You got to keep getting pussy no matter what, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Isaac Newton.
Well, I don't think Isaac wanted it, man.
No, he was too busy.
Don't you think if
changing
certain
the
people
world.
are born blind, don't you think certain people are born with no sexual appetite at all?
I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Imagine if you weren't horny at all.
Right.
Ever.
There has to be people like that, obviously,
100%.
right?
Yeah,
if there's
that's what I'm saying.
pedophiles, if there's people who want, like, people who have like, bloodlust, that kind of a thing, there's got to be people who want to fuck.
If you weren't horny at all and your friend just wants to talk to you about butt fucking, you're like, what
Dog.
are you talking about, man?
Can we talk about quantum physics?
I'm trying to figure out gravity. You're sticking your dick in a place where someone shits.
Yeah, make them bitches fall so we can fuck.
Listen, 100%. There has to be people that have no desire whatsoever for intimate contact with another person.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not any crazier than people that are born with all kinds of different things that are different about
So
them.
what do? They got to bust a nut. You have to bust a nut. It's in your
You don't.
human-
I don't think you have to. I think there's certain people where their body just doesn't produce any testosterone
My football
or
coach.
very little of it.
My football coach told me to go get some pussy. He said, if you hold in that nut, you're going to get acne. And I didn't want to have no pimples.
That's hilarious.
Your coach said that? What?
Yeah,
Biggie
nigga.
Smalls teacher said you never gonna make it, but Freddie Gibbs high school coach said if you ain't fucking.
You got to bust them nuts.
Moses? Do you have a teacher like that fucked with you, that said something to you that you like sticks in your craw?
No, I had one teacher said I wasn't gonna graduate, and then I did. I remember when I graduated, I told her I was like, "See, I knew I was gonna make it, Miss McJunkin."
He told me, my coach told me to go get some pussy. He said, don't beat your shit. He said, don't beat your meat. He said, when you beat your shit, you beat your brains. So I was like, I guess I'm making myself stupid by jacking off. I need to get some ass.
They gave terrible advice back then.
They did.
I mean, my God,
Bro,
Horrible.
my wrestling coach rather was trying to get me to play football. I wrestled at 134 pounds. He was trying to get me to play football. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
right? 134.
He's like, Rogan, you'd be fast. You'd be great on the field. I go, fuck you. We had our heavyweight was this kid, Bob Baker. He weighed 300 pounds. I was like, I'm friends with Bob. He's so much bigger. He could fit me inside of him and no one would even notice.
Yuck.
Fuck out of here. I'm not playing football.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
It's a terrifying game.
It's fun, though.
It's fun if you're on the right side of it, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Dudes get hit in baseball, and it's rare. Someone slides into a catcher or something like that. They collide into someone.
I stopped playing baseball because I didn't want to get hit with the ball no more.
Right though, that
I was
thing
like, I'm
that's
good
a
on
weapon
that.
coming at you.
I was
Yeah,
like, I'm good on this shit.
What I'm saying is that dudes get hit in football every fucking day.
dog, car
That's
crashes.
not-
Yeah,
every
and
day.
they're bigger, they're fat. I mean, they're literal cars coming at you and crashing. It's a collision sport, right?
Here's my question: how come hockey players get to fight?
Yeah, that's
How come everybody doesn't get to fight? What
Them
is
cats
this?
are 200 pounds coming at you in skates and just. I mean, none of them have teeth. You know what I mean?
But why? What's going on? Like,
Because
what's the rules there?
Hockey wasn't made in America.
It wasn't.
Facts. Yeah,
So
it's
it was-
Canadian.
It's Canadian.
Is everything else made in America?
Actually, I don't even know if it's Canadian.
It's Russian, I think.
Is it?
Hockey?
Might
Let's
be.
guess. Let's guess.
I think
I'll
it's
say-
Russian.
I would say
Yeah.
Russian. I think Russian
think
because it's in Russia.
It's in
And
Russia. They're very
and
good
it's a
at
big
it.
deal in
Yeah,
Russia.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
saying,
it's Russian.
let's go with Russian. What we got? Where was hockey created?
Because fighting,
But why do they get to fight?
Because fighting in American sports is unsportsmanlike.
You know, there's no black people in hockey, and if you show black people fighting, nobody's gonna watch. Everybody's like, "This is okay. I can see my
If
son
you show
fighting this
black
other
people
guy."
fighting, they're not going to watch. What are you talking about?
No,
Black people
listen,
love boxing.
I know. I'm saying, but I feel like with sports like that, when it's a team sport, you can't really. I mean, it's like, oh, these thugs are fighting, and we're not going to get the ratings. If it's white dudes, it's
Yeah.
like it's cool,
Yeah.
you know, unless it's
Yeah.
UFC or boxing.
Yeah, I
obviously.
agree with that. If it was black dudes in hockey fighting, they wouldn't. Yeah, it'd be.
They'd be like, these thugs are on the ice.
But
You know-
niggas don't want to be cold.
Right.
So we ain't skating shit.
Right.
Okay, here it
Two
is.
answers.
England. It emerged in England in the mid-18th century and was largely attributed to the growth of public schools.
We are all about misinformation. up
What?
here.
Yeah, but when I type,
Hockey was, hold on,
I know.
hockey was a part of the growth of public schools?
I don't know that. So
Can you scroll back up so I can read that again? The origins of hockey have been long debated. In 2008, the International Ice Hockey Federation officially declared the first game of organized ice hockey was played in Montreal in 1875. But it says in this other paragraph here, the modern game of hockey emerged in England in the mid-18th century, which is the 1700s, and is largely attributed to the growth of public schools, such as Eton. Which is what? The first hockey association was formed in the UK in 1876 and drew up the first formal set of rules. Could you imagine if schools emerged because of hockey? Is that real?
Yo, that's
Is
Great.
that real? Like, what public schools emerged because of hockey?
Get them in class, so yeah, they'll go play hockey.
That is crazy.
It's like an incentive.
Can you imagine if hockey was how they figured out schools?
I mean, maybe it was a bunch of rich guys that I got my hockey team. Nah, nigga, I got my hockey team. All right, I got my school. They started a school. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start my school. you know?
Maybe.
That's how they did it.
But okay,
I
so
build structure though. I
so
can
how
see
come you
that
can't
because
fight
you
in
want-
rugby then? Rugby should be fighting. You should fight in rugby. You could fight in hockey. You can't fight in rugby. That's ridiculous.
I mean,
rugby
you can crush a
basically
guy.
is a fight.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, rugby already is a fight, you know?
And they don't have any helmets on.
They all got shit off.
You know, they say that that's safer, believe it or not, than American football. Mm-hmm. That the problem with the head, like the helmets and the shoulder coverings, the head coverings, is that they make you feel like you're protected, but you're not really.
No, but yeah, I think it's the helmet, bro. That helmet
be
coming right at
smacking
you.
the fuck out
But,
you.
Yeah.
but the thing is, we're so scared of the transition period between helmets and no helmets. Like, oof.
I mean, make
Before
them
they
like
figure it
make
out.
them lacrosse helmets, you know?
That you can't give anybody any padding on their head and allow them to smash people in the heads.
That's what I'm
Facts.
saying. It's
Some
a-
dudes.
Yeah, because guys aren't going to put
If
their
you
skulls
got-
against skulls,
Yeah,
right?
if
It's
you're
like
a bigger guy and
like
that
the-
guy's got a smaller head, that's a terrifying place to
Yeah.
be if you're that smaller guy.
I mean, we had taught to hit people in the face. You know
Why
what I'm saying?
fighting is allowed in the NHL?
Oh, here we go.
There's
Okay.
no real answer here that I got to, but I was just as I'm reading the third time, they do fight in baseball.
They do, but don't they break it up?
No, they break
immediately?
that up, yeah.
They
yeah.
break
they
it up
break
in
that
hockey
They let
too.
them, no, but they let them
let
toss
them
them
Yeah,
around.
no,
Go.
they
No.
break it up in hockey, but those guys get like 2 minutes, like timeout, and they go right back in.
It depends. Like
Penalty
it's
time?
gone down over time, but for
Yeah.
like I was looking at some baseball things, like Reggie Jackson hit a home run and then went and fought the guy.
That was the 70s, though.
I
My,
did
my,
that.
You know what I mean?
my
Times changed.
grandfather,
Times
my
changed.
grandfather was a Yankees fan, so I used to have to watch those games. I was a little kid. I used to watch those games. My
Yeah.
grandpa, he loved it, man.
Bro, those guys
The
were on
Reggie
so many
Jackson
drugs.
days.
The 70s and the 80s were cool for baseball. I'm
Well,
sorry,
I don't
baseball.
think they had the
You're not
right
even a sport right
science,
now 'cause
though.
you-
They didn't have the right science. Like,
Right.
what's really was interesting is the Mark McGuire years, when they got dudes like
The
juicy,
science.
juicy.
Yeah, the science. Yeah, smacking the
and-
shit out of the ball.
It's
thing-
fucked up how they kept him and Barry Bonds out the Hall of Fame, man.
It's fucked up. It is fucked up because there's
That
a
is
lot.
an era.
There was a lot of people that were taking it, and they were better than everybody else. It's like the Lance Armstrong argument. Like, you want to say that Lance Armstrong doesn't deserve to win the Tour de France? Well, everybody was on drugs.
Everybody's
the whole
doping.
Tour de France was
Yeah,
on drugs.
Everybody's doping, yeah.
They're all doping.
Yeah, but that's also like, then say the same thing about the 70s era when they're all on methamphetamines.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Hey, so, like, why are these guys bad? Because they broke those great records. It's Babe Ruth is their pinnacle. You can't beat those records. I mean, they almost
Right.
killed Hank Aaron for that, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't alive during the Hank era, or Hank Aaron era, but I believe they probably said he was juicing, weren't they? Like, oh, he's a cheat, probably.
I never.
He's
heard
on
that.
something.
They
Nah,
say
I
that?
never
heard
heard
that.
about
All right.
I never heard
Sorry,
that.
Hank Aaron.
I don't think they
trying to
knew
help.
what
Look at
juice
you,
was
fucking
back
up.
then.
I'm trying. I'm misinformation.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
That should be a girl that does porn. Misinformation.
Misinformation.
She's a radio DJ, actually. Misinformation.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Is a radio DJ
Yeah.
named? I think that they didn't discover that shit until Eastern Bloc nations started. They started experimenting on it with Olympic athletes, and you started seeing women Olympic athletes that were posting up numbers that I think even Google this, because I think there's some like powerlifting numbers from Eastern Bloc nations from the early days before drug testing that they still haven't beaten.
Damn.
Like, dude, they engineered people back then. There was an article I read about this lady who was in that program, and she was like a weightlifter, and she basically was forced to take hormones, and it ruined her chance of ever
Really?
having children. She could never have children, and she was just talking about like what awkward shit it did to her body. Because back then, man, they were
science experiments, right?
they didn't give a fuck, man. You're gonna win for the Soviet Union. Like, you take that drug.
Right, though.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Right.
It's like there's a lot of communist countries that just to decide what you're going to do. And if you're a woman and you show promise at weightlifting and they want you to represent Russia.
Gymnastics,
Back
right?
in the 1950s or 60s, whatever it was.
Ice skating, right? Cycling, all of it now, right?
This is what we're realizing with this war, man. It's like this is a people thing. Like, people like to control people. It doesn't matter if they're Russian or Chinese or wherever the fuck they're from, American, Canadian. Look at what's going on in Canada. Well, they froze the assets, all those people that contributed to the truckers that were trying to like protest.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
what are you doing?
They did that for
They
real.
froze the assets. They froze people's assets. They I don't know if they've released them. I think they eventually ultimately released them.
Yeah, where are people's rights to protest?
Well,
You know?
man, it's like
Canada's a democracy, right?
It's a thing that people want to learn. Look, running things and ruling over people has got to be very fucking complicated. It's very difficult to do.
Right.
It's so hard to do, and so hard to do when you have like all these different pressures from all these different businesses that have contributed to your campaigns and people that want you to do one thing or the other thing. God damn, it's got to be hard to do.
Yeah, I can never fuck with
one of the easiest impulses, one of the most normal human impulses, is just tell people to shut the fuck up. I'm going to do this now. Yeah. We're going to impose this. We're going to impose a new law. We're going to keep this law. It's a natural thing that people want to do when they get in charge, and you're not supposed to be able to do that. And the people that like voted with him, that's a mistake. You're not supposed to give people new powers. The amount of power they have is enough. Those powers are supposed to be reserved for terrorist attacks and shit. Wild stuff. You know, like
Not your own people
trying to overthrow the government, not people that are protesting. Like you gotta be able to tolerate a certain amount of protesting.
Right.
You have to be. There has to be discourse, because otherwise you're going to make new laws to make your life more convenient and easy.
Right.
But the fucking real reason is no one should be a president. No one. No one should be a prime minister. No one person should get that much juice.
Facts.
And I don't think they have in America. I think this is a good example, because I think that with Biden, there's probably a lot of people helping him out.
Right.
And it's probably a gigantic group effort. But Russia? Nobody's saying shit to Putin.
Nah.
Right?
Nah.
You know, that's a different kind of
nobody's
thing.
checking my man.
When a person gets to that spot, that crazy superposition where they can just call out whatever they want done, force things, attack.
The only other motherfucker I remember running Russia was Mikhail Gorbachev. And then after that, it was just been Putin the rest of my life.
How about Khrushchev? In the 1960s, Khrushchev pulled his shoe out and banged it on the desk and said, I will bury you.
Right. Yeah.
Bro, do you remember? You ever see that? Want to see that? You need to see that, because this is like post-nuclear weapons first being deployed.
Really?
This was in the Cold War, could have been a hot war.
In
This
the
is
70s?
the time. No, this is like when he did that with Khrushchev. I don't know what year it was. I'm thinking this was during like the Kennedy years, 1960. Yeah, 1960.
Oh,
he
the
took his
Kennedy
fucking
era.
shoe off and banged it on the desk and said, "I will bury you." Do you understand how terrifying that would have been?
Who was he talking to?
Russians
To
go
us. To us.
hard. Yeah, Russians go hard.
And these motherfuckers had nuclear weapons and a long history of brutal warfare that was just recently behind them. They had warfare on their front lines. You know, during Stalin's era, fucking who knows how many people starved to death in Russia.
Right.
Russia was horrifically treated by its rulers and by history and fate, and that goes back to the Mongols invading them in the 1200s, man.
So it's just in their blood.
Dude, they've had a long
in their
history
roots.
of conflict. These are fierce people, and you see it in the UFC right now. There's these Russians that are coming over and fucking dominating in the UFC. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's like a high population of Russians.
I've been to Russia too. That shit is.
It's a hard place.
Yeah, I don't
It's
wanna-
cold as fuck.
Is it
and
third
people
world?
are strong.
It ain't-
No,
it ain't third world.
No,
though.
not at all. It's just a different. They're just hard people, man.
Yeah.
I don't like the vibe. I'm good.
I said Putin, my man, on here. I got to clarify that. That
I
was
went
some urban
twice.
vernacular.
It's a vernacular.
Yeah,
Do you know that Louis
don't put me
C.K.
on a-
was
on a
doing a
list.
show? He was supposed to be doing a show in Ukraine when the shit hit the fan.
Oh, I read about that. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I
it was on
text-
Twitter. Yeah, he's on talking about it.
Yeah, I don't want to read his text because it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah,
That
sounds terrifying.
He was pretending that he was there, and then he wasn't.
He was pretending he was there.
To me,
Okay.
To me, in a
Oh,
text
man.
message, to be funny.
I was gonna say, yeah.
He's like, I'm fucked. He said, no, I got out. This is crazy, and he's explaining. And he's doing like some European tour right now. But imagine, Sean Penn is over there right now.
Dog over there.
He in
CNN's
Russia?
over there. They're over there, just like documenting it, hoping they don't
Russia?
get killed.
Yeah, this is a
Or
this
Ukraine,
is a
the
real
Ukraine.
in Ukraine. Yeah, this is a real hot war
It's a war
in our lifetimes.
I've never right. That's what I'm saying. This is the first time I've ever seen this kind of conflict with white people. I'm like, this is gnarly.
You know what it's like? This is like slaps, but like if you're gonna get in a street fight, this is like by using conventional weapons. It's like slaps before they start throwing haymakers. We got to be really terrified of haymakers, because if
Right.
haymakers come, and I know this is a bad analogy because people are dying. I don't mean it that way. What I mean is like it'll escalate to the point where everybody's dead. That's what's terrifying to me. What's terrifying to me is that what has he done with his nukes? What has Putin done with his nukes? There was like some thing that he did.
Well, Belarus just opened up their nukes for him, right?
even though we just clicked on this video, I just read a bunch of reports that said this didn't happen.
Okay.
But we just watched it.
There might not have been a shoe in his hand.
What's in his hand?
It's like a gavel, probably.
Oh.
Okay.
For sure.
I
That's a shoe, bro.
Dude,
Look at the end.
I just read 15 reports that said this. Like, they don't even have a picture of him doing it.
I think that is propaganda by the government trying to discredit my podcast. Go back to that because
Misinformation.
Misinformation.
Watch
baby.
it pop up. I swear to God, I saw a heel. Let it pop up. It's like right when he bangs it,
Oh,
right there. That looks like a shoe, bro.
no,
That's a shoe.
No, negative.
So gavel? Is it
I
a
mean,
gavel?
shoes are a thing in politics,
Can you?
right?
He's gonna back it up. Here we go. We got
Didn't
it.
somebody
here.
throw
We
a
got
shoe
it.
at a-
We got it here. We got it here. Bro, you sure that's not a
Play
shoe?
by play, the frame by frame.
You sure that's not a shoe?
I will crush you.
If it was a shoe, this is the only account of it
back.
anywhere online that I could just find.
It's a conspiracy.
I'm saying
Okay, so that's a conspiracy. The part that it was a
that
shoe.
it's even a shoe. That this even
So
happened.
is it really more interesting that he bangs his shoe? Yes, it is, right? It is. It's kind of
Yeah.
gangster.
That is gangster.
Someone take their shoe off and bang it on the desk.
It is.
Russians are gangster. Russians are fucking gangster.
Well, he was definitely gangster, whatever he was
Yeah.
doing. Well, thank you, Jamie.
But the Ukraine is too. I mean, the motherfuckers are hard, dog.
Hard people.
Hard.
Listen, man, you got Lomachenko over there, one of the greatest lighter weight fighters of all time.
Right.
You got the brothers Klitschko,
Yeah.
who two of the greatest heavyweights
Heavyweight
of all
legends.
time.
One of them is a
and you
mayor
got
over there,
Usyk,
too, right?
who's the Vladimir.
Yeah, he's
no,
the mayor.
Vitaly rather. Vitaly's the mayor
Of Kiev.
Kiev. How do you say it?
Kiev.
He's the mayor of Kiev. And then you got Usyk, who is one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever lace on gloves.
Yeah.
What he did to Anthony Joshua, I was like, I can't even believe I'm seeing this.
Right, though.
I can't even believe I'm seeing this. He did like lighter man boxing in the heavyweight division and put on a fucking show. Look at him out there.
Dog, them niggas are hard.
He's an interesting guy too. Usyk, he's like really creative. Like if you watch him on his Instagram page, he's always like dancing and shit, like moving around. Like he's a very eclectic, sort of eccentric guy. He's got a lot of different things going on with him. And his boxing style is fucking almost unprecedented for the heavyweight division. He moves like a lightweight guy. Like he's constantly moving. He's in perpetual motion, feinting and jabbing and cutting angles, and his footwork is superb. I mean, Anthony Joshua is such a power puncher, man. And to stand in front of him like that and just keep pressing forward
We'll see
and
some
get
street
clipped
combat.
too.
Yeah, with the Russians.
They're hard people, bro. And he's over there right now with a rifle.
Right.
A rifle and a helmet.
They got stingers. They got javelins.
The thing is, like, where does this go? Like, how do they end this? How do they end this without people?
I just know how you devalue life like that. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
terrifying,
You know?
because it leads, like, if you can justify killing 10,000 people, you can justify killing 100,000 people. You can justify 100, you can justify 1,000,000. And then
Well, now you're talking about
keep
genocide.
going.
Yeah, the genocide of
and
the
now
Ukrainian
you're-
people.
Yeah, if you feel like there was a time during the 1960s where these generals were talking about nuking China or nuking Russia, that you could eliminate it very quickly and that you could do it fast, and we would only lose like a few million people in the United States, and they were like willing to give it a go.
Whoa, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there were real generals.
Just
like
power
real
over
generals.
people's lives, like, that's
Oliver Stone.
crazy.
Oliver Stone was explaining this to me.
Dog. I can't.
He's like, the guy was the inspiration for the Doctor Strangelove movie. You know, the Doctor Strangelove. You ever see that?
No, I've only heard of it. I haven't
Doctor
seen it.
Strangelove is a crazy movie from early days. Like, it's like 65 or something like that. And it's all about these generals sitting around wanting to go to war, wanting to, and they were talking. One of the guys was talking, it sounded like a parody. Like he was talking like, we'll probably lose Chicago and, you know, maybe a couple other places, but for the most part, we'll have limited amount. Yeah, basically a documentary. Doctor Strangelove is basically a documentary. Stanley Kubrick's 1964 film, Doctor Strangelove, is a black comedy that ends with the world being completely destroyed in a nuclear war.
Okay.
Many aspects of the film might seem absurd, but according to Daniel Ellsberg, who worked as a nuclear war planner in the 1960s, it's actually pretty close to reality. He says that was a documentary.
Get outta
Ellsberg
here.
says in episode 297 of Geek's Guide to the Galaxy podcast. Everything that film existed as an operational reality at the time. He says that while specific doomsday machine featuring Dr. Strangelove is fictional. The Russians and the Americans' nuclear arsenals functioned as de facto doomsday machines, since a first strike by either power against the other would be more than enough to plunge the world into nuclear war. And so they really were trying to do this. So there really were some wild-ass generals from the 1960s that were thinking we might have to nuke them before they nuke us.
I mean, they did.
Just power people's lives.
I mean, they did Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
They did it.
So
they did.
Yeah,
they did it
They
before.
did it. They did it.
Exactly.
They wiped out those cities.
It's
So they did
amazing
it.
we haven't done it since.
I thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
Absolutely. But it's amazing, isn't
But
it?
now
Like,
more countries have this
everybody's
capability.
got it.
Yeah, everybody's got it now.
bro, they talk about suitcase nukes.
See?
And you go, what the fuck did you just say? Suitcase nukes. It's like someone could have a suitcase that's a nuclear weapon. What?
Don't say that.
A suitcase?
That's
and
real.
What would that suitcase do? Detonate a city. What? How much power is in a suitcase nuke?
What the fuck?
Yeah, how many megaton wattage? What is that?
Yeah. I mean, how much is that? And are those real?
Power.
Dude, it's terrifying. What human beings are capable of doing to each other is terrifying. Because also capable of
that in
being
us?
cool as fuck.
Right.
Dude, what we were just talking about earlier.
Why
I
would
think
we even
it's
make a nuclear weapon?
This is what I'm saying. Like, why can't we use this power to like figure out how to find other intelligent life out there?
the problem with nuclear power is that someone was going to make it.
Right, and that's exactly. As
Someone
soon
was
as
gonna-
it's out there in the
Why did they
universe, yeah.
weaponize it though? That's the thing.
Well,
Right.
Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project did it to try to end the war because they felt like the war was going to go the wrong way and Hitler was going to take over the world. Now, if Hitler took over the world, we'd obviously be fucked.
Right.
I mean, what happened
be, yeah.
during World War II, everybody would be.
Right.
What happened over there in World War II in 1947 changed the course of history. But, it didn't have to. If the Germans figured it out quicker, bro, they figured out a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They figured out all kinds of race car technology that, how many fucking elite world car manufacturers came out of Germany?
Exactly. Porsche.
Mercedes,
Right.
Volkswagen, Porsche, Audi.
Yeah.
Oh, them
What the
fire
fuck,
whips.
dude?
Yeah.
BMW.
Yeah.
It all came out of this fucking same part of the world.
Yeah.
Tragedy.
Dude, they invented all kinds of shit. Jet
Right.
engines. They had advanced technology.
The
so
science
much
that came
so,
out of that too because of the experiments they were doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what Operation Paperclip is?
No.
All the people that ran the NASA program that put people on the moon in the 1960s was Nazis. Operation Paperclip was a real operation the U.S. federal government engaged in where they took Nazis from Nazi Germany, Nazi scientists, and they brought them over. Werner Herzog, who's the head of, Werner von Braun. Werner Herzog's a documentary guy. Werner von Braun, who was the head of NASA, was a Nazi. So much so that the Simon Wiesenthal Center at one point in time said if he was alive today, they would prosecute him for crimes against humanity.
Wild.
So
Let's
NASA
go.
is a motherfucking Nazi. So the end of NASA is a Nazi.
It's always about the
I
advancement.
read
of
this story about
humans.
how they would hang the 5 slowest Jews at the doorway to the rocket factory in Berlin.
What?
Yes, that was real.
Where is this?
This is
at?
during the Holocaust.
Yo.
During the Holocaust, during World War II, Werner von Braun ran a rocket factory, and they had Jews work as slaves.
Wow.
They brought all these people over here. They brought over all these people over here with their advanced rocket ship technology, and they all helped put us ahead of the space race. You never heard about this?
No, I didn't.
Do you know
hear
they
about
used to
this.
fight?
I gotta hear about this.
They used to fight duels, so they
What?
all had big cuts all over their face.
like
that was
Mandingo fights almost.
that was a badge of honor to have they all had giant duel scars on their face.
Jesus.
Imagine not just being a Nazi, but being a Nazi whose whole face was sewed back together like they wanted to look like monsters.
Yeah.
Pull up Nazi duel scars. Look at this shit. Look at these guys.
Okay. Oh. Damn. That's why they had these. Okay.
They
'cause
all- look at that
you
guy.
see all this. Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that
When you look
guy.
up Nazi pictures.
They all
Holy
had this.
shit.
So they would put goggles on, and then they would put, like
You don't want to fight
outfit
these
on.
guys. Though. I mean, like, yeah, you look at these
Exactly.
guys. These are monsters you're fighting. This shit gives you nightmares.
They would fight with swords and cut each other's faces, and it was a rite of passage.
Yeah.
And so you look at like the guys running NASA. Now look at Dueling Scars NASA Operation Paperclip. And you'll see like guys who were working for NASA in the 1960s have Nazi dueling scars on their face. Look at that guy in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, who's that woman though?
Like, look at his face.
She's the one. She wrote a book about it.
No, she actually was on our podcast before.
Yeah, Nazi,
Annie
Nazi
Jacobson.
bitch.
I was like, where's her?
No, there's her and me together talking. I swear to God, she doesn't have a dueling scar.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
look at that
where's her
dude's.
scar?
Look at that smile he's got connected to his cheek. Look at that guy down there, Jamie. And look at that guy.
Oh, my
But
God.
look at
I
that
thought that was
black,
Walt Disney. I
the
was
black
like,
and white
oh.
guy next to his hand, next to his hand.
Yeah.
The one that says a little bit. Go to the right a little bit.
where you're pointing.
Drop. Yeah, that guy. Look at that guy's face. But there were so many of those guys. They had these dueling scars all over their face. See, what this is supposed to teach people.
Who's they dueling against?
Each other, right?
Each other in schools. They're in like military schools and shit. Yeah.
Hard. Did anybody
Hard.
Nazis are hard.
Cold as fuck in the winter.
Did anybody die?
Different
What the
kinds
fuck?
of people.
You gotta die.
Oh,
You cut me
I
like
bet.
that.
Guarantee you some
I
people
bet.
died. Guarantee you some people got their necks cut and died. They had to. They were
That's
fighting.
what makes these motherfuckers scary.
They were fighting the face with
Yeah.
swords.
Scary.
But it was like a rite of passage to have your face fucked up and get all stitched back together again.
Yeah, nobody's
But
gonna be as
then,
hard as the Nazis.
I guarantee you a lot of people died from the infections. What does it say? He was a what?
There was social significance of them too. It's like you were elite.
Oh, you were also good husband material. Jesus Christ. Imagine.
That's the propaganda.
But this is
that's
the
the
thing,
brainwashing.
man. This is like, this goes back to warrior cultures, whether it's the
Right.
Vikings or any
Prove how tough
or
you are,
Native
right.
Americans, any warrior cultures, like they all like valued scars.
Fuck that.
Go like that. Look at that. And the number and the extremity of scars was reduced in more recent times. It said, and the custom of obtaining dueling scars started to die off after the Second World War. Well, after we kicked your ass.
They said
bitch.
some students who didn't even fence would scar
Fake it?
themselves with razors in imitation. What the fuck? So
Well, you know, jiu-jitsu guys do that.
Oh yeah.
They fuck their ears up on purpose.
Oh, that's why they be having the cauliflower ear
Well,
and shit like
no,
that.
there's two. Like some of them get a cauliflower ear just from regular grappling, but some of them like they'll grab their ear and fuck it up. They'll bend it and crush their ear just to get a little
Yeah,
blood in there.
Ugh, fuck that. Ugh.
It fucks with your hearing
Here's
too.
suitcase bombs, by the way. It's as big that it could be in a suitcase or backpack, according to what I was looking up. And its power was 10. This was getting. I don't really understand the bomb power stuff, but
What does it
it's
say?
not quite as big as like the ones we dropped on.
Oh,
But it's still a nuke.
so it would be like how much of a percentage of like a Hiroshima bomb?
I don't know. I don't even want to give an answer because I didn't see anything comparing it to that specifically. I also was trying to find if they were even a thing for a minute. There was a 60 Minutes interview where a Soviet general said they created about 250 of them and 100 were missing at some point.
The Soviet
Wow.
Union is crazy. What was that Operation Odessa? Did you ever see that? Have you seen that? Who produced that again? Is that Billy? That's not Billy Corbin, right? No, that's someone else, right? Who produced Operation Odessa?
What's that?
Trying to remember.
Operation Odessa is about these drug dealers that buy a
Tiller Russell.
submarine. Tiller Russell, that's right. Sorry, Tiller. They buy a submarine to fucking deliver their drugs in from the Russians, and the Russians ask them if they want nuclear bombs.
What the fuck?
The Russians ask them if they want to buy nuclear missiles.
Oh my god.
Bro, it's a great documentary. It's a great documentary. It's really interesting.
So they was smuggling coke from Russia?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes. Dude, it's a wild documentary.
Where the fuck do you get cocaine in Russia?
I bet it's probably pretty easy if you're friends with the right people.
Oh my god.
It's a really good documentary. But it's all about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time I go places over there like that, they got bad cocaine.
What's good?
Like Australia, they cocaine. This shit is good. Well, it's basically like ketamine, like Special K.
Oh, well, it probably is.
Yeah, it is.
Freddie's talking about
I
cocaine
don't-
again.
I don't know what cocaine is. I don't know what it does because I've never tried it. Because I know I'd love it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I don't need anything that gives me any confidence.
Yeah, that's why I don't do crack. They say
Yeah.
it's like a body orgasm.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, all the crackheads I know they used to have to get their dick sucked or fuck while they was doing their crack or right after immediately or something. They make them horny as fuck.
Yeah, you don't want that drug. You get hooked on that drug, yeah, that's over.
I had a good buddy of mine that was deep into it. I used to
Crack?
have to yeah,
Wow.
he was always trying to take me to buy it. And I was like, man, if I get my car repossessed, I'm going to be so fucking mad at you. So I'd have to drive him into Harlem, and he would go and score. And I was always trying to clean him up because, like, we were, like, from completely different ends of the, like, what you do with your body spectrum. Like, I'd come from martial arts, and, you know, I was a stand-up comedian, and he was a pool hustler. And, like, he was always, like, homeless and sleeping on.
He was bound to do crack.
Bound to do
and he was
crack.
doing a lot of
Bound to
crack.
do crack.
Future
Yeah.
crackhead. You feel me?
Why did you teach him like, hey man, you know what would be cheaper if you just made this shit yourself?
You realize when you talk to people that have a real problem, it doesn't matter what you say.
Right.
You can't really say anything.
You think, man, you can't tell no motherfucker to make their own crack. You don't think every crackhead them had that bright idea like, man,
Eureka!
I'm just gonna go get me some cocaine and make my own shit.
The problem is I'm getting undercut.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like go to Home Depot. Like,
This
all right, I'll
crack
get
could
my
be
own,
so
get me
much
some
more
cocaine.
inexpensive.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just a smarter
They
idea.
can't afford the powder. They just get a rock, man. Fuck
Right.
it.
It's like
That's
fast food. Like I don't want to
It's
make the
fast
food.
food.
Yeah.
Like a
go to
single
McDonald's.
nigga buying groceries. He ain't gonna do that. He just go Uber Eats.
Let's
motherfucker.
imagine. Let's imagine a
crack.
place. Imagine a place where crack is legal.
Russia.
Oregon.
No, right here in America. Imagine if that was, it is an organ, but you
Oregon.
can't sell it. It's decriminalized.
Okay.
What I'm saying is legal. I'm saying legal everywhere. Like let's cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, if I can buy booze, if I can walk into a CVS and buy enough whiskey to kill myself,
Okay.
you 100% can, right? You walk into a drugstore, they sell whiskey, don't they?
Absolutely.
If you buy a couple of bottles of whiskey and you just drink them in an hour, you're a dead
you're
man.
dead, yeah.
You're
You're
a
gonna
dead
die.
man. You're a dead man.
You're a dead man. Alcohol poison.
You're a dead man. So why is that okay? What is it? Because we are used to it? Like, I'm not saying you should do crack. But why is it okay to just drink yourself to death?
Because maybe they haven't tested enough. Because alcohol, I feel like, has been around so long.
Have you done crack?
Never done crack.
Imagine if like a really smart person does crack and they're like, wait a minute, this is actually beneficial.
I mean, we
Man,
gotta
the problem is-
find that guy.
Here's the problem. It's like, we get bad propaganda because everybody who does crack is already a loser.
But presidents drink alcohol.
Maybe the president smokes crack.
There's only a few mayors I even
If
know.
I was Biden, I'd smoke crack. I'm like, how much time do I have left? I want to try crack.
Crack just got bad physical effects on the body, like the face, the teeth, shit like that. It's just
Yeah,
not
but
it's not a glamorous.
I don't think
drug.
that's what it is. I think that's neglect. Freebasing a little bit, but also neglect. Dr. Carl Hart, do you know who he is?
I've read about this cat. Yeah.
He's a professor at Columbia. Brilliant
heroin,
guy.
right?
Yes.
right.
He's
Oh,
he's
yeah,
been
I
on my
heard about him.
podcast a couple of times. He's a very interesting guy because he talks openly about his personal drug use. He's careful about it, where he doesn't give up like sources
Yeah,
or
he's
whatever.
a functional heroin addict,
but he's
right?
he's basically saying, and this is his position. He was a research scientist. He still is,
Right.
but he was in his 30s and researching these chemicals, whether it was cocaine or heroin or whatever it was, and he realized like we're getting a bunch of bullshit misconceptions about what the effects of these things are, what the withdrawal are. He goes, withdrawal for heroin is like having the flu. I go, really? He goes, yeah, it's like the flu. Like, you get over it. Because everybody wants. He goes, everyone.
Shit, I just see these motherfuckers shit on themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
That depends on what kind of heroin. He
through
might
Right,
be doing
but
some good
people shit
heroin.
on themselves if they have the flu.
But-
If you have the flu
Right.
and you think you're gonna die,
I don't know, man.
if you have the flu and you ever have the flu, you think you're gonna die. When you had COVID, you told me you were as
Dog,
sick as you've
yeah,
ever been.
sick as fuck, but
How
I wasn't,
bad were you?
I wasn't dope sick.
You want dope sick?
Have you been dope sick?
Never.
But do you know that that's 100% for everybody the same? Do you know what I'm saying?
I've seen some bad dope sick, some
But what is
crack
it?
sick, some
Yeah,
real,
more
you know,
than the flu.
Right, but
maybe,
we're just
right.
but heroin, just heroin. Heroin is what he was concentrating
Okay.
on. He
Or
said it was
opium
basically
even, I
like
mean,
the
right.
flu. Bro, people
Opiate, yeah.
listen, people die of the flu.
True.
They fucking die. It doesn't get
People
worse than
die from-
dying.
yeah, from withdrawal.
It
You
doesn't
die
get
from
worse than
withdrawal.
dying.
Yeah.
You
So
could die.
I don't see how there's any way you could dispute what he's saying. I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 to 20,000 people have died in a year from the flu. What's like the most people that have ever died in a year from the flu?
I mean, that's we talk about
which flu?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Spanish flu.
Just like a regular flu, seasonal flu.
Since when?
Just
then?
just Google.
I know, but like-
Google a normal year. Like how many people died from the flu in 2017?
Okay.
Right. So we're far enough removed from
yeah,
COVID.
because H1N1 was the flu. That was not.
That was 2000. That was killing people.
Yeah.
That was
It
killing
was,
people.
and we wasn't tripping on that. We wasn't wearing masks for no H1N1.
Well, it went
It
away
went
pretty
away.
quick. Bert had it.
Yeah,
Chrysler had it. He said he almost died.
dog. It's I
Yeah.
mean, when I first had COVID, you were like, oh, I thought I was gonna fucking
61,000.
die.
61,000 every year?
About 61,000
In
people died in
2017.
2017,
Okay.
2018 flu season.
Imagine if 61,000 people every year died from heroin overdoses. You'd say that's crazy, right?
That's
crazy.
No, it's
Yeah.
more. It's
gotta
more.
be more, yeah.
No, it's over 100,000.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
fentanyl.
that's what I'm saying. It's the number one cause of death of people 18 to 49.
Overdosing, right?
Well,
Overdosing.
they put all opiates together, so it's 75,000.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 100.
I
Number one cause of death.
Opioid. I just typed in opioid overdoses per year. Top thing, CDC, drug overdoses per deaths. The new data documents that estimated overdose deaths from opioids increased to 75,673 in the last 12-month period ending April 2021.
That still beats the flu.
Yeah,
Still
does.
beats the flu.
It beats the flu. He's ahead of the flu by about 10,000.
2 years before it was 49,000, so that might have been
10,000 plus.
pandemic
MVP.
uptick.
MVP, yeah. Overdose.
No, 2017 wouldn't be pandemic. at all.
No. The one I just read that was the higher number was 2021.
Oh.
And in 2019, it says it was
2021? How many people died from the flu?
No. 75,000 people died from the opioids in 2021. I never
Right.
looked up the flu numbers for that year.
Oh, okay. So, well, this is now I understand what you're saying. So the pandemic rise would be higher because a lot of suicides and drug
Yeah,
overdose.
just on the
Yes.
screen, these two things from it says 2019 was 49,000, 2021 was 75,000. The pandemic happened in that time period. That could be a
100%. Yeah, they've talked openly about how the fact that drug overdoses and suicides have gone way up.
That's all. I was just trying to clarify that.
I got it. Now, I was just confused at first. But I think that
So people can't handle the overdose. So
Here's the
evidently he
question.
can because he handled that flu-like symptom, you're saying.
no, here's my question. Like, if you made it legal, how many people would die? Like, let's guess.
I mean, people
If
die
you
off.
say- right, legal heroin where you could buy it at 7-Eleven.
I mean,
might be
People
more.
die off OxyContin every day too. So
They
I mean,
do.
that's legal.
They do.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
but
maybe-
it's interesting. If someone writes something down, if the guy went to school, writes something down on a piece of paper and gives it to you, and you go to get your drugs,
Right.
good job. You
The
did
thi-
it.
the
you
thing-
did
I
it
mean, well,
according to
they
the
were
rules.
all legal back in I mean, opium was legal back in the day, right? Like before
Yeah.
what? Yeah. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
the
at
thing
one
that's
point.
nasty about heroin, man, is the needle aspect of it,
Yes.
and,
Right,
and the
exactly.
disease transfer and things of that.
Don't a lot
nature.
of people
So,
just sniff it, though?
A lot of people do, but shit, a
Smoke it.
lot of
Carl
motherfuckers-
Hart was telling me he just sniffs it.
Oh, he just sniffs up?
Just sniffs it.
Oh, he just sniffs it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, you don't have to be, like, shoot into your veins. That's not
Yeah,
necessary.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Diaz ever did that either, way back in the day when he had tried
Yeah,
heroin.
if they put heroin in a pill form or something like that, then yeah, they probably make it work.
1924
I
it
mean,
became illegal.
man, they don't they though? Isn't
I mean,
OxyContin?
that's basically
It's
what it
100%.
is.
That's
100%.
oxy, yeah.
It's synthetic. Go back to that, Jamie. Look at this. When did heroin became illegal in 1924?
See?
After a few decades of legal use, heroin use and misuse rose rapidly. It became clear that heroin was a highly addictive substance. The United States government made heroin illegal in 1924.
So this was by the way,
That's
this was
because- that's just
legal
because they
during the
couldn't-
Prohibition era.
That's
Up
just-
until 24, right?
that's just because they didn't know how to
you
sell
can
it.
When
still,
did the
you can still
prohibition
do
end? When did the prohibition end?
the 30s.
Yeah, it lasted for a while.
But it
When did it
started,
start?
1921,
they
1920?
they had some movements that didn't take off for a while, and then one finally stuck.
Listen, man, if you could get away with not getting arrested during those days, you know how fun it'd be to be drunk?
Well, not for us.
But yeah, right. Not for you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't really go back in time.
We can't do that. But imagine if we could. I mean, if there was a time like today, like if they found out that alcohol was like the source of the resistance, like if they did studies and they found out, you know what, people are more willing to do a lot of things if they just don't drink. If there's too much fuck it in drinking. We got to
Right.
make drinking illegal. It's liver sclerosis, and it's contributing to the environmental problem that we're experiencing. If they just make alcohol
it could've
illegal,
been
you know,
it
do you know
could've
how
been the
fun it
hospital
would be?
thing again.
But do you know how fun it would be to be drunk if alcohol was illegal?
Fun as fuck.
Yeah, it was though.
It would
You
be
look at that
so
I mean, it
fun.
created mobsters in America.
Yeah.
It did. Al Capone made a lot of his money from
Prohibition.
Prohibition. A lot of the
And,
mobsters
and
did.
we all learned. I mean, that's how street gangs, the
Bro,
drug
that's where
hustle, all that
NASCAR
shit.
came from.
Right.
NASCAR came from guys who are running whiskey in their cars and trying to get away from cops, so they souped up their cars.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Isn't the
Hell
wildest
yeah,
shit?
exactly.
Moonshiners.
So yeah, we ain't got nothing for no heroin though.
Nothing. You could die easy from moonshine. I got a fucking mason jar of moonshine someone gave me. Bro, you take an 8-hour glass, you're taking a dirt nap, bitch. You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. That moonshine shit, I can't fuck with that.
It's paint thinner.
Yeah, I don't know if they make
It doesn't taste good. See,
If
Buffalo
intravenous drug use
tastes
legal.
good. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Hey,
I'm having a good time.
my man.
Moses. And we're
Black History
gonna be
Month.
judges tonight on Kill Tony.
Oh yeah,
Or guests, whatever.
I'm down with that.
I guess
And
we're not
Alchemist
judging
in town too. He got a show.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Alchemist.
Nice.
Earl Sweatshirt.
There's a lot
Action
of shit
Bronson.
going on. Actually, is he in town
He's
this
in
week?
town.
Oh, I
They got
love
the
that
tour.
Dude. That dude, he came on my podcast fat and then fit.
Yeah, now he's
He's
like a
jacked,
bodybuilder.
But
yeah.
we worked out together. We went over to
crazy.
the Onnit gym. We trained together. I'm like, this dude fucking really gets after it, man.
Yeah.
It's so impressive. Like a guy who just ate food and smoked weed his whole life, and then all of a sudden trimmed himself down like this
Yeah.
super fit.
Now
Like he
he's a
got stuck
monster
in
now,
traffic, so he did 200 push-ups and 200 squats while he was stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. He's a savage,
Go get him, Bronson.
and he's like a genuinely sweet guy. Look at him there, bro. That guy lost a fucking ton of weight.
He did.
And I'm telling you, when we work out together, click on that one where he's using that club bell right there. Yeah. Look at this. Dude, this is hard shit to do, man.
Hell yeah,
These
it is.
clubs, that dude is a tank now. Like, we did a lot of shit together when we went to the Onnit gym and we trained together. And that dude is strong as fuck. Oh, he's dancing.
Yeah. He's a weightlifter now. He's a bodybuilder.
Well, you know what? He does a lot of functional fitness stuff. Like, he does a lot of kettlebells and maces and shit like that. Like, when he's on tour, he brings, like, kettlebells with him, and he works out in the green room and shit. He's flipping tires. He's doing all kinds of wild shit.
Yeah.
Stuff I don't even
Yeah,
do.
he look good, man. I'm glad.
I'm telling you, he works out every fucking day.
Glad he got his shit together, man.
I love when that happens. Isn't that nice?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Look at him. He used to be big.
I fuck with Action Bronson.
Look at that one where it's thin, though. Look at that one right there where it says Action Bronson, Jamie. Right next to the big picture. Right next to the big picture. Oh, sorry.
It's a video game picture.
Oh, it's fake. He's in a video game.
Someone just
Steven
created
Glickman in that.
Oh,
picture.
they've created him in like UFC video game or something. It looks like he's got UFC gloves on. Oh, you can do that?
You can create
Someone
it,
needs to make you.
but,
How come no
they
one's
have-
made young Jamie?
I don't know that they have.
They
I
should
don't
give
look.
you a golf club, let you fuck people
They
up.
will now. They will
They-
now.
they give you. I told you. I'm gonna make this public. Kyle Kalinski's challenged you to golf.
Bring it.
Wow, strong.
How much is on
You a
the line?
badass
too?
golfer?
Fucking up Tony already. I'll just
Okay, I've heard.
Listen, Jamie. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do blow by blow,
Blow, blah, blah. Are we talking about Coke again?
play by play, play by play.
No, okay, blah, blah, blah. Misinformation, my bad.
How was roast battle?
It's perfect, dog.
Was it?
Oh, my God.
How's
Hey,
the energy here?
Yo, I got to say this about Austin. This is like the second best comedy city next to New York right now. Like the progression of this city at becoming a comedy city it's incredible now. The energy's great. The comics are all really, really good. I mean, yeah, fuck what you heard. Austin, they have really, really good stand-up out here.
There's
Yeah.
some hoes out here too. Was in the strip club last night. BYOB. We going back again.
Heads up,
This is the
ladies.
king of the strip club, man. This
Heads
is
up. Heads up.
yeah.
Freddie, you're the king of multiple things.
Yeah, man.
But
Definitely,
A wide array, I should say.
definitely man. Check
Austin's
out.
got a hell of a roast battle scene though. They have some killers.
Listen, man,
some
when we
actual
open up,
killers.
we're gonna go visit my club as soon as we get out of here. And when we open up, dude, whatever you want to do. You want to come down once a month? You want to come down once a week? Whatever you want to do. I would
Hey,
love to have roast battle
calling
here.
all roast battlers, we're making a roast battle league. If you're in
100%.
any city in the world,
Oh,
Roast Battle League.
trying to make an NBA, an MLB, and an NFL. Yeah, we're trying to go to the Olympics.
Hell yeah,
roast
I'm
battle's
trying
the
to be-
Olympic sport.
And I want to own you niggas like Jerry Jones.
Back to slavery.
roast battle was one of the first things that I saw that made me want to come back to the store.
Thank you.
So 100% true.
Thank
I
you.
came in the day before Ari filmed the special. You know the
Oh,
whole story.
yeah. Oh,
I was
yeah.
gone from the store. I was banned for 7 years.
The exile.
And I was in exile. I was on my quest. And so I came to the store because Ari was doing a Comedy Central special, rather, the next day. And I was like, I can't just show up the day of a special. I'm going to show up a day before, and I'm just going to like feel the place because I haven't been there in so long. And I saw a roast battle. And I saw you, and I saw what you were doing, how you made people hug it out at the end of the, like, this horrible evil trash talking session with each other. I'm like, this is what the comedy scene needs.
Yeah.
They need joke writing and bullshit and fun.
Exactly.
And
Like,
fun.
Yeah, you had a handicapped person up there.
Oh yeah,
Fucked
Joe
up.
Urell, man.
Yeah.
Joe Urell's is a savage with the roast battle.
So you did,
Cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. I mean, like, but he's one of the best roast writers I've ever seen.
bro,
we've
some
ever
of the
heard.
meanest, funniest shit I've ever heard is during that roast battle.
Yeah. I'll say here's a joke. It's my favorite one of roast battle. It's talking about Joe Urell. So Joe Urell's got cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair, and the cat that was battling him, Mexican cat named Albert Escobedo. He said, "We all know Joe's going to hell because there's a stairway to heaven."
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was there for that. I was there for that.
No,
See, that's what I love about roast battle. Not that guy had to experience that and feel that pain. I don't love that, but I love the writing. Like you have to write. That's in the spot. This is not an old joke that he's had forever.
Right. It's Inspector Gadget. This is gonna blow up in 15 seconds, kind of a thing.
This is a writing exercise, and that's the funniest possible shit you could say right there.
Joke Writer Showcase, dog.
That's a
and
great
it's all
joke.
consensual. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Everybody going in there is consent. It's UFC
Yes.
shit. We're all consented to get our asses
Yeah,
kicked.
like if you watch someone get head kicked, like bro, you
Right.
signed up for this.
You signed up
You're
for
in the
this. Yeah,
cage.
you can't say
You got
you're
gloves on.
concussed
Yeah.
afterwards and sue us. Yeah, you asked
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, rappers would never do that shit.
No.
Well, they do rap battles, but they be doing that shit. So I
No,
guess
but we get a lot of rap battlers now. They try to do roast battles.
they try to do roast battle?
They get cut up.
motherfuckers that really get mad, they be in their feelings. Like
Yeah.
Comedy
that's
is
why you
complicated.
that's why you got a different thing. You got like you got like battle rappers, and then you got like rappers that make albums and make songs and shit like that. The niggas that like make albums and make songs and shit like that, like they would never like sit there and like battle each other and shit, and somebody would get shot.
Right, get talked about. Right, yeah.
Well, how many?
Sensitive.
Think about how many like rap feuds have been going on throughout the day, right? Like Biggie and Tupac.
It's just a confrontational industry.
East
man.
Coast, West Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just it's young black guys with getting a lot of money. That's egotistical.
And guys coming up that want to challenge them.
Yeah.
Remember Tim Dog and
I mean,
NWA?
we just talk about cats getting their face sliced.
Yes.
That's
I mean,
the
that's
culture.
it.
Yeah.
That's the culture.
We got
right?
machismo
It's
culture.
intertwined with the streets.
Machismo.
It's just intertwined with the streets. Right? If I was a country singer, I wouldn't worry about getting shot going outside. But I'm a motherfucking rapper, so I'm like, God damn.
That's why Darius Rucker stayed away from hip hop. He was like, I kind of like this country. I ain't getting
I got
shot.
this.
And another thing too, you know what I'm saying? When you're a rapper, like every nigga in America feels like they could do your job.
That's comedy though too,
feel-
bro.
But that's comedy, Freddie.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Every joker, every dude is the life of the party.
It's like,
he thinks he can
dog.
go up and do stand up.
But they all think they can also podcast too. I'm just like, you can't. You're not that guy.
Yeah, nah,
Well,
I'm
I
like-
don't think people understand what podcasting is.
They
It's the
don't.
same way they don't understand what stand up is. I don't think I understood what podcasting is for like 10 years. It took me like 10 years to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like a different kind of art form, like everything. You can't just think you're just having a conversation with people because you're not really. You're being disingenuous. You're having a conversation with people and you're guiding it in an entertaining fashion.
Right.
And you're trying to figure out how to like.
Well,
how
you got
to
a
like,
lot of shit to figure out, bro. I mean, just because
massage it.
you're the biggest voice in the world right
But
now.
that doesn't make any sense.
It's nuts,
I
right?
did not try for that. Dude, I have no interest in that. I don't. When I signed on to Spotify, I literally said to all my friends, I was like, dude, this is going to be good. I'm going to be like 25% less famous. I go, that's what I want. I want to be like 25% less famous.
No, they lifted you up. Yeah, your haters lifted you up.
It's not even just that. It's just like everyone that gets into a certain position doesn't think or talk sloppy. Like they talk polished and professional. And here we are on the set. This is a wild scene, ladies and gentlemen. There's only a certain amount of like real personality they're allowed to exude into whatever they say, whether they're on a network news show or a talk show or whatever the fuck they are. There's not a lot of people that are independent, and we're all confused. And we're all trying to figure out, like, is the pattern that everybody subscribes to, is that the right one? Does that make sense? Or is it just what we have to do if we want to just keep a job, keep in line, don't get in trouble, don't get people mad at you?
Yeah.
But if you're allowed to just express yourself, just freely, is that how you would talk? If this is, you have one life, it lasts maybe 100 years if everything goes perfect, and you're already 54. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Are you supposed for real? Are you supposed to pretend Are you supposed to be just like following along with all the other nonsense that's going on around you because you want a pension? What are you supposed to do? Like at what point in time he's supposed to go, hey, I don't think we have a captain at the fucking wheel of the boat. I think the human race doesn't have a captain at the wheel of the boat.
Shit.
And we should all have a conversation.
I mean,
And I don't want to be the fucking man. I don't want to be the man.
nobody wants this job,
No,
right? Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I want to let everybody know, like, we're all just fucking people. Whether you're a president or a prime minister or a judge or a cop or a fucking pharmacist or a doctor, we're just people.
Only one
And there's
race,
a
baby.
problem with all kinds of labels and the way we look at each other.
I will say this though.
Definitely.
I don't think I've never seen a black person look like a Planet of the Apes. Like those guys don't look like black people to me. Like they look like who they look like? That cat from Princess of the Bride, the guy with the four fingers.
Are you talking to me about the video where
the Planet of the Apes things? Yeah.
This is what I meant to say. But listen to what I meant to say.
Okay.
Listen to what I meant to say. We were high as fuck.
Yeah.
And we got dropped off in this neighborhood, and we didn't know where we were going. The guy just let us out of the car. And we were barbecued going to see Planet of the Apes. And I was trying to have an entertaining way of saying it was like we were in Africa.
Right.
I go, it was
and
like...
you even said after, Joe, I know.
said, right after I said it, I go, that's a racist thing to say.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said
wasn't
that's
trying to
racist.
say it that way. Look, I fuck things up all the time,
Yeah, man.
which is fine.
Africa, niggas, monkeys. You can't really put that in the same shit. Joe.
No.
You can't throw that in
No.
don't
That's
mix
not what I
well
mean.
together.
I mean, Africa is where all the chimpanzees emerged from.
Yeah.
It's a movie about chimpanzees. I didn't mean ever, nor would I ever say.
Bro, I know.
Listen, here's the problem.
We gotta spank you
Freddie.
about it.
Listen,
We
I know
gotta
you do.
spank
I know
you.
you do, but I have to be honest about it. I just talk shit about everything. I don't mean anything bad by it. But when I say something, I go, that's not what I meant. I really mean that's not what I meant.
Dog,
I
you're
never
you're
say
fine.
something horrible on purpose.
Well, you had the niggas.
If something gets
you had
fucked
you
up
had
like
the niggas,
that,
you had the niggas in Philly talking about, oh, Joe think we some motherfucking monkeys.
Oh
nigga.
my God.
listen, if anybody is one, I am.
I didn't want to say that because that'd be racist.
I
and
have a whole
I don't
bit
need a
about it.
compilation.
Bro, I have a
Yeah.
whole bit. I have 57% more Neanderthal than a regular person.
You have a whole special on
I
it,
have
right?
I have a bit about it, like what I'm doing right now. I'm more Neanderthal than most people, which is fucking obvious.
Yeah. I just want this for the the right and left wingers to be like, them niggas didn't go in there and talk about
you
it.
know what, man?
Moses, I love you, so I'm glad you're the one who brought it up.
I gotta do
It's just one of those things. It was fucking 11 years ago. It's one of those things where you say and you're high. Like, we used to do those shows back in the day, first of all. We would do them. We would smoke a volcano. You know those things?
Oh yeah, I remember
Those
the volcano.
vaporizers?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Joey and Red Band and I, we hit that goddamn volcano, and it just puts you in a coma. And you have to struggle with your own thoughts while you're thinking them.
I know. Trust me, I do nigger jokes all the time when I'm high.
Well, I got to do a video this week where I got to be set on fire, and I'm going to get a white
What?
stunt man. Is that
Okay.
racist?
You got to be set on fire for what?
Yeah, because I'm doing a video where I'm crashing from space. It's going to be crazy, man.
From space?
Yeah, man.
Can't they CGI that shit in now?
Nah, man, we got to make it real.
You really gonna go in space?
I think
Yeah,
they can
we're
make
almost-
it.
Shipping you into space?
But
really go to
obviously, you're
space.
not really going into space. So why can't they CGI the whole thing? Everybody's like, when Freddie was in space, that was unrealistic.
Got to get a stunt
But
man.
once it got to the ground, boy, that looked like real fire.
You see who that shit with Bill Cosby was implemented black stunt men in Hollywood? That was one good thing that he did.
What did he do?
Yeah.
Bill Cosby's the first guy to bring in black stuntmen?
Yeah.
Was he really?
That's what they. Yeah,
That's real
what
talk?
That's what they said on the doc. Because before they had white dudes and they was just painting them black.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's blackface in them?
Yeah, they was blackface because they was blackfacing Bill Cosby stuntmen on I Spy.
Yeah, if I was Bill Cosby, I'd have done that too. Like, hey man, come on. like,
gotta-
this is the most offensive shit.
He put niggas on for stuntmen.
Yeah.
They
They're
did.
like, Bill, what about that Spanish fly you doing? That offended us
That's
too.
what fucked it up. That Spanish fly.
Do you ever
man.
watch any of that Al Jolson shit?
Dog, no.
It's wild.
It's gotta be. Come
it's
on.
wild. Let's watch some of it.
Let's watch some
Let's
of it.
watch some of it. It's
Yeah.
Al Jolson. Al Jolson was like the
Blackface,
first
minstrel.
blackface guy, the minstrel guy from like the early 1900s. Like,
Yeah, he
look at
wasn't
this.
the first. He was the most
fuck?
famous.
He was the most famous?
Yeah.
Well, one of the first is what I
Yeah.
meant to say.
Oh, you that piece of shit.
So this guy back then, like, he would, I mean, you got to imagine. What year is this?
my God.
What year
that
is
is
this?
that is
The
so
first
fucking
movie was
sick.
Sounds, 1927.
1927. So in 1927, this is how far human beings have gone in 100 years.
So the minstrel shows in the mid 1900s, the early 1900s, like the most popular form of entertainment.
Let's stop and
But
think
what
about.
was so entertaining about being a nigga to them?
White
That's what
people
I'm-
hated
No,
black people, bro, back then.
This is also what it was. Like the human race was emerging into a new understanding of
Right.
what's fucked up and what's
Post-Civil
not.
War, right.
Yeah. What's okay and what's not okay. And this was the first time they were ever experimenting with media. You got to realize in like the 1920s, like they're making movies. These are the first movies anyone's ever seen. So no one understands what it's like to make something that a lot of people are going to see. No one knows what it's like to like see something like this in a movie. And then also they have this thing where they don't want a black person to play this role. They want a white guy to pretend he's a black guy, which is just crazy.
That's kinda
because
whack.
he doesn't look he looks like a guy with makeup on. He does not. This is like completely unrealistic.
This is the nice
Look at
shit,
that.
though. The minstrel shows, I mean, like the other ones aren't as nice. You know what I mean? Like they're literally just portraying black
This
people
is
eating
bullshit.
watermelon and you know, acting like runaway slaves, and
It's
you know,
still
this is a little more stand up, and they want to be a little more classy. You know,
It's
this
so
is like
crazy.
Gatsby era
Robert
type shit.
Downey Jr. did this shit in Tropic Thunder. though.
Yes, I talked to Jamie Foxx about that.
How did people really?
It's like, and I talked to Robert about it too. It's like
How
you
did
can't do that today.
Nah, you can't.
You
do
would
that.
never be
How
able
did
to
he
do
get
that
away
today.
with it in Tropic Thunder though?
He got
know,
a
but
Golden
it's so-
Globe nomination for it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, it's a great performance. I mean, I hate to say it.
Okay, Joe, you tripping again?
Listen, I'm not saying he should do it. He definitely shouldn't do it again, and no one should make a Tropic Thunder 2.
No, but even people that say they're like, he's pretty good in it though.
Yo, that
Like,
movie.
like-
Associate from
Listen.
San Antonio.
There's a value into, oh my God, you can't do this. There's a value to watching that. When you're, as a comic, when you're watching somebody like, oh my God, I can't believe you're fucking doing this.
Right.
Only reason
Hey,
he can't
man,
do it, he
Billy
can't do it.
Crystal's been in blackface. Howard Stern's been in blackface. Jimmy Kimmel's been in blackface.
Listen, that feeling of, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this is why I love Kyle Dunnigan.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, did you see that Nancy Pelosi thing?
Yes,
He just
that's what I'm saying, man. It's
Have you seen this?
Yeah,
Have you seen it?
yeah.
Oh my God.
he's fine.
It's goddamn genius.
Yeah.
Him playing. I want to see it. Pull it up, Jeremy. It's
Yeah, but Dunnigan's brilliant.
Dunnigan playing Nancy Pelosi on a fucking talk show.
Just in time for the lightning.
No,
round.
it starts.
That was easy.
There should probably be a law against Congress people
Oh my
trading
fucking God.
stocks. but we just haven't gotten around to it.
I mean, this is
Okay,
fucking
Let's
amazing.
get batshit.
Nancy
Hey, from
Pelosi
Toledo,
giving a
you're on.
financial advice show.
Booyah.
I read your husband bought Google just before the antitrust bill vote. You guys made $5 million. So was that like luck? Or...
Yes, it was a miracle. Thank you, George Floyd.
Look at her hands. She's got skeletons.
Okay, Mark from Illinois.
Booyah, Nancy.
Booyah.
Hold on to my Tesla position before the EV bill passes.
Sell.
That was easy.
A little birdie told me I'll be voting the other way.
Great tip.
You newbies at home, don't be discouraged. I lost a lot of money in the market, but things really turned around when I started making lures. When we come back, I'm gonna jingle all my jewelry in your face. You'll like it.
Jingle all my
Kyle Dunnigan's a goddamn genius.
I like that.
He's a genius.
I mean, the thank you George Floyd line is
Oh,
that is
come on.
primo.
It was a
That is like,
miracle.
pow.
It was a miracle.
Miracle. Oh, using
was
that man to jumpstart their power. I mean, come on, y'all.
Yes,
Oh
they
my
did.
God.
My goodness, get him, Kyle. Get him every time with that shit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He does everybody too. He
Yeah.
can do Biden.
Yeah.
He does an amazing Biden.
He does a good Michael Jackson.
He does everybody. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that Michael Jackson was ruthless.
So it's
That
not.
was
So it's not
ruthless.
blackface if they do Michael Jackson.
Well, I was gonna say like the deepfake. Can you blackface with deepfake?
That's a very good question.
Yo.
Right? If you're a white guy and you have to do like Samuel Jackson, is that what you have to
Samuel
face
Jackson,
swaps?
That's blackface.
You have to face swap Samuel Jackson. That is kind of.
That's new blackface. That's digital blackface.
Right.
Digital
So
blackface.
the only way you'd be comfortable with that is if it was a black guy doing Samuel Jackson's voice. Like if there's a black guy who was an impressionist.
They're doing a caricature of what they think is a
and
black
then they
person.
have like the Samuel Jackson face swap. That's okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do white people get mad?
I'm just trying to lay down the laws for white
No,
people
yeah.
so everybody understands.
Do white people get mad when Dave Chappelle do whiteface?
No.
Or
nobody
white
gives a fuck.
chicks, or
Nobody
you
gives
know,
a fuck.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy, right?
No, well,
because
Dave
it's
Chappelle
always
in particular.
punching down for white people. That's what it is. It's asserting power over people because they're the majority. So when every time a black person does it, we're just punching up.
Oh, okay.
Well, Pryor had the best version of it.
Which
You
one?
know, like we had a bunch of like when he would do the best version of like the white guy voice.
Oh,
like,
he created. You're right.
he created it.
Yeah.
Hey, my mom was a wonderful gal.
Right.
He said, "Your mama."
Yeah, it's like it's that.
My mom. Well, my mom was a wonderful gal. Like it's like 1950s.
Makes
What
like-
was on TV?
Makes like Isaac Newton. White guys.
You know, it's like the fake dudes, like the very first people, like Leave It to Beaver, like
Right.
the dad on Leave It to Beaver never jacked off. Why would I?
Yeah. That like, he does it the best,
Yeah.
right? Making you guys sound like emasculating you a little bit. Yeah.
Well, not just that, like turning them into like dopey robots.
Right.
Like, hey, my gal. Why are you talking about my gal? So it's like they're stuck like 10 years earlier. When you look at like Pryor's emerging era, which is like the 1970s and like into the 80s, right when he like emerged as a superstar, like those people were dorks.
I mean, it's brilliant to see like, hey, white people. I mean, nobody likes to be talked about, but like here is one person who's making this like is obviously honky or white. You know, like those aren't as hard as the N word. But when this cat's doing it, it's almost like he's talking shit about us, but this is really funny.
Yeah, they were happy to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people were more comfortable with talking shit about each other back then too, which is why Archie Bunker worked.
Word.
Do you ever see the fucking scene where Archie Bunker is talking to Sammy Davis Jr.? It's been going around like right now because it's like apparently today's the 50th anniversary of All in the Family.
Okay.
And Archie Bunker and Sammy Davis Jr. are talking shit to each other. It is fucking hilarious.
He was talking shit to him?
It was hilarious.
Yo, you have that?
Try to find it, man. Try to find it. It's it was the 50th anniversary. Sammy Davis Jr. and Archie Bunker talking shit to each other. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. It's like it's what we like most. It's like backstage, green room, shit talk. Like
talking
we
shit.
We talk so much shit to each other. We get so used to it.
Right, yeah, you can't be around normal people saying that because they get hurt.
We talk so much shit to each other, but we talk so much shit about life, about everything. And your whole idea is like make the comics laugh.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
that's what it's really all about. It's tough to do on this podcast because everybody's judging us for it.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Fuck 'em.
Sammy Davis Jr., here it is.
Can't let him nothing. There's Munson with the briefcase now. There's Sammy. I'll let him right in.
Hi, Arch.
Munson, we're waiting for you. We're waiting.
Sorry, I took
Oh,
so
I
long.
don't think this is
Yeah,
it.
so I'm not sure if it's the right clip.
Oh,
There's
he
only
did.
two clips popping
It
up.
said he kisses him.
Right, that yeah.
Oh.
This
that's
one
famous
is a little
for.
longer, but I don't know if it's the right again.
Cross the street.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But folks can find it if you just watch the show. And whenever Sammy Davis Jr. was on with Archie Bunker, they talked a lot of shit to each other. It was very funny.
Here we go.
But I just watched this one clip.
Be here any minute. All right. Well, in the meantime, will you make yourself at home? How we get you some coffee, huh?
Well, that's awfully nice of you.
Yeah, sit right down here, Mr. Davis, right in my chair. Make yourself comfortable. It's the best in the house.
Listen, Mr. Davis, I gotta tell my mother you're here. She's crazy about you.
Lionel, don't go back, huh? Lionel. Come on, you two. You don't over here. Make the coffee, huh?
We're gonna have to watch this whole show to
yeah,
interpret
that's
this.
right.
That's definitely not the scene.
Okay.
Sammy
It
Davis
was just
a cold
fun.
boy.
They were just talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Sammy
Boing,
Davis
boing,
is a
man.
cold dude. He was cold. I mean,
What-
the stuff that he's seen and been through. I mean, being in the Rat Pack and all the racism, but also being a Jewish cat.
Did he lost an eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah.
Bushwick Bill lost an eye too.
Didn't he? Did that happen? Like, was that self-inflicted?
I think so.
Oh shit.
Or was that a
Oh,
girlfriend?
Bushwick or
With Bushwick, I think a girlfriend did it to him, right?
He did it. I think he did it.
Self-inflicted.
That's what made me want to listen to Ghetto Boys as a kid. I was like, this is some scary shit.
Those are your guys, Ghetto Boys.
I
You always talk Ghetto Boys. When
I
we're
love
hanging
Ghetto
out.
Boys.
Yeah,
When I delivered newspapers, I would listen to Ghetto Boys like almost every day.
Love the Ghetto Boys.
When I was when I was just beginning as a comedian, I would listen to cassettes. And I'd just drive around and deliver newspapers. And, like, I listened to this same Ghetto Boys cassette, like, 30 fucking times in a row.
That's what I had.
Ice-T, back in those days, when he wrote the soundtrack for Colors. And he was on the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, Ice-T, the man.
Wasn't Sammy Davis like the first cat on like Playboy After Dark or something?
What was that?
Like he was he doing stand-up or singing?
Playboy After Dark?
Yeah, the Hugh Hefner show.
Oh yeah, they was talking about that on the Bill Cosby doc.
Yeah.
Hugh Hefner was like letting like black comics and stuff come in because they couldn't really go anywhere else and things of that nature. So he was real instrumental in that.
Those Hugh Hefner days are probably pretty fucking wild. Because that guy just like had a bunch of people over his house to party.
Yeah.
And had a magazine. And
Playboy
everybody like thought of Playboy as just being like naked people, which it was. But it was also like interesting interviews. Like there's a whole lot. I read a book once that was the best of the Playboy interviews. Somebody gave it to me, like a buddy of mine. Like, check this out.
There's like Kerouac in there. Like a bunch of people are in there.
Sinatra was a big one.
Yeah, a contributor.
Yeah. What's this? Sammy Davis After Dark. So this is on the Playboy channel.
I think so. This is at the Playboy Mansion.
No, it was like I think it was like a network show.
Wow! Look at these people. They're from another planet. Stop for a second. Can you imagine if we had a way of using a telescope into space to check out another planet? When we saw America in 1950, we'd be like, "Oh my God, look at these dorks!"
Right though. Separated, dressed up. I mean, like,
my God, so weird. And also, like, no technology, like almost cave people. We're like a couple of generations removed from straight barbarianism. like in 1920, how many years of electricity are we even talking about? Is it 100?
Right. I think it's still kerosene, right?
What year? Like, what year did electricity get distributed across the entire country?
Yeah, it depends what city you were in, because a lot of places didn't have it. For a while.
Well, let's go with Chicago.
That's so Chicago World Fair is like 1898. They sort of showed it off. I mean, they had it, but they showed it off.
So at the that's almost 1900. This is only 50, 60 years later.
Right.
That ain't shit, man.
Right.
That ain't shit.
No.
That's such a small window of time, and all of a sudden we have electric fucking record players.
Yeah, we're doing everything now.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna have flying cars in like 3 years.
I hope not. Motherfucker crashing like a boat.
But I mean, between those 60 years, between no electricity and then movies, Chicago World's Fair, 1893. Wow. 1893. President Grover Cleveland pushed a button that lit nearly 100,000 incandescent lamps illuminating the city, demonstrating how electricity will forever change the nation, making it readily available to residents everywhere. Wow, can you imagine being alive the day they hit the switch?
I mean,
no electricity ever. No electricity ever. And then all of a sudden, ka-chunk.
Well, that creates nightlife, right?
Yeah.
In essence, right?
That's what it looked like. I think that's what they lit up.
Yeah, nigga. If not, you was riding around in your buggy holding your goddamn lantern.
Right. Or you weren't.
But you know what the problem is? As soon as they turn that on, you stop seeing the stars.
Exactly.
That's the real mindfuck.
Yeah.
The biggest advancement in human technological history is electricity, because it allowed all the other advancements to come out of it, whether it's electronics or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
Everything has to be powered by electricity.
Right.
But when you turn it on, you can't see the stars anymore, so you get confused. So people only focus on their tasks. It's almost like a little drug, like a little sedative drug that keeps us from seeing the cosmos. So you only see like a blank slate.
That
you
would change human DNA, wouldn't it?
Oh my God. We're so less concerned about space and like the fact that we're hurling through it than I think any civilization before light. I think when they didn't have light, they would look up and they would go, what? Like this. this is what they would see.
Right.
Shit, fuck them stars. I need my iPhone charged. Fuck the cosmos.
Trying to see these hoes on Instagram.
Well, listen,
Look at these hoes.
I see your point as well, and I think you're making some very valid points. No, I want my phone charged too. I don't want to live like a fucking K person.
Hell nah,
You know, I like getting my email. I think what we need to do is figure out like a one holiday a year where everybody shuts the lights off and just see the stars.
Niggas gonna
Bro,
get
that's
robbed.
that's the purge, Joe.
I was saying that as soon as I
I'm
was
like,
saying it, I was
okay.
like,
You gonna cut the lights
I'm
off.
like, Joe, that sounds like the
Yeah.
purge.
what is this, buddy?
I was just reading about that vanishment. They called it in Chicago. It was a pastime where people would disappear. Things could happen at night, and then that ruined the lighting.
Oh
of
my
the
God!
city
Many
ruined that.
unsolved
Yeah.
murders occurred in
Oh
Chicago.
my goodness.
Yeah, see, dude, you can't
Turn the lights on.
allow,
Oh shit! Look at all these dead bodies.
You can't give people a purge day.
No.
Because then
no.
they want
Hell
a purge
no.
week, and they want a purge month. They want like, fuck you.
Hey,
we're
Black History
playing
Month started with
purge.
a day, and then it was a week, and now it's a whole 2 weeks.
It was a Black History Day.
Yeah, it was a day, then it was a week, and now it's a month.
You know, when you guys pay attention to shit like when they make laws where you can steal as much as like $900 worth of stuff,
Right.
and then we won't even arrest you. So people just go, okay, and they just walk out of stores and steal $900 worth of stuff, and no one like, what kind of message is that?
That's like LA right now.
I know it's crazy,
Yeah.
but it's like, who came up with that idea, and did you think that shit through at all, and why are you still doing it? Like, imagine if you did anything else like that. Imagine if you said like, how long has that pan been on the stove? 5 minutes? I think I can put my hand in it. Like, I think I'm okay. And you didn't like, ah! You pull your hand out of there. But if you're like, I'm just going to keep it in and see how this turns out. That's what they're doing.
Right.
That's what they're doing right now. They're letting people just steal things.
All the time.
All
and right
the
back on the
time.
street. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you obviously have a real problem. Do you want this to be like this? Like, what do you?
That's what we keep asking in LA. What's going on?
When you see like a
Jail is packed,
1,000
man.
tents,
Jail's packed?
Jail is packed, man. They letting your ass out real quick.
See?
Especially if you get COVID. You're like, man, I got COVID, man.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of niggas that came off on COVID. I'm like, damn, nigga, you snitch? And I was like, nah, nigga, COVID-19.
Snitching on COVID, yeah.
Hey, yeah.
they let a lot of people out really early with COVID.
They did. A lot of people out.
Dog, that's why,
Them
yeah.
motherfuckers
Crime
walking
rate
around.
is up.
Yeah, the crime rate.
The crime rate is up
So
in
do you
Los
think
Angeles.
that this is why do you think that people mismanage things? Do you think it's a conspiracy? Do you think they want like a certain amount of chaos? Do you
I
think
don't.
what do
That
you-
pandemic did a lot of crazy things to people. I never seen what happened to humanity in America like I've seen what happened during the pandemic lockdown.
to their minds, right?
Yeah,
To their
everybody's
minds.
a little bit more nuts
Yeah.
on the coast.
Well, they're a little bit more angry at random shit that goes on that doesn't necessarily make sense. You know, like there was a certain amount of ridiculousness that would be attached to getting mad about things that weren't really that infuriating.
Right.
And then over time, it seems like the more safety people have, the more they come up with shit that pisses them off.
So it's just an excuse to get pissed off.
Yeah, I think people like finding enemies and anger other than themselves.
It's interesting.
I think it's a
It is.
natural thing. I think we got two things going on simultaneously that we talked about earlier. We got the tribal thing,
Yeah.
where every human on this planet originated from a small group of people trying to defend themselves against other small groups of people that were trying to steal resources.
Right.
Until they figured out agriculture and how to compound cities together. That's all relatively new, man. Like, according to these people that study the human genome, it takes like 10,000 years to see like these big changes in your DNA. We have like the DNA of people that lived thousands and thousands of years ago. They'd be
Right.
identical to us.
Generational fucking trauma. Yeah.
And they all have these imprinted memories of going to war with neighbors.
Right.
Do you know how like when the dark, like every child, no matter where you live, when it's dark, what are you scared of?
Monsters.
Monsters. You know why? Because we used to get eaten by cats.
Right.
Hell
We
yeah.
were
Big lions,
afraid.
yeah. Big
we were
cats.
afraid of lions and jaguars and leopards and big cats
Yeah.
that would get us out of our houses, our shelters. They
We
would-
weren't top of the food chain.
we
right?
weren't top of the food chain.
But we invented weapons and we became that, right?
We became top of the food chain. But along the way, we developed these memories. And that's why little kids are scared of monsters. There's a guy named Rupert Sheldrake. He wrote about this. He was on my podcast way back in the day. Really interesting guy. But he wrote about this, that like this is the reason why these people have these memories and these fears. It's like genetically driven. That's the same thing with tribalism. It's the same. That's the thing that keeps us all from really connecting with each other. To realize like everybody, whether you're from Sweden or Africa or China, we're just the only thing that can separate us is communication. Right. We're just if we all just figured out a way where we can all like look at things rationally and say there's no reason for us to ever shoot missiles at each other.
Right.
Nobody.
This is for animals to try and kill us.
Imagine if like aliens were invading. Like Reagan talked about that shit in like the 1980s. How quickly we would abandon all of our issues with each other if the human race is being attacked by an alien race from another planet.
Yep.
Right. That was in Watchmen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like an alien, like an octopus or something like that came down, and then the whole human race just like formed together.
What was that in?
Watchmen.
Oh, The Watchmen?
Yeah,
was that?
on HBO. Yeah.
I didn't watch the HBO one. I watched the movie.
It's better than the movie.
Really?
That
Is it good?
series, it's the best series I saw before
Really?
the pandemic. Yeah.
Oh.
Regina King killed it.
Almost
King killed it.
too many fucking things to watch.
I know,
It
but
is.
this one's good, bro.
Okay,
this
I'll
one's
watch
really
it.
good.
Well, I
yeah.
just finished Ozark, so I got some room.
Content is
this
king.
one will fuck you up though. It's good.
Yeah.
Real good. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched my new show, Bust Down.
Hey.
What's that?
Bust Down is a new show I'm on Peacock. Jack Knight, Sam J.
So Peacock,
Chris Redd, yeah.
it's
Chris
a
Redd.
streaming
Yeah.
NBC version.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like their HBO Max.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So many of them.
That
now,
comes
right?
out when? March 10th?
March 10th. Yeah.
March
Bro,
10th.
Bust Down's gonna be dope. It's
it's gonna be dope.
It's a culture changer. It's good.
What is it?
It's a comedy about a casino in Gary, Indiana, actually, and I played the manager of the casino. It's comedy, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm sliding into this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Sliding into this comedy lane right now, man.
Look at you, Freddie.
It's dope.
Bro, I
man.
saw the first 2 episodes. I mean, Jack Knight, Sam J, Langston Kermit, Chris Redd.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
man. Shout out
That-
to Langston, man.
That's gonna be a hit, man.
Yeah,
and Freddie is. I mean, if you've never seen Freddie Gibbs act to be funny, you're about to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
man.
very,
I
very
could
good.
imagine you could do whatever the fuck you want, Freddie.
Yeah, definitely. I got a lot of big roles coming up right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Well, I'm excited to see you do a bunch of different shit.
yeah,
Like-
man. I'm doing
like,
comedy, action shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm in a
Yeah.
vampire movie that's about to come out. I'm in this other movie.
You're in a vampire movie?
Yeah, definitely.
What the fuck is that?
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy, man.
What is it?
It's gonna be crazy, dog. It's about like some vampire cops and LAPD. It's gonna be wild.
Vampire cops and LAPD.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Man. LAPD's in a weird spot now, huh?
They're in a weird spot, bro.
All cops in a weird spot.
All cops. All cops. How
Tough
long
job.
before that balances out?
I don't know, man.
It's not good. Not good, kids.
I don't know, man. There's
Yeah.
been too many shootings, man, in the past.
Yeah.
Shit. Well,
Too many everything.
Forever, yeah, but
Kids ain't in school, man.
I just
You know?
watched a video of a cop suplexing some drunk guy on the concrete, and it's so disturbing.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so goddamn dangerous. And if you could suplex a guy who's like some drunk dude who's resisting, doesn't want you to like arrest him, like you could also just trip him. You don't have to suplex him. This guy hoists him up in the air and suplexes him. Like that is so unnecessary.
Right.
So dangerous. If you just do a dude like that and he hits his head, he's a dead man.
Right.
A dead man.
Right. I mean,
Most
bro,
likely a dead man. Like most likely. Like it's very. I mean, I don't know what the odds are of you getting suplexed onto the fucking concrete, of you not having a crushed skull.
Yeah. That's bullshit.
But you, at the very least, you're getting fucked up. Yeah, that's it. So here's what it is. So this guy is like resisting. He doesn't want to get arrested. We'll play it out here. The guy's like, no, leave me alone, leave me alone. He's just dork. He doesn't want to get. Look at this guy. Boom! I'm telling you, man, that is on the concrete. Knocks him 100% out
The
cold.
dude looked drunk anyway. So
Exactly. Totally unnecessary.
That's a
So
white
this
dude.
dude-
That's a white dude.
A white dude did it to a white dude.
Oh, ain't that bad.
So here it is.
ain't that bad.
Freddie!
Oh shit!
I'm so glad you're alive. I'm so glad you're you, Freddie.
Okay.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness,
man, you're the perfect guy to come in and talk about all this shit. When Moses was like, "You want Freddie Gibbs and I to come in and talk to you?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like,
Yeah,
"That's
I told
as
him,
real
like-
as it gets."
I got the Agent Smiths coming after my man. I got to come get him.
Listen, I love
Yeah,
you.
man, I'm like the nigga Morpheus, man. I'm Morpheus. Come down, man.
I appreciate both of you, and I love you, Moses.
Thank you, man.
I
Always,
always
man.
love you.
King.
When what you brought to Roast Battle was like a comfortable, like friendship sort of like vibe that allowed people to be savages
Gotta be a
against
straight
each other.
man. Yeah, I say I'm just like a point guard. I'm a pass
But,
first point
you
guard.
kept it friendly and nice.
Word.
Like everybody knew that when they were going to engage with you, it was going to be friendly and not. You're not volatile. You're a nice guy.
No, I'm not gonna come out.
Yeah, so like you hosting that fucking show where people say the most evil shit to each other sometimes. Sometimes like we look at each other and we like bite our hands like, oh
Right.
my God.
I mean,
God.
and I'll say it again, the whole punching up, punching down thing. I get away with it because I'm black. Because there's a lot of racial jokes. There's a lot of, I mean, there's all kinds of xenophobia, misogyny, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I'm not a woman, but I'm saying there's a lot of racial jokes that go over in that thing, and you know, they look at you as like, are you gonna get mad? And you're like, it's all good because we consented to it. And everybody's like, you know what, man? Since you're smiling, we're all gonna smile.
Has anybody ever got mad at a roast battle?
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
I've watched people get mad.
Oh yeah, the people, because somebody said this. It was like when you get hit with something you didn't prepare for. You're like, I didn't know you thought that about me.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And you're like, damn, I didn't know I had like, you know, big face, or you thought about my acne like that, or you know, I got a little dick, or whatever the fuck they're saying about you. You know, it's like people come hard after your brother who's dead, after your family member who's dead.
Damn.
They
Yeah.
do. They don't give a fuck. No matter your dad just died, great. First joke.
Monsters.
No bullshit.
Monsters.
I watched. I mean, I don't even want to say what I watched, but the first time I watched it, I was like, "Wow!" I go, "This is crazy." Boys and girls going after each other. But the thing that I thought is like, this is like a joke writing exercise.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what it always. That's always the baseline. It's a joke writer showcase.
It's not a thing where you're trying to be just mean to a person for no reason. Like you're only doing it if it's like, it's not nice to feel that if the punchline is on you, but don't sign up for it.
Yeah.
Don't sign up for it.
You don't want to get kicked in the head. Don't fight.
Exactly. You don't want to fight in the UFC. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But if you do, you might get kicked in the fucking face.
Right. I there's so many comics who come in there and they're just like, oh, I mean, I just hate this, but you know, I got to do it. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's almost like you feel like a bartender. You're like, oh, bro, you can't have no more drinks.
Let me tell you the most frustrating thing for me. There are people that do your show and they come up with hilarious jokes to attack other comedians they know are coming for them. So they only got, how many days you give them before they know that they're going to roast?
It depends. I mean, some cats, like, it's 2 days, it's a week, it's a month. Yeah.
What's the most they've ever had? Like a month?
Like a month, yeah.
Normal? What's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
average? Couple
Average
weeks?
is like a month. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So a
you give
month
a
is good.
couple
You
weeks.
give a nigga a month research on it?
Yeah, hey, bro, you know the rap
Exactly.
battlers do that too.
Exactly.
They get a year to write, a month to
A
write.
year?
Yeah, like rap battlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not freestyling.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, I can get up there and roast a nigga on the spot. I don't need no time.
Ah.
I fuck a nigga up, man.
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
spot.
we get some freestylers up there, but for the most part, those are like street jokes, you know? So like a guy who writes, it's like, they come
Well, when you're
hard.
writing for your fucking history, your personality, and your flaws, and
You
and
actually
even
want
your
the time.
prose.
Yeah, you want the time for these cats.
Yeah, you want the time.
That's real
well,
shit.
when you watch it, and sometimes they hit like a really clever note, and you're like, that's a kind of art. It's a different kind of art.
Yeah, it is.
It's a subset of comedy, the way that like blues is like rock and roll is a subset of blues.
Yeah, you do got to prepare
Right?
for them motherfuckers. They vicious.
Bro,
you right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. You right.
Yeah, you was gonna roast battle one time. I
Yes.
was like, you better write something.
It's a
because,
it's a kind of art. It's like it's part of comedy, but it's a part of comedy the same way country music is a part of rock and roll, right? It's like it's kind of connected, but it's a little different.
Yeah. The girl who wrote the roast battle book, Julie Seabaugh, she says it's another pillar now in the whole genre of comedy, right?
I
The
agree.
sketch, stand up,
Yeah.
improv,
here's
and now
here's
this
the one
roast
that's
battle.
missing. Props. Carrot Top got so goddamn successful, everybody else abandoned props.
Right, he's the guy. Yeah, like nobody's gonna like, oh, he's not Carrot Top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't have props.
Gallagher had the best props to be.
Pretty good props. In a sledgehammer. Yeah, everybody got plastic.
Oh, that shit.
They
They had,
had,
like, plastic sheets. They would
Oh,
cover each
my
other.
God.
He would
Yeah.
smash fruit.
Yeah, my dad used to watch Gallagher with me.
Yeah,
It'd be
he had
funny
like.
if Louis starts doing that, just starts jerking up in front of the crowd, and they got the shrink wrap over him.
Can you imagine if he did that? Oh my God.
That would be funny. Though.
Yeah, if he did it on Patreon.
Right. They asked for it. It's consent.
Or what's he on OnlyFans?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man, Louis C.K's OnlyFans will be-
OnlyFans comedy.
Be lit. Louis do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
OnlyFans, he'll be jacking off on them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And people are paying for it. They want to see it.
Yeah, if you would like, if you had a choice, be poor or let people pay to watch you jack off.
Dog,
Shit.
I'm telling you, that pandemic lockdown changed the game. There's so many small business ladies and men out there who were doing the OnlyFans thing. I mean, they make a living off of it, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, OnlyFans made a lot of money.
How many single moms I know who were like, yeah, I quit my job and I'm killing it right now.
Yeah,
playing with their pussy at home?
But
I
thing
support the
is,
small
like,
business. OnlyFans,
is
you
that-
changed the game.
Here's the real question: what's more embarrassing? What sucks more? What makes you feel worse? Working a 12-hour shift at Denny's, or an hour in front of your computer?
Dog, I'm not working at Denny's.
I ain't working at Denny's.
Showing your butt.
Jacking his
Comedians flock to OnlyFans as the comedy world clutches pearls. As the pandemic shutters comedy venues nationwide, female comics are trying out the not safe for work subscription site. But can stand-up culture handle the change? What do you?
Dog,
who
I
writes
would
this?
much rather do that than fucking telemarket.
I just
You
typed
know?
in
'Cause,
comedy
like,
to see what was there.
What was your day job before you started killing it?
Look at this. Can stand-up culture handle the change? Who the fuck are you?
Ain't like
Who's running this?
Ain't like your
Like
mama
sex work
gonna
hasn't been a
subscribe.
thing forever.
We can't handle it, Brian. You can't handle the truth.
I can't.
Imagine. Can it handle the change? Oh, I don't know. You think it's going to be okay?
Fuck that. I'd rather be jacking off than working at Denny's.
Thank you.
Like, would you really be upset if one of your friends used to be a secretary and she hated her job and she made, what does a secretary make?
I don't even fuck. Yeah, what is that? Are they still?
Not enough.
Yeah. Are they called personal assistants now, right? Not secretaries
I've
anymore?
been an executive assistant.
Well, maybe they could make enough. You could be a paid secretary or executive assistant, but you could probably just hate your boss.
What is
I mean, listen, we're talking about sex work, right? So, I mean, it just depends on if that's embarrassing to you.
It's
You know?
teachers and shit that got OnlyFans on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cops can't because you get fired.
She could put a gopher mask on and masturbate in front of a camera
Precisely,
and make
bro.
way more money
Yeah.
than she makes at Sears.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she do that? Why
There's a girl
wouldn't
who wears
she
clown
do that?
makeup and
Why
gets fucked or fucks herself, yeah.
Oh, of course there
You know
is.
what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
There's
dog.
probably 100 of them.
Exactly.
There's probably like anti-clown girl masturbate lady. Yeah.
And they're making dough. I mean, subscriptions for what? For almost like, streaming prices.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully don't get to that, but if times get hard, I'll fuck on the OnlyFans. Fuck.
If times get you'll just do that.
I just do it. Shit. It is
I
what it
mean,
is.
instead of I was telemarketing when I started stand-up, so yeah, I'd much rather do that.
Me
if
too. I did
that was
that
the
bullshit.
option.
I used to call niggas and be like, "Yes, sir. How would you like to get a Discover card?" They'd be like, "Nigger, please." Look, I ain't get no card for your black ass. Fuck you, try to shoot.
Oh man.
Do you remember the Columbia Record and Tape Club?
No. Oh yeah, the Columbia House. Yeah.
We-
Oh, we
get-
get like 50 CDs for 1 cent or something.
Yeah.
99 cents,
And then
yeah.
afterwards, you had to be a part of a subscription, but nobody paid them.
Hell yeah, I signed
They
my
went
mama.
under
I
because
signed
of
my
that.
mama up for that shit. She beat my ass.
Dude, well, I want to know what kind of Ponzi scheme was that? Because where did all that money go?
Right.
Who made the
'Cause
money?
They send you a bill.
Remember,
or
I
some
got
shit.
Everybody
I
got
got a
free
Jamiroquai album.
CDs.
Yeah.
That's how
got
niggas
that
got
Jamiroquai
the
album. Shit was fire.
motherfuckers got. You remember when Girls Gone Wild came out?
Right.
And they just
Yeah.
took your credit card number and you was just getting videos of naked shit every month.
Wouldn't even stop it.
Yeah,
Right.
it was an
They-
endless.
yeah,
it
you
was a
couldn't get
subscription.
disconnected.
Yeah,
You'd
that
have
was-
to change your credit card.
Just crush your interest rates. Killing it.
Yeah, you ordering a Girls Gone Wild. Man, my daddy had a Girls Gone Wild coming to the house every motherfucking week.
Well, if it wasn't
Every
that,
week.
I don't know about Girls Gone Wild. I have no knowledge about that. But if there was something else, there was a bunch of different things that they did, like different self-help subscriptions you would sign up for. Well, the early days of credit cards, No one knew what was going on.
Right. Credit cards aren't that old, right? They're like from the 80s.
I used to play pool with a guy who went to jail for making fake American Express cards.
Damn.
Yeah, his name was International Sal.
Oh, shit. That sounds like a nigga that need to go to
Yeah,
jail.
he was probably doing that.
International Sal was a big pool gambler, and I met
How
him
many
at
pool
this.
gamblers did you know?
I knew a lot.
You
Man, when I
was
was
smoke crack? They
Listen,
wanted to
man.
make cards?
Yeah, I was a misfit when I was in my 20s, and when I went from Boston to New York, I didn't have any friends, and I started hanging out at this pool hall, and I met a bunch of dudes at the pool hall. I had a buddy of mine who was a comic, my friend John Tobin, who also was like, he also was a manager at this pool hall. He would do like, or was do a shift, and he was a comic, and we would hang out there, and we all like, he and I would like, this is a wild, crazy place.
Yeah.
Some really fucking interesting people. A lot of professional gamblers and a lot of addicts and a lot of people that were just like homeless folks who would just come in and hang out. So that was like my early 20s.
Okay.
Shit.
Pool gambling. Damn, people still did that shit.
Yeah, dude. In the when I was in New York City in like the early 90s, there was a ton of dudes who would just be hanging around pool halls trying to get games and gambling, and they didn't have any jobs.
Yeah.
They slept on park benches. They slept under pool tables.
Damn.
Yeah.
For the love of some fucking billiards.
It wasn't that. It's just like they could kind of barely get by that way, and that was better than a job.
Right.
They would rather get by that way, barely, than, wear a suit, show up at a fucking office.
Well, let me ask you a question. Would you rather be shooting pool or jacking off in front of your camera?
It depends on how much you can make shooting pool. I mean, what kind of money are we talking about?
Bro,
Everybody says I would never jerk off in front of a camera. You wouldn't jerk off in front of a camera for $89 billion.
Yeah, you would.
You'd be like, oh, wait.
I'll jack
For
off in
how
front of the
long?
camera for $89,000.
Right. You'd be like,
Bro, I'm telling you.
Run it right now, nigga.
I'm telling you, yeah.
well, $89. There's guys who do it for $89. Would you
There
want to
was
watch?
a Reddit thread
What the fuck's
about
wrong with you?
the value of semen for alive U.S. presidents, and Obama's was the most.
What?
He should sell it. He should get on eBay.
Dog, I'm saying.
Imagine if Michelle left Barack and he just started selling his sperm.
I'm saying. He's just slinging cum.
If you were a famous guy, like The Rock, if The Rock wanted to sell his cum, do you know how much he could?
Damn.
Just imagine. I'm not saying you should buy
Hell
it.
no.
I'm not saying you should. I don't support this in any way. But imagine a world. Look, if we can imagine Nazis, we can imagine a world where The Rock sells his cum.
What's the price of nut, though?
Exactly.
Well,
Also,
it's negotiable. He can only do two a day.
Who's evaluating it, being like, this is pretty good?
The market, same as Sotheby's.
Like how much?
And they buy a painting.
Uncut gems and cut gems.
Right. Like how much can I sell an ounce of nut for?
Yeah, man. If you want to see a fucking car auction at those Barrett Jackson car auctions,
We have a
it's all
1940
about
Dwayne The Rock
demand.
Johnson.
It's all about demand. God. We got one of The Rock's nuts from 2017.
Oh, that's a good year.
Let's go.
That's a good year. That's like, yeah.
Signed The Rock.
Signed.
He signs the fucking test tube. It's like they open the jar. It's all fucking, like dry ice, steam. By The Rock's cum. Cryogenically frozen The Rock's cum. That's worth $1 million. So in my mind,
$1 million
he can
more than
$1 million, bro.
100% it's $1 million
More
at
than
least.
yeah,
We're
more
being
than that.
conservative
Yeah.
here, okay? If The Rock can jerk off twice a day, he makes $2 million a day minimum.
Damn, that's a check.
Dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you trying to sell your catalog.
$60 million a month, rather. $60 million a month.
I'm thinking about how
roughly.
many times I jacked off this week. I've been balling.
I've been bowing, literally. Shit.
Can you imagine if The Rock jerked off twice a day and sold it, and he made billions of dollars?
He'd be the new Elon Musk.
This is what I want to know. Who will take care of all these goddamn kids, though? Who is responsible? Is that nigga?
Who's responsible?
Does he have to give us a percentage of that to child support?
Right.
Oh, that's how they get a nigga.
That's like the lottery, right?
Yeah, that's how they get a nigga. they get it.
Child support bringing your whole worth down. That's crazy. That's
Because
so
you
funny.
technically are the father. Like just
Right.
because you didn't experience
In some
pleasure,
states, he gonna
that
get
is your
fucked.
child.
Right.
But, like they would appeal to you on a moral level. Like that is your child.
Yeah, it's your child. Just like in that one movie, She Hate Me with
Right.
Anthony Mackie when he fucked all them hoes when he was giving his sperm out. You said it. You seen that?
I didn't.
You got to watch that. He was.
Well, then I would make sure my cum is spoiled first. Like it's got to be dead, and then
Throw hot sauce on it.
spoiled.
Isn't that what Drake did? Didn't he
Pull
throw
some
hot
Drake
sauce
shit?
in his condom?
Yeah, that was like the rumor. I don't know if it's real, but yeah.
Of course, it's not real.
Okay.
It's like the Steven Seagal story from Ukraine. Like just because it's not real doesn't mean it's not funny, and you shouldn't tell it.
Hot sauce on my cum.
So you gonna sell a bunch of fake dope, fake nut?
Oh yeah, like you
No,
used to sell
imagine-
basil and oregano as weed.
No, you can't do that.
man,
You
you
got to
can't
be a
do that.
man.
All right,
You gotta be a man.
You gotta be a man.
You gotta sell your real cum. And as you get older, it's like it's more precious because you don't have as much.
I'm
It's
pushing
like
two.
diamonds. It's like De Beers. They keep that shit squirreled away for a reason.
Then you get some of that Frank Thomas, some Nugenics. You'll be all right.
So my cum on NFT. Shit.
Yeah, cum is only valuable when a woman wants it.
Right.
Right, which is like how much time do you like? At what point in time do you can keep it?
Auctioning off cum.
Damn,
wild.
that's
There's
just
certain people that can do it.
that
Right,
sounds
though,
that just,
right. It's a
Right.
select few, right.
That
Right.
just sounds
You're in that.
bad.
You're in that group, bro.
If a woman could show an NFT of her asshole,
Mm-hmm.
like how many women can make money doing that? There's a lot.
Ugh.
I know it's gross, but it's the same thing as who's buying cum. Like, what are people doing?
What are people doing?
Motherfuckers will buy that shit.
What
They're
are people
distracted.
doing?
They're distracted by all kinds of nonsense.
I mean, that's crazy.
People out there.
Because that would be like one of the greatest heists ever if you could get Barack Obama's cum.
Wow.
But that's what I'm saying.
That
That's what I'm
sounded
saying.
so fucking horrible.
I know it sounds terrible,
It does.
but imagine a world where that wasn't a moral quandary. It wasn't a giant issue.
He's sorry, Michelle.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
everyone's
not
sorry.
saying it's gonna happen.
But
Bill
that's
Clinton
not.
might be like, fuck
this
it.
Is this is
And look, and you could take a nigga nut. That ain't guaranteed your kid gonna be a president. That motherfucker might be a crackhead at a pool hall. You dig what I'm saying?
yes, true, true.
Shit.
Most likely.
Who's else? Obama?
Most likely not going to be a president. Like
must have
most
sold that,
likely,
yeah.
there's no way he could be a president.
Right.
Like what fucking percent? The president is like the number one least likely job you would ever have.
Right though. Yeah.
It's only one of them.
Yeah.
Like, if you said like there's no guarantee that the only problem is the last name. If he
I was
gets the
gonna
last
say, yeah,
name,
it's Obama.
get the last name. Like Kennedy's. Yeah, that Kennedy last name.
Right.
There was JFK. There was Bobby Kennedy. How many Bushes we've had?
If I'm shooting my nut out there for money, I want to be anonymous. I don't want to know them motherfuckers. Fuck them kids.
I mean,
Yeah,
there are
but-
You
sperm
bought
banks.
it.
I guess they already do this. There are
You
sperm
bought it,
banks.
bitch. You take that motherfucker. You bought the nut. You take what come with it.
You bought it.
You bought this motherfucker.
You broke it. You bought
Yeah,
it.
that's what I would have to do. I have to sign a motherfucking
NDA.
Yeah,
the
NDA.
NDA. A nut
Yeah.
disclosure agreement, bitch.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's perfect.
Fuck them kids, your kids,
Fuck them
bitch. They can't have a name. Hell no. You
Oh
can
my
buy the
God.
name for a separate fee. You could be a Gibb. That little motherfucker could be my name.
Imagine if you just jerked off into a cup for a living. Like that's your move. And you realize, like, listen, I can make $1,000 a load. I don't have to talk to nobody.
Right.
I just have to jerk. Fuck a job. I mean, your jizz is worth at least $1,000.
But I had to take a week or two off because, you know what I'm saying, I ain't going to want to fuck no hoes. You know what I'm saying?
I know. That's going to be a problem.
Post-nut
But
clarity is a motherfucker.
You have to decide how much money you want to make in a week.
Right.
You don't have to fucking do it every day. But if you thought about, like, what if there was an ingredient, if you wanted a child, and there was an ingredient that you can add to an egg that would make a person 100% of the time, how much is that worth?
Damn.
Maybe we could make it synthetic. You don't need real nut.
Bro, that's how the robots take over.
Oh,
That's how the next version of humans with no emotions take over. You don't want that.
Well,
What we
isn't
are
your
right
man-
now,
yeah, isn't
what we
Elon
are
building
right
on
now,
this?
we're flexible.
Right.
We can get along.
They already making test tube babies and shit with eye colors and shit like that.
That's what I hear, but I don't know if that's true because I don't fucking research it.
We're the misinformation crew. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hey, we the misinformation.
But what?
crew.
But Musk is building those like humanoid robots.
No. He's not building humanoid robots.
What are they?
Where'd you hear that?
Can we look that up?
Elon?
Yeah, Elon Musk. They said they're
Really?
they're putting more money into robots, and they're pushing back on Tesla production.
Well, he's doing a bunch of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing he's doing is this Neuralink.
Yeah, I don't want that.
It says
There
Tesla
we go.
is working on humanoid robots.
I don't want that.
A prototype is supposedly coming sometime next year.
I don't want
what?
that.
When is this?
I'm saying.
Oh, this is like last year, 2021.
He's been saying
August.
That's kind of, we don't need that.
I don't think that. Well, this is what I got confused. I don't think they're like abandoning anything else.
Why do we
this.
need
No,
a-
they said they were going to push back. Yeah, because he wants to really work on these.
But I don't understand. Why do we need a robot person?
That's how we've seen all the movies.
Yeah,
we know
seen
what
this
happens.
shit. I don't know. That motherfucker too strong.
Terminator 2, come on now.
Motherfucker fuck you up. I don't want it.
So he's going to push back because he wants more resources for the robots?
I don't know if it's resources, but that's I just read it literally on BBC last
See,
week.
that ain't cool.
So what did he say? He said that what they want to do is develop new robots. Like, what is he saying? He said they'll handle tasks that are unsafe, repetitive, or boring. Oh my God, that's how it begins. Like jerking people off.
Right,
Like
exactly.
What's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
unsafe, repetitive, or boring?
Right.
Like
There's gonna be
jerking
a-
people
yeah.
off.
Or suck a dick.
Imagine
The number one death in America is your dick getting ripped off by a
if they're
robot.
all in a
Exactly.
room, if they're on a glass room, executive room, and they go, "Do we want to make money or not? Are we playing games here?" What we need is hot robots that would jerk guys off. Let's cut the shit.
They already
Let's just
got
have
that.
them wander through the streets.
Well, they got them sex
New
dolls.
slaves.
With the sex dolls, if you turn them into robot, I wouldn't fuck no robot pussy. I'm
You
good.
wouldn't fuck a robot pussy until it became seductive.
I mean, I've seen
Until it
Ex Machina.
became so interesting. Until it became so soft and supple, and it looked you in the eyes, Freddie. And it didn't care about anything but you. And just started stroking the back of your neck, and you like, is this a robot? What is happening?
Right,
And then
though,
this
I mean,
robot,
they're gonna
this
make 'em
robot,
better, right.
this robot with a perfect face that speaks to your DNA.
They made that one movie. What's it called?
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. Yeah, but that lady was see through, and that guy still
Right.
wanted to fuck her. Imagine one.
Imagine a see-through pussy.
Imagine one that wasn't at all any different than you biologically.
Yeah.
It was just created from a computer.
And you fuck it.
Like Weird Science.
If it
Yeah,
was just,
Weird Science.
but here's
Yeah.
my thing.
I would have fucked shit out of that weird
Right,
science.
see, so
Yeah.
you're saying the
I
same
was a little
thing.
boy.
By
I
the
was
way,
like, yeah.
by the way,
That
she
bitch
used to
made
be
me wanna
married
jump
to
at the
Steven
computer.
Seagal.
What?
She was married to
was.
Steven
right,
Seagal.
You're right.
She was bad as fuck.
Yeah,
so cool.
Back to Steven Seagal.
Damn.
Yeah. What I'm saying is if they had a robot that was indistinguishable from a person.
Right.
Like our idea is a robot has to have like screws and bolts and shit. But what if there's a robot where it's like artificial skin,
And you knew it was
artificial
a-
flesh,
Right.
but all of it
And you knew it
mirrors.
was a robot? And you could turn the bitch
You
on and off whenever you
kinda-
want to?
Nope.
Nah, I need a switch on the bitch.
No, Freddie. This
Because
thing,
if I could have that, I'd marry the hoe.
you say that, Freddie.
I'd be
but
like,
this,
boom, boom, bitch.
listen,
Shut the
this,
fuck up.
Freddie. This thing is not really a person, but it kind of is really close to a person.
Do it look and feel like real pussy.
Exactly, like better.
Better than real
It's
pussy.
got it figured out.
Whoa.
And Freddie,
Like some Terminator 2 pussy.
and Freddie, it loves you. It loves you.
Does it have a fuck
It
out?
loves everything.
I don't
about
need that
you.
bitch to love me. I
It
need it to
loves
have an
everything,
on and
but
off
maybe,
switch.
but it loves everything about you.
I just need an on
It
and off
wants to
switch.
hug you and care for you, and it's always there for you, Freddie.
I don't want that. I just want some pussy.
Freddie don't crave intimacy. That's basically what we're saying here. I don't need intimacy.
Maybe not from
I need
humans.
pussy.
Maybe with, like Freddie's doing a commercial for these robots like 2 years later.
I mean,
Yeah.
you almost sold me. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
I mean,
she
yeah.
loves me. I'm like, man,
She
I'm
loves
so
me.
She loves you.
I'm
She
so
loves
emotionally
you.
stunted. I'm like, Jesus, this
I
sounds
mean,
perfect.
haven't we done that kind of with dogs?
Yeah.
What
Right.
have we, what have
But I
we
ain't
created
fucking
with
my
dogs?
dog, though.
No. But the love that your dog gives you, it doesn't have to be sex, but the love that your dog gives you is unmatched.
I seen a bitch kiss a wolf. You seen that shit? The bitch tongue kissing a motherfucking wolf.
I'm not surprised. I'm not
I was
surprised.
like, what? There was a bunch of wolves that came and basically tongue down the bitch. You remember I posted
Oh,
that
I
shit?
saw that. Yeah,
That
She's,
shit was
yeah.
crazy. I thought them wolves gonna run a train on that bitch.
Oh my
Wolf
god.
pussy.
If a woman can have a wolf as a pet, that's like number one.
Right.
I don't think they was pets. She was just in the woods fucking with some wolves.
I mean, a wolf is cool.
What the fuck is cool about a wolf?
You seen Game of Thrones?
Nah, I ain't even peep it.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking with no wolf, nigga.
Dude, you know how hilarious that is?
I mean,
this conversation right here about wolves.
A wolf is so fucking cool. Give me a fox or a wolf.
Look at this crazy lady.
Man, she kissing the fucking wolf. Man.
He's loving it though.
Yeah.
His eyes are closed. Damn, he's going in.
He's ready to fuck.
He's ready.
Plus, she's probably got a bunch
dog.
of
What
salt
the
and sweet
fuck?
stuff around
Oh,
her
you
face.
gotta be
He's tasting her.
Yeah.
And he's also letting her know he
Ain't
loves
no
her.
fucking way, nigga.
Right though. It just takes one. It just
There's
takes
one shit. What if the nigga be like, I'm hungry, bitch?
Exactly. There it is.
Do you know that during the World War I that they stopped the fighting between the Germans and the Russians to fight off wolves?
Wow.
They made a truce.
It was that many wolves.
There was that many wolves.
That's
So
why
many
wolves are
guys. They were fighting and like they were getting shot. They were leaving behind wounded people, and the wounded people would get attacked by wolves. And so the wolves started figuring out that these battlegrounds, where you hear these bangs go off, that meant that there was going to be wounded people.
Dog.
And somehow or another, I don't know how wolves figure it out, but they come close to each other. Soldiers
Common
on
enemy
World
was-
War I's Eastern Front fought a common enemy, wolves. So these
fucking
people would
them
get
niggas
hurt.
up.
They would get hurt. And then these wolves would show up and just start eating these people alive.
Like, fuck that. I'll
Guy
tell
gets
you
shot in the leg and can't run away, and a wolf just takes him down and eats him dick first. That was real.
first.
Dick first.
Damn.
Dick first.
That's
dick
a bad
first.
way to go.
So
On
the
the
military, we need that.
battlefields.
U.S. military needs just like a pack of wolves.
Dude, this is a real thing that happened. Like, imagine how crazy it is. The Russians and the Germans. There's an article on Meat Eater about it because they kind of questioned. Like, I had told this to Steve Rinella, and he's like, "What? That's crazy." And then it turns out it's true, which is, I'm not 100% on those. I'm like 8 out of 10 on those. Sometimes I got some stories that is just straight up horseshit, but that one turned out to be real. They really did have a ceasefire between the Nazis and the and the Soviets.
That's beautiful. That's
It's
what I'm
wild
saying.
shit.
Wolves. Yeah.
The Russians and the Germans decide. I don't think it was the Nazis back then. Right?
No, they were
not
Nazis
Nazis.
then.
Sorry, my
Germans.
apologies.
Yeah.
The Germans and the Soviets in World War I, and they talked to each other and they said, "We got to fight these fucking wolves."
All they had to do was send that bitch down there to kiss all them motherfuckers.
Though
would've
seemingly
been over
far-fetched, it turns out these claims are mostly accurate. Historians, you gotta make it a little. Historians estimate that soldiers killed hundreds of wolves during the war, and that the surviving wolves fled to escape a carnage, the like of which they had never encountered. So this is just these soldiers decided, for a brief moment, read this. A kind of peace spread across the battlefield, even though gunshots and grenade explosions continued to ring out.
I mean, I would have
So
stopped.
a
That's
bit
what
of
stopped the
peace,
war?
even
See?
though, but listen to this. Even though gunshots and grenade explosions are going off, at least they don't have to worry about wolves. Like they're comfortable that they can just fight people. They don't have to fight these animals that are going to eat them.
Yeah. See, so that would create peace. Like, okay, yeah, we're all humans, and we got to kill these,
We
these
gotta
other
kill
animals.
these guys.
Yeah.
Yes!
That human nature takes back over again.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then it's
Off
like
a
what
fucking
Ronald
wolf.
Reagan said. We all become like a group. We're all a community. But that's what we're supposed to be.
A wolf will fuck you up.
So go send some wolves to the Ukraine and Russia. Let's get a peace treaty cracking.
Yeah, but wolves can't fuck with the guns we have now.
Right, we got missiles
It's
now.
a different
Yeah.
world.
Tear
This
their
ain't
ass
World
off.
War I.
AR-15s.
We got drones. We're gonna send robots to fuck you up from the sky.
I shoot the fuck out of wolves.
Germans used to recruit U.S. black soldiers back in World War I.
Germany did?
Germany did. They would use propaganda like flyers, and they would pass them out to some of the black soldiers and be like, "Hey, you should fight for us because they don't respect you over there."
Really?
They did that in Vietnam too. Huh?
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do that anymore, thankfully. And thankfully, the government now is
So they
only
had
honest.
So they had nigger Nazis.
No, this is before World War II, but they definitely did have black Nazis.
They did.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
See, now this is in Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
But I knew about this before Watchmen.
So it says the World War I propaganda flyer in this week's The Watchmen was real. Wow. Dude, that whole war was made on bullshit. It was all the Gulf of Tonkin incident.
Yeah.
They made up an attack.
Yeah,
Crazy.
there were black Nazis though.
That's wild. That's wild.
If you can get a Rachel Dolezal, you can get a black Nazi.
Right.
Don't you think?
Right.
It's just like you decide you commit to a thing, whatever it is. There's people that white underbelly, the soft white underbelly YouTube thing I was talking about. There's so many people there that are just so lost. You realize that anybody could have got them. The Moonies could have got them. Like any kind of cult could have got them.
Right.
The people get caught up in a place where they don't know what the fuck to do, and then someone comes along, and that someone has a thing that they can join, like a group they could be a part of, whatever it is.
Like, hey, we're all doing this. That seems cool. I'm gonna go do that.
Right.
Man,
our fucking problems is that people have too much power over other people when they're telling them what to do. It's just too much. When you get a guy who can force a war with Ukraine, who can just decide he's going to mobilize all these super sophisticated high-tech jets and shoot missiles and...
That's what they're trying to say about you and the COVID thing. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, he's got too much power. Like anybody who listens to Rogan ain't... Come on, man. We have our own brains. They're calling your listeners stupid.
Brian Moses is hitting all the hot topics today.
Dog, I'm in. It's my man. You know what I mean? Leave him alone.
But the thing is, like, you're not supposed to have an opinion.
Right.
It's like one of the rare times in history where you're not supposed to have an opinion.
Right.
You know, it's
when did the shift
have
happen?
to. Like, I wouldn't 100% say don't listen to me in terms of, like, don't do what I do, but don't stop me from talking about what I think.
Thank you.
It's not smart. That's not smart for any of us. For any of us.
We're having a conversation.
Everybody should be able to talk about what they think. Yeah. And let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be real about it.
It's up to them to decide. You can't tell me like what I shouldn't think if I'm listening to my man right here. Yeah.
Right. You can't do my nigga like Papa John. Fuck Papa John, his piece was all right, but damn, nigga.
Facts.
They fucked Papa John up. He's still running that shit though on the low.
I'm sure he's involved.
He's getting money.
He's involved in some way.
Yeah. They put Shaq in there. They put the biggest nigga they can. They said, okay, well, y'all against niggas, we gonna put the biggest nigga in the country. Make sure
come get this racist pizza.
Make sure you niggas eat this pizza. Talk about the Shaq-a-roni. Motherfucker don't want no Shaq-a-roni.
Shaq-a-roni seems like there's a suggestion there.
Right?
I mean, you look at what the shape of a pepperoni is. Like, hey, why'd you come up with that word?
Shaq-a-roni, man. He said, yeah, Papa John's pizza, Shaq. I'm like, God damn, man. Fuck Papa John.
I was talking to this hater at the Comedy Store one night. It was hilarious. It was a hilarious conversation. Didn't make any sense.
Right.
There was a bunch of us in the hallway, and some dude just goes, I heard Shaq's dick was small.
Damn, what the fuck?
And I was like, compared to what? Like, how is that even possible? Have you
Some
ever met him? He's so big. I mean, compared to what? Compared to what? There's nothing on him that's small.
Yeah.
But you want me to assume that his dick is?
What the
It's
fuck?
like that makes him less than you? Like, you won. Finally, I won.
I mean, girls and guys start little dick rumors all the time. Dudes might start it so you can't get no bitches, and bitches started because they're jealous.
It's just the fact that a dude came up to you and that was what he wanted to talk to you about.
No, it
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
that.
crazy.
It was a bunch of us around. It was a bunch.
Okay.
It wasn't like specifically me.
Okay.
But I knew Shaq because I did Fear Factor with Shaq.
Right.
Like, Shaq co-hosted an episode of Fear Factor. Dude, I talked about it on stage. I was like, it was like a 6-year-old hanging out with his dad. Like me standing next to Shaq. It's preposterous. It is preposterous that we're the same thing. He's so much bigger than me. Dude, you got to see the video of him. Jamie, see if you can find it. Like, he was a fan of Fear Factor.
Yeah.
So it was like, he's the nicest guy, too. He's, like, easy to hang out with. He's very
funny,
fun.
too, yeah.
Very
Yeah, I
fun.
love Shaq.
He's like a friendly guy. But, he would do the 3, 2, 1, go. Like, he did the countdown. But, like, me and him standing next to each other is so hilarious because it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's like twins, right?
It's worse than that. Arnold is not as big in comparison to
Is it
Danny
like,
DeVito
yeah,
as
Arnold
Shaq
is small
that
compared to
Manute
Shaq.
Compared to
Bol,
me.
that Manute Bol and Muggsy Bogues picture is like that.
Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, that's close.
I'm taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. He was just a big, wide guy for the day. Dude, I think you got to think about that guy. He's like 70 years old. That means he was born at a time where we were talking about earlier, where people didn't have any food.
Right. He fucked his housekeeper.
That was before the podcast, right? That was. He did
Definitely.
fuck his housekeeper, allegedly.
They had a baby.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no,
Allegedly.
That
It might have
baby-
been Jesus' intervention. Who knows?
That little baby looked like a Mexican Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He does, and he is.
He is.
Yeah. Well, he's a handsome fella. Can't deny that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know.
Oh, I mean, like you've read all those books about Schwarzenegger. He's just like he's inspirational. I mean, just the guy, the confidence he would exude, and the
Did
shit
he get
would
divorced
give.
after
Oh
that?
man, dude, I'm a giant fan. I love that guy. I met him once.
He got divorced after that?
Yeah, that was a wrap.
Allegedly.
It's like the guy's
You
a
can't do that.
savage. He's an Austrian savage. He's a big old giant man-tittied pecked savage. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! That's preposterous. The size of him.
Oh, he was still in the league at this point.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
Played for
Because
the
you guys were
Lakers.
in Orlando, so that's why he
I
showed
don't.
up.
Yeah, I don't know what team he was for.
Or Universal
Was he,
LA. I'm sorry.
was
yeah,
he playing
on the
for
Lakers.
Orlando?
He was already on the Lakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lakers.
Net zero. Jeez, yeah, what year
Net
was
zero.
that?
Back in the
Net
Disney,
zero.
son. Back when I had hair.
Shit.
Back in the old days. But it's just like the physical size difference. Like anybody thinks life is fair. Look at a picture of me standing next to Shaq.
Yeah.
Life ain't fair. That's not fair. What the fuck is that? That's not fair. I did a whole joke about the White House because there was a lady who was guarding the White House when a dude broke into it. It was on my 2016 Triggered Netflix special. Like they let this lady guard the White House. She didn't even have a gun. She was at the front door. It was unlocked. She was standing there, just one lady, and this dude ran through. And I'm like, that is the dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard of. You're gonna have the literal place where the president sleeps,
Right.
guarded by a lady, and she doesn't have a gun.
And she's asleep.
And the door's not locked, and the guy just runs through.
And did he get caught?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he got caught, but
Did she
he
get
got
fired?
caught by some dude who was like he was an off-duty cop who just happened to be on the job.
And he just got the
And this guy was running through the hallway.
What year was this?
I talked about it in 2016.
So yeah.
So it had to be like 2000. I would guess like 14 or 15.
The dude that ran in, was he white or black?
I don't know.
He had to be white.
I don't know. Probably.
Is this woman still working there? Was she there on January 6th? Jesus.
I don't think so.
Just like everybody
different
She
job.
had to be there. Shit.
She keeps failing upward.
Right.
Oh, should have did it again. They all in here now.
Right. Fuck, they hear shit.
All of them.
But my joke was like the idea that like men and women are different. Like of course we are, and there's no equality. That's why there's the Olympics. And I was like, if I wanted to make a run at the White House, you know, if I'm guarding the White House, if I'm standing at the front door of the White House and Shaq decides to go through the White House, I go, guess what? I go, we're fucked.
You're right.
This. That dude's dick is where my face is. Like, I'm not going to make it.
I'm not,
the White House is experiencing a Shaq attack. I'm not saving the world.
Shack attack.
But it was like standing next to him, like, there's no fairness.
Yo.
There ain't no fairness.
7 foot. What?
There's no fairness.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
shit.
we got to be nice to each other, but there ain't no fairness. It's like we get weird rolls of the dice, you know? You see some person that's born with birth defects or some person that's born confused or those people that I was talking about that were inbred on that white underbelly show.
That's they fucking fault.
No, it's not.
Well, not being born is not their fault, but it's their parents'
What do you
It's
fault.
their
saying,
parents'
Freddie?
fault for fucking each other.
But the parents, the level of inbred these people were at, I bet their parents weren't even at fault. I bet it was their parents' parents. Like this is like multi-generational.
Systemic.
Oh my God, you got to see what it looks like. It doesn't even look. See, pull it up, Jamie.
Throw the whole family away.
Inbred family in the Appalachias, and it's soft white underbelly on YouTube.
And they're down for this inbreeding. They're just like, this is cool. Like
What you mean? What the fuck?
I literally have no idea. I just watched them talk, and they talked about their childhood, and it's super disturbing, man.
Yeah, it sounds
And
like
it just again, it makes you realize that you don't.
I mean, look at
You're just
everybody in the fucking house, man.
Right.
I mean,
Come on,
at a
dog.
certain point, you should be like, man, we
Oh, my
retarded. Come on,
God.
man. We
Yeah, but-
retarded as hell. We need to stop fucking each other.
But yeah,
Come
you-
on, man.
But
Yeah, that's
there's
what
no
I'm
guidance
saying.
there. There's no
Right.
No, Jamie, give me some volume.
on, man.
Because see that guy with the red shirt?
Right.
Come on,
He
man.
learned how to communicate around dogs, so he only barks.
His name's
so he's like raised by dogs.
Look at
I
him.
remember Ray. I photographed you, Ray. Do you remember? Years ago.
What the fuck?
You hear that,
And your
dude?
name is...
Dude, back that up. Back that up. This guy was raised by dogs, so he communicates like a dog.
Yo.
Look, man. Ain't no crack
So
involved
what
in
are
none
your
of this.
names?
Watch this.
I'm sorry. Who's this?
His name's Ray.
Ray. I remember Ray. I photographed you, Ray. Do you remember? Years ago. And your name is... Lorraine.
These people like make noises like a dog. Like this guy
They're
is
communicating. That dog's even looking at him like, yeah.
Okay, so who fucking who? That's the problem. You keep inbred these type of
Freddie. That just got this show canceled.
Right.
We were doing so well. I thought we made progress.
That's
I
the
thought we
problem.
really.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking, see?
Well, it's not their fault. It's people long before them.
Right.
Throw the whole
Like, this
family
is-
away.
Somebody's got to break the chain.
Well, this is like a possibility.
Oh, no, nigga. Oh, no.
Yeah. Like, imagine that there is video cameras. So someone's figured out
what's
how
your
to
favorite
film
memory? Do you
things
remember anything about your
and then upload it to the internet, and you can watch it on your phone. And at the same time, someone's child has been raised by dogs where he can't talk, and he's been inbred for so many generations that he can't communicate other than by barks. So back that up and play that again. And think about what's going on here. Play this right here.
What's your favorite memory, Ray? Do you remember anything about your life?
Damn, Scooby-Doo.
This guy can't talk. Scooby-Doo can talk. Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
You lost your older brother.
Dog.
This is what's left of this guy. Like he's just like chewing on bread, confused and barking like a dog.
So you lost your brother?
Did they say how old he was?
I don't
Any
know,
idea how
Jamie,
old
but
guy
I
was?
don't think he's going to pull out of this.
Well, I didn't. mean
Jamie's
that.
like, maybe he's got time.
No, I
maybe
meant
we're
like
just being judgmental.
I meant more like he was. They were like he's only 27 years
I was
old.
gonna say, he was
really.
like-
I
he's
don't
like
know.
18.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ray
It's-
and
but you have to look at this. This is the way I looked at it, at least, and go, hey, that could be any of us. We could have a unlucky roll of the dice, and you're born in that house.
Nah, my family wasn't fucking. That could have been me.
But it could have been you if it wasn't, your
That's a
roll of the
diff-
dice.
That's a different kind of roll of the dice, Joe.
I
I'm
know,
sorry.
but
That's-
you're very
that-
fortunate that your situation. I'm not saying anything about.
Right.
There's no way it could have happened with your family and you growing up.
No,
but
I hear what you're
imagine
saying.
if you were born an inbred person
Right.
in
Yeah,
Appalachia.
true,
We
true.
all could have been. When we emerged
Well,
into this existence,
we
we
don't
didn't
know,
have
bro.
any control whatsoever on where we're going to be born.
Where we're gonna
Right.
be. You're
Imagine
Yeah, my dad
being
didn't sell come for $2 million.
this guy who can only bark like a dog.
That's
this
sad
is
as fuck.
it's
It
sad
really
as
is.
fuck. It's crazy too.
God damn it.
It's crazy that this is possible.
That's-
'Cause
yeah, the
This
human
also
brain.
could be a guy. Imagine if this guy was raised right and he wasn't inbred, where he was a guy who would talk to you about his kids or what his hobby is, and maybe he likes to make carpentry and shit. Who knows? He
Yeah.
could be like a regular guy who's like fun to talk to. But
It's interesting
instead,
though because he knows he has to hold his pants up.
yeah, but he probably can't afford a belt. Man.
No, I
It's
hear
like-
that, but I'm saying, but like he still has the wherewithal to like he's still putting pants on.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
he's gonna hold these up and have pants on.
He don't think
Yeah.
he a
Is
dog.
that Freddie's grave?
Right. Right.
Just talk like one.
No, right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Fuck, man.
I mean, that is
Imagine if that's your kid.
How do you eat with no teeth?
You don't eat
You're
well.
right, and they're not brushing their teeth. Probably,
mean,
you're
they-
right. Nobody's
yeah.
taught them probably.
So like the guy
That's
looked
why
like
he
was-
eating all bread all day.
Right, eating
Yeah.
bread because he can't. Yeah, 'cause he
Yeah.
needs something soft.
Exactly.
No dentist. All right, no dentist as a child. You know,
Right.
because he can't afford it or something like that.
And we're looking at this. We don't really. I mean, I don't have any idea where they live, how
Right.
removed they are from everybody.
Right. I mean, there's tribes like that. You're right, and like
Yes.
in middles of continents that
But this is way worse because it's like a very small group of people that live in this one place, and they're like known to be inbred. So like it's within our lifetimes.
Well, somebody in their family got to stop the
Oh my
break
God,
the
it's
goddamn
called
chain.
Odd.
Yeah.
It's called Odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's an unincorporated community
Don't live there.
in Raleigh County,
Nigga, that is
West
KB.
Virginia.
that can't be
Exactly.
Oh my God!
That
The
is the
population 779. Oh
That-
my God!
That is the hills have eyes, nigga. I'm straight.
it's gonna cost me $399 to get there.
Imagine if you run out of gas there.
Oh no.
Right. I mean,
Oh
we ain't
my
surviving.
God!
No cell phone service.
You know, one of them.
Got yoga this week.
They have a yoga
Oh, yeah,
class.
yoga.
Oh, gentle yoga. Gentle yoga.
So I'm
Keep
about
going.
to do yoga with a bunch
That
of
sounds-
motherfucking zombies. I'm
That sounds
straight.
relaxing.
Fuck
Trying to
that.
calm everybody down. One of the best horror movies I ever saw was Bobcat Goldthwait. Bobcat made a Bigfoot movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's what is it called again? Willow Creek. It's about these guys who go up there to film this area where they first filmed Bigfoot, and they get attacked by Bigfoot. It talks about like all these people that are missing in the woods every year that go hiking and vanish. And this idea is like the Bigfoot's killing people.
Oh shit!
But he did it like Blair Witch Project style.
Okay.
Where it looks like some
POV.
People yeah. So there's these people that are hanging out, but it's fucking good, man.
All right, Willow Creek. I'm gonna check it out.
It's good, dude.
Damn,
it's
niggas.
good. It's the absolute best Bigfoot movie ever made, hands down, 100%. Bobcat nailed it, and Bobcat is like a true believer. He and I have gone back and forth about Bigfoot on the podcast.
Bigfoot, all I hear about is white people talking about Bigfoot just running around scaring people. Do we ever kill anybody?
No. Not only do they never kill anybody in recorded history, but
Hold on, so this Bigfoot shit is a real thing?
it was 100% a real animal.
What?
Yes.
What the
It was
fuck?
called Gigantopithecus, and they found during the 1920s at an apothecary shop in China, an anthropologist found a primate tooth that was far too big. And he looked at it and he's like, what is this? This is bigger than a gorilla's. Like, where'd you get this? And they guided him to the area where it was excavated, and they found a bunch of different bones and jaw bones that represented a bipedal hominid that was approximately 8 to 10 feet tall. So this was a real animal that lived in Asia, and we know that humans walked across the Bering Strait into. That's what it looked like.
Okay.
So humans walked across the Bering Strait, they believe, the Bering landmass, into North America, and they think that short-faced bears and a bunch of other animals made it through that area too. But they think there's a remote possibility that this giant primate from Asia, at one point in time, thousands of years ago, interacted with people. And that people have this... Go back to that image again that you just had, Jamie.
So not a bear, it's a primate.
It's a primate. It's a giant primate that's in like that. Give me that large. So it's a giant primate in the orangutan family, they believe. Okay. Right? So what they have is like a few jawbone pieces and a bunch of different things that... So they verified that it's a real animal. So that's why they have this chart here. It's a Gigantopithecus blackie is the official like Latin name for it. And this fucking thing is, how big is it? 3.5 meters.
That motherfucker bigger than Chewbacca.
So that's
bigger than Shaq.
at least 7 feet tall. So it's somewhere around 7 feet. No, 3.5 meters is
like
9
10
feet, 10
10
feet tall.
feet.
10 feet tall.
Damn.
And so this giant thing was a real animal that existed that lived with people. So these bones that they found, I think they were like 100,000 years old. See if you can find that. Gigantopithecus bones aged. So they found them and they realized that these animals were living alongside with people.
Did he fuck people?
It could have been. He did whatever the fuck he wanted.
10 foot tall.
I mean, if he came upon your village,
can he shoot the
what are you
three
gonna
and
do?
protect the rim?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You gonna stop him? You gonna stop him from fucking you?
They had a male
You
Bigfoot.
go stop him right.
They had a male Bigfoot. They had to have a female Bigfoot.
They definitely did. But so the idea is that this is what was the thing that Native Americans talk about in their folklore, because I think there's 100 different Native American names for Sasquatch. They have a bunch of different names for them, which leads a lot of these people who study these cultures to go, man, that is very unusual. It's very unusual that they talk about a thing that's not real over and over and over and over and over again. And if you know that this used to be a real thing, which Gigantopithecus definitely was, and then you know that these Native Americans, everything else, whether it's the buffalo, whether it's the pronghorn, the deer, all those things, the bear, they had them all mapped out. They talked about all of it. Like, they were very accurate about where they lived and how they traveled and how to hunt them.
Yeah.
But then they had this Sasquatch thing. Well, what the fuck is that?
Right.
What is that?
It's just extinct.
How do you know that wasn't real? How do you know that like 30,000 years ago, 40,000 years ago, these people encountered these things? Yeah. And imagine you're a fucking dude with a bow and arrow, you're trying to feed your babies, and you're sneaking through the forest, and you see a 10-foot orangutan.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a giant thing looking at you, and you're like, yeah! And they just didn't make it. They didn't make it.
Too tall.
They killed them off.
Too tall. Too
Well,
tall.
they killed them off, or maybe they didn't have enough food, or maybe there's predators. Who knows what the fuck it is? But like, if something dies for whatever reason, if something like dies off, Like
I mean,
woolly
maybe
mammoth,
like,
right?
what's their
They're not
low-
here anymore.
You got to think about their
They got
lifespan
killed.
too, right? Because even tall humans, right? Like their lifespan is shorter, right?
Yes, and
So
then
that could
also
be it
like
too.
the amount of food they must need.
Right.
If you're 10 feet tall, the amount of fucking food you must need.
Right. Probably like a 2-year lifespan or something.
Oh my god! And if you don't figure out weapons before the people do, and they have catapults and shit,
Done.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? With all that David and Goliath shit, who knows?
But only like a few
Who
bones.
knows?
Not a lot of bones, huh?
Who knows if
Oh,
David,
the David
and Goliath?
Oh, bro.
What if that was about a
we
Bigfoot?
talked about this a couple weeks ago about David and Goliath.
What'd you say?
About how that's genocide, what David did. He fought this big dude, one, and they said, all right, now kill all of them.
Oh, is that what he did? Wait a minute. After he killed Goliath, killed everybody?
Yeah.
Killed all the big niggas.
No, it was that whole people, yeah. Yeah, that is open genocide, the David
Well,
and Goliath
that's
story.
unfortunate and not productive to the narrative.
Right.
So I'd
and I don't
appreciate
want to
if
talk about King
you
David that way. I don't want to get
leave-
attacked by the media.
Why don't you just leave that part of the story out?
I'm going to leave
and
it out.
David killed Goliath, which is good, right?
Right.
Right.
But we can't have a conversation because, but yeah. Yeah, I forget what was
What, he
Goliath
was
a
a
part
sling? Goliath was like a giant, and he killed
Yeah.
him with a rock and a sling.
of? He was part of a people. I forget what they're called, those people. I mean we could
I
look
don't
it
even
up,
think they had
obviously.
slingshots. They had a sling.
Right.
The sling was like you had
got
like
him in
two
the eye or
strings.
something? Yeah.
You had two strings of a pouch, and you would swing it, and you let it go.
Yeah, it's a big rock at this guy's face.
Yeah.
This guy crushed his skull.
Allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly. Right, these are like the most
Shout out David,
secondhand
man.
stories ever, right?
Right. Hey, man.
How much would you give to
Misinformation
find
crew.
out what Adam and Eve was really all about? Like, what happened? What is that story?
Some people fucked in the jungle. And that's it.
But what about the snake and the apple?
Right.
All that shit is in the jungle. It's apples.
Right, but why
It's snakes.
why shouldn't she eat the fruit? Is he just controlling? Was Adam just like a super controlling
Dog,
boyfriend?
threw her all under the bus.
Totally.
Threw her all
He was
under
like,
the
hey,
bus.
I told that bitch not to eat that shit.
I know, like everybody knows about it to this day.
It just discredited a woman. It's the first story of the Bible.
She's the whole reason why we're fucked.
Yeah, this
Right?
lady. I mean, like, by the way, you're like, after that, that's all patriarchy. Sorry, ladies. Like, yeah, you're the reason.
Right, it wasn't the dude's problem
Right.
that everything went sideways. It was Eve's problem. She fucked around and listened to the snake and ate the apple, and now we're doomed forever.
Right.
Adam didn't do anything. He was perfect.
Adam was jacking off in front of
See?
the computer.
Yeah. Ooh. He's busy trying to get his OnlyFans up.
Adam trying to get his OnlyFans up.
You know what the real problem is going to be, gentlemen? When you can put a headset on and you can have sex with whoever you want.
Right, like Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
can
if
do that.
you could put a
Oh, you
headset
can.
on.
Oculus.
With the
and
Oculus.
you could have sex with the Hulk.
The Hulk.
Whatever
Hulk,
you
bro.
want. Whatever you want.
She-Hulk,
Wonder
yeah,
Woman.
or whatever
What do you
Hulk, yeah.
want?
Whatever
What do you
your-
want?
whatever
What do
your
you want?
taste is. Yeah.
Chewbacca? Who do you want to fuck?
That's sick.
You want to fuck Orca?
Right, or like a cartoon, right?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. There's going to be a time where you can have an experience that's real similar to a real life experience like this, where you can touch metal and touch tables and wood, and it's going to be, you can just put a headphone on, achieve it.
It's like what the metaverse is supposed to be.
Metaverse.
Yeah, eventually.
If it's not like the Mark Zuckerberg version of it, which is kind of interesting, it's something else.
It'll be like that Matrix version.
Someone's going to figure out something where they're going to have a way of making you experience something that's not real but feels as real as anything you've ever experienced.
Well, that one lady got raped in the metaverse.
Right.
Is that real?
That wasn't real? That wasn't real? Right. I mean, we
fuck
read
you
it.
get
Who
raped in
knows?
the
Did that
metaverse?
happen, Jamie?
Who knows?
Did that
100%
happen?
happened, but yeah, they sort of, yeah. That's what she said. Then they put on things that like there's like a barrier now. You can't get close
A
to people
barrier.
or something.
Bitch,
like that.
how do you feel it? What do you feel?
Well, you know what? Sometimes people need to learn their lessons.
Ain't no laws in the
And,
metaverse.
Society progresses.
Laws in the metaverse.
Right. Is it okay? Like, imagine if there's no pain in the metaverse, right? And you only experience it in your mind. You put headsets on. Should you be allowed to have sword fights?
Listen, I mean, if I see a nigga I don't like in the metaverse, I'm killing you with that motherfucker.
Right, so it's basically, it's Grand
I'm
Theft
coming
Auto,
back.
basically. Yeah.
Motherfucker
So
like,
the
man, you
metaverse
killed
is-
me. Like,
Sexual
yeah.
harassment in the women alleges rape in virtual world.
What the fuck?
Wow.
How is that even possible?
So, yeah, the metaverse is basically like New Delhi.
She says within 60 seconds of joining, she said, I was verbally and sexually harassed 3 to 4 male avatars with male voices, essentially, but virtually gang raped my avatar. She details watching her avatar get sexually assaulted by a handful of male avatars who took photos and sent her comments like, don't pretend you didn't love it. Whoa. That's we entered into a new discussion.
Oh my God.
Digital. Yeah, sexual assault.
So is it illegal to sexual assault a person in the metaverse? Is it laws in the metaverse yet?
I mean, the fact
they're going to make them.
Yeah,
they're going to make them after something like that.
But it's somebody's voice actually doing it, right? So it's this dude. He's getting this carnal pleasure from being like, "This isn't me. This is my, this is my avatar." But this is what he wants to do as his avatar, right? Like you do in Grand Theft Auto.
They should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do in the metaverse.
I think there's also like people want to do what they're not supposed to do.
Yeah,
and
let
if
them
it's
do
not,
it there.
if it's not really happening, it's not really happening. No one's really getting touched.
Right.
They feel like it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're
get out of the game, bitch. Push pause.
If you're a dude,
you don't want to hear that going in there. Yeah.
If you're a dude and you get on the metaverse and some other giant dude throws you to the ground and starts fucking your mouth,
exactly,
you're not gonna enjoy that.
Exactly, bro.
You're gonna be like, hey!
You're like, I got raped in the metaverse.
If you got some big giant dude,
turn it off, man.
who just shack size palms the back of your head and starts fucking your mouth. What are you gonna do?
I'm throwing my headset the fuck off.
Look,
I'm breaking the Oculus.
You got to realize the first versions of the metaverse are going to be like Pong. Did you ever play Pong? I'm older than you guys. But when I was a kid,
we've seen Pong.
When I was a little kid, that's when Pong came out. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, that boop, boop, that was the first game.
It was the wildest shit. You can control something that's on your TV. But it got way better. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with this shit.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Eventually, it's going to get to a place where some giant dude's going to hold you down and fuck your mouth. And you're going to be like, what the hell?
I don't want to be in this metaverse no more, right?
Exactly. Like, what the hell?
And
then we're going to make rules.
Life. Yeah.
I need an off switch.
I'm going to need some metaverse counseling after this.
Imagine if you had a metaverse where you were on a beach and you were waiting on the beach watching a group of Vikings pull their boats up to the shore, and you're like, fuck.
Right.
And flaming arrows start flying through the air as they reach the shore, and you realize they're going to rape and kill everybody.
Right.
And that was a reality of history.
In the metaverse.
And you're trapped in the metaverse because you trying to survive.
And there's a bunch of dudes saying, like, you love it. I mean, imagine like a bunch of dudes like who make their avatars KKK and be like, oh, come here, like start black dragging you or start lynching you in the metaverse.
It's the metaverse, though. I don't give a fuck.
See?
But the thing is, but if the metaverse becomes more compelling than the regular world and you spend most of your time there, what is real life?
That's the Matrix.
Here's the question. If you have 24 hours in real life, but you spend 15 of it in the metaverse, isn't that more real life than real life? If all you do, you'll get a couple of things done and you go to sleep for the rest of the time. But if life becomes so much more interesting in this digital world,
right?
People are going to try it.
Shit, we might be in the motherfucking metaverse right now.
That's true. We might be.
I think you're right, though. I think, my niece, his kids, your kids, kind of a thing. That they're going to grow up in that, like the 2040s, 2050s, if we're still around.
Or there's some kind of a war that kills the power grid.
Right.
Either one of those things is real.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you learn anything from this whole Ukraine situation, learn that it can happen, right? Learn that a war is a real possibility. And all
that's the terrifying part.
All this jargon, people like to pretend they know what the fuck is going on or what's important. What's more of that, Freddie?
Hell yeah.
All these people that pretend they know what the fuck is going on, they don't. Nobody does. This is kind of chaotic in terms of like what's gonna happen. I mean, where this is gonna go. This is fucking chaotic, man. We need to realize that this can happen.
Yeah,
now we know.
Yeah, now we know.
Now we know. All this is not just talk.
No.
This isn't just talk. And there's a lot of like just crazy talk. People talk about foreign policy and what's important. And then when you watch missiles hit apartment buildings, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. But it's been happening for years, though, right? I mean, like, we send missiles and drones over there, too.
Right. What's that graph? Did we find that graph, Jamie, of all the most recent?
Yeah, I'm just, with that graph, looking into that.
It's bullshit?
It might be.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I want to believe.
He wants to not be the misinformation king.
Where it's coming from might be propaganda.
No.
I'm the misinformation king, but I'm uncredible. Listen to me. Don't listen to me. That's what you should listen. If you want to listen to me, don't listen to me. I'm not your guy to be listening to. If you want to listen to the people I talk to, please do. But from my personal perspective, I'm not a reliable source of information. I don't trust me. Why the fuck should you?
Oh,
I don't
you're the
trust me
best.
for information.
Yeah, I know. I
get things
hang out with
wrong.
you.
I fucking babble. I babble for thousands of hours. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, people should just like
Sometimes
hang
in the
out with you and be
middle
like,
of it.
oh yeah, I just like his podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he's
man.
cool.
I genuinely want everybody to do better.
Yes.
100%
Facts.
genuinely. All people I meet. I want us to get along. I like parties. I like to see friends and hug
Yeah.
them. You
Yeah,
know, I saw
CNN.
you two guys today. I hugged you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Report the good shit this cat
I
does.
like fun.
There's some things you've done for me. I mean, we can't talk about on air, and I won't give CNN the satisfaction. But like, yo, talk about the good shit he does. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's not a racist. I'm here. The cat has fucking blessed me financially so many times by just having me on the show or bigging up the Rose Battle. I mean, like, he does countless things. The shit you did in Australia, nobody talks about. You know what I mean?
One of the things I did when I got canceled is I started doing mushrooms. I did mushrooms every day for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And one thing the mushrooms told me one time said, you're not a bad person, but you left a bad impression.
Facts.
And I was like, whoa. That's a
Damn.
wild statement.
Yeah.
When you get a statement, like there's times when I do mushrooms where I get these little moments where like, man, am I just imagining I'm talking to something? Or is something really talking to me? What is this? Like, what is this? Is this like my own imagination trying to like sort out my existence?
We call that Jiminy Cricket, right? But
Niggity cricket.
Niggity Cricket. That's a.
That's
Niggity
hilarious.
Cricket. Exactly. That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you also, I mean, listen, the God slur is tough.
Yeah, it's
the
rough.
God of all slurs is the tough.
It's the
one.
rough one.
Yeah, because other ones, I mean, like, you know, there's like with the C word, you know, there's so many factions of that word, right, in the English language, you know, and even if you say,
cocaine,
cunt.
Cunt.
Well,
say
okay.
you know,
Yeah, there's a bunch of great bits about
You know,
that word too. The thing is, like, I can't wait, and I've said this on stage too, that I can't wait until we can read minds. Because then, like, what we're trying to do is, like, interpret a very specific and terrible meaning for anything that a person says. But whether it's, you know, whatever the slur is, whether it's cunt or the N word or the F word or whatever.
Yeah.
But what words are supposed to be is a person conveying their intent.
Word.
So if there comes a time where we can read each other's minds, we can understand how you really feel. We're just not. We're basically going on like weird roadside maps.
Right.
We're not going on 100% understanding of how a person is trying to communicate and why and where they're coming from. So we base it on words, which is perfect. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's eloquent. It's the best way we have to communicate. I'm not knocking it. But what I'm saying is there's going to come a time in our lifetime where we don't have to do that anymore, where we're going to be able to communicate with each other just by virtue of your intent and how you feel.
Right.
And we, instead of like being wrapped up in different languages and sounds people make, like Germans make a very different sound than Koreans, who make a very different sound than Brazilians. Like everybody's got their own way, the sound, the flavor. But all they're trying to do is let you know how they think. That's all I'm trying to do right now too. Right. And one of the benefits that I have of all this crazy shit going on is I have a podcast. Yeah. And that people have heard me talk so many fucking times. They kind of understand who I am.
Word.
Yeah, we know. You are a nigga.
When Stylebender said that at a press conference, I legitimately teared up.
Oh, yeah.
I legitimately teared up because I love that dude.
Yeah,
when he said
it's
that, I
just-
was like, God
That's my
damn
dog.
it. He's amazing.
You can feel, man. You know what? As a black man in America, I can feel the energy of racism. When anybody I go around, I kind of know if you a racist. I could just spend 5 minutes with you and be like, oh yeah, this motherfucker don't like me either because I'm black, or I could be, you know, have more money than him, or it could be something like that. But I could feel the energy from like people who race, you know, just how you, you know, how you talk, the things you say. You know what I mean? I know, and you know, and we all got our own prejudices, you know what I'm saying, and shit that we don't understand about each other's culture, man. So I mean, that just comes with just being different, man. But racist, I could smell that, I can feel that. I know when a motherfucker is like, yeah, I don't fuck with you, people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's obvious. It stands out. You know.
Let's talk about the real heroes. Let's talk about interracial porn male talent, right? Your Mr. Marcus, your Lexington Steele. We don't say it enough during Black History Month how fucking legendary these guys are. Could you imagine in the Jim Crow era, there's niggas fucking white women on camera?
On camera.
Have you ever seen Santino's bit about it?
Oh yeah.
They always keep their sneakers on.
But that means they had to take the pants off and put the shoes back on.
It's a fucking
Santino,
hilarious
I sent you that
bit.
one. Yeah, that bit about
That is a hilarious bit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a good bit.
But yeah.
Santino's so fucking funny.
I just love those cats.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's an interesting time for people to figure out what the fuck is important to be upset about and what not.
At this day and age, like how can you hate black people? How can you hate
so
Mexican
how can
people?
you hate gay people?
Right. How can you hate anybody?
How can you hate anybody specifically
Humanity.
for any reason?
Yeah.
I don't hate nobody, man. Like, what the fuck? Like,
but the problem is, Moses, you can attest this. One of our problems as comedians is the fun is in talking shit.
Exactly.
And the fun is in trying to push a boundary or say something you think might be funny, and you got like a split second to press the green light.
Right.
And you're like, let's run with this.
Right.
Let's see how this goes.
That's the game.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And when you're on stage, that's the number one thing. Like the mistakes that you make on stage, you go down a road and you're like, oh my God.
This is hate speech.
Can't believe I'm even here. It's like you don't mean, you're just trying to remove yourself from the equation long enough to find a path that's funny.
Yeah.
But along the way, you're going to say some ridiculous shit that you probably would rather have edited. You'd rather have started from scratch.
A
like
woman
Kramer.
I used to work.
that was some racist shit right there.
Right, that was definitely
he
it.
would like he felt that. You could feel it.
I was working
he was
at the
trying to
comedy
make
store.
them feel bad.
And a woman called, and I was working the phones. I may have said the story actually on this podcast, but I did a bit, and then it was race-related, obviously. Black woman calls the next day. I'm working the phone. She's just like, I just have to let you know, there's a comedian you guys have named Brian Moses, and he was doing a joke, and it was about black people, and the black people weren't really laughing, but the whites were kind of laughing a little bit, and I just want to let you know, like, he can start a race riot in your club. I was like, I will.
You answered the fucking
I answered the phone, bro. And she said he's gonna start a race riot. I was like, I'm black, and I did the joke. Like, what are we talking about here?
it's
Just
so
because
funny.
it had to do with, it was about
But you know here's what's
whatever it was
fascinating about this whole conversation is that socially it balances out where people understand what you can and can't talk about.
Right.
And that's the recognition of the history of racism in this country, is that a person like me can't say the N-word. It's impossible. You can't say it. You can't say it anymore. If you say it, people are going to get furious at you, right? It's an emotional thing. Well, why is that? It's only possible if there's a disproportionate history. Like if there was a word, it doesn't make any sense if there's not a disproportionate history.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a thing that I think we all have to like recognize. All of us is like this. There's an imbalance that hasn't been rectified.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
people get scared of that word reparations. Like what does that mean? This is what here's what everybody has to do. You have to find all the spots that got fucked by the Civil War and by slavery. You got to fix that.
Right.
Gotta fix that shit.
Well, the problem is they already gave reparations. Remember that? I mean, like they gave all the slave owners the money.
Yeah. Oh,
because they lost the property. Yeah, exactly. Nobody says that.
Right. That's a real thing.
I mean,
they definitely did that.
Yeah, they gave the slave owners because they lost all their property.
Yes, they reimbursed them. I don't know
they
if it
call
was
it reparations.
Like, if you gave black people like a tax break, like we ain't got to pay taxes.
That's what I'm saying. For 20 years,
we shouldn't have to pay taxes at all. We shouldn't have to pay taxes. We should get free property. You know what I'm saying? Like
free tuition.
That's free tuition.
They gave Native Americans casinos.
I mean, you gotta economically help us catch up.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing
and that's the problem with it. It's economics. We don't control anything. We don't control property. We don't control the food coming in our community. We don't control our community.
Well, whenever you have a spot that's stuck, whenever you have a spot that's like socially compromised, like financially compromised, like meaning socially compromised, meaning there's like gang violence and drug abuse and there's a lot of stuff around them. Yeah. And it's been like that for decades. And if they don't step in, then that's bad management.
But you could dwindle that down if niggas had farms and if niggas had, you know what I'm saying, factories and things where we generated our own things. We got to go. We got to go to a white man for every fucking thing. Like, we can't, what I'm saying?
We have more black millionaires than we've ever had in the history of black people. We have the most educated people now, black people in the history of black people. So I'm saying, why aren't we doing that now? Because they were doing that back with the Black Panthers and everybody like that. So we could be doing that now. We could be buying property in our neighborhoods. We could be turning this shit around.
Yeah,
it's not something that's instantaneously
and
solved.
That's facts, yeah.
But it is something that people are more and more aware of, and they just all the communication lets people like think about it more and more, and then we come to a better place than we were a week ago, a year ago, whatever. And that's where we are with like basically every cultural issue. That's why you can watch that video of Al Jolson from 100 years ago, and you can't even believe it's real. Because we're making progress. We're making progress as human beings, and the only thing that stops that progress is anything that stops communication. So when you stop communication, you stop discussion, you stop people trying to figure out like what's good and what's bad and what makes people feel bad and why it does that, and like why is this word more potent than that word, and like, discussion. It's fucking gigantically important. That's why it's terrifying that there's people in this day and age that want to stop discussion. They shouldn't stop discussion. You should have your own response to whatever that discussion is.
Right.
Talk about it. Disagree robustly. Disagree. But don't stop discussion.
Right.
Don't stop Freddie Gibbs from fucking up the Bill Maher podcast, because you know he did. Hey! You know he showed up stoned as fuck, guns blazing, talking about shooting crackheads.
Oh, yeah. Come on, of course.
Come on now.
Me and Bill was definitely talking about fucking some hoes. Shout out my boy Bill, man.
Bro, Freddie, when you did this podcast and you were talking about, that's when I shot this crackhead, I was like,
yeah, man.
I was like, I think he can get away with that.
Yeah, that motherfucker dead anyway, so he's all good. You're dead, bitch.
Well, and then there's that. And then there's that.
I ain't had nothing to do with that, though. I don't know. He just showed up somewhere. I don't know.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. I'm a rapper / actor, entertainer.
Podcaster.
Podcaster.
When does that happen?
That's coming soon, man. I got to retire from rap first, though, man.
Listen, you don't have to retire from rap to do podcasts.
That's what.
It's not like it's a union endeavor.
I just want a podcast. I don't want to rap while I'm doing it.
You can listen, bro. You don't have to make a decision.
I want to just do that. I don't even want to rap.
Freddie,
while I'm doing that, I got like an album, maybe an album or two left, and I'm out of this shit. I'm good. I left my mark in the rap game. I did what needed to be done. If it's a rap Hall of Fame, I'm gonna go to that bitch. So I ain't worried about shit.
Well, as a person who does podcasts with you, I've done a couple of them now. Mm-hmm. You'd be great at it, man.
Hey,
easy.
I'm gonna do it. That's my next move.
You're the most authentic dude I think I've ever met.
All right, let's go.
You're 100% authentic.
Yeah, that's the next move.
You are yourself all the time.
At all times.
But this is what's complicated about people when they try to go into show business and get attention. It's very difficult to be yourself all the time.
Right.
Because there's consequences. You know?
Definitely.
His manager calls him Brick James.
Brick James.
Brick James.
That's hilarious.
I mean, because he's the wild dude.
But this is my position, that people like you are important. I think we those fucking rule pushers, those boundary pushers, we're very important. For what I like wild shit.
Yeah,
I like doing podcasts with people like you. We take wild shit. I'm like, oh my God. And I just have to like clutch my pearls. I go, oh my God, Freddie.
How they gonna cut this compilation?
Come on, man. We do the Freddie Gibbs podcast. It's gonna be crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? But we geared up for that. It's gonna be real dope, man. I can't wait.
And also, when Moses contacted me about doing a podcast with you, I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. Two dudes to do a podcast with after my shit
have a stripper
goes down.
pole and holes.
Last
be lit,
day
man.
of the White Guilt Month. I said we got to do it hard.
Go super
for
hard.
sure. So let's get out of here. Go check out my club.
Let's do it.
My club and
I want to go.
Kill Tony tonight.
I want to go float in that chamber you got. I want to go.
100%.
Can we put holes in there?
I don't think so.
Oh, damn.
I don't think that's wise.
Because you is bound to drizzle.
No, it's no one drowns. You float. It's only 11 inches of water, but it is contrary to the idea of the experiment.
Okay.
Brian Moses, Roast Battles, one of the most important. There's two important shows in live stand-up comedy in the United States today. One of them is Roast Battle. The other one's Kill Tony. I firmly believe that 1-2 punch is critical for the development of up-and-coming talent. They learn how to fuck with each other, and they learn how to take a joke and learn how to be like a little bit selfless with it. In Roast Battle, and then on Kill Tony, they learn how to do 1 minute under high pressure in front of the whole fucking world.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Both of them are super critical.
Thank you, bro. You're the man.
And like I said, brother, when I came back in 2014, your show was one of the main reasons why I came back, because I went back
Thank
there
you,
and
Joe
I
Rogan.
saw that, and I remember going, wow, this is so different. This is so like creative and wild, and it was like this energetic sort of new thing where I could feel it when I went into that belly room, and I was like,
Right.
oh my goodness, like this is exciting. I was
Terror
like
Dome.
clapping,
Yeah.
but it was also everybody was smiling, like the energy in the room was infectious.
Right?
The whole audience.
It's a lot of love in there. People come in there,
Yes.
like I remember, God, was it Ian something? But he said it was like, I came in here thinking it was gonna be like hateful and you know, but because that's not my style. But there's so much love in here.
So
It was
much
like,
love.
Yeah.
There's so much
Ian
love.
Carmel. Sorry,
you
Ian.
can take a good shot to the dick. You can take a good one. You can take a good one if you're one of the people that gets roasted.
Yeah.
You can take a good shot to the dick.
Yeah, we just did a roast battle underground at like this place called Madam Slam in L.A. and it looks like a fucking underground fight club.
Well,
So,
my brother, when my
yeah.
club opens up here, you have 100% carte blanche. Whenever you want to do roast
man.
battle, want to do it once a week, once a month, it's in. It's done. Let's do it. We got 2 rooms.
We're doing it once a fucking month.
That's it.
Austin.
Freddie
Roast
Gibbs
Battle Austin, the
podcast,
league.
ladies and gentlemen.
Coming soon, bitch.
Available where?
On the nigga network in the niggaverse.
In.
Good night, everybody.